It is a beautiful final sector, isn't it? Once you're in the groove and in the flow, it can feel incredible to drive. A little bit wide of the apex going through turn number 19 as Safso lowers the benchmark by a further 0.4 per second. First driver comfortably into the 31s. Scratch that because Formula Cream is into the 1 minute 30s. 1:30.7, 8 tenths clear of the season 1 champ. That is a benchmark firmly laid down to the rest of his competitors.
Fantastic lap indeed for Formula Karim, who now holds once more all the cards up at the front end. Is not actually featured on the podium at all. No wins, no podiums. 4 top 10s though, however, and hasn't started that many races. So you could argue, Tom, that with this being his first official season, that he'll have every chance of changing those zeros to ones at the very least, and maybe more as we make our way through the campaign. Alex Gillen, fastest in the first sector. He's also showing personal improvements in sector 2, so this could be a stonking lap as well for Gillen, who in himself is obviously, like we said before, a champion in the past. Has also got some grand numbers in terms of race victories. He's got 19 of them in total. Dart Viper GT having more problems going off track in the mean green Aston Martin, as we now await Gillen to cross the line, and he does go second fastest, dropping that time a little bit to Formula Karim. That purple first sector not enough to take him to the top. He's a little bit short in sectors 2 and 3.
Yeah, that will concern Alex Gillen a little bit. 0.3 per second is a decent enough margin after the first flying laps. Ricky slots in between the 2 V-carbs with a 1 minute 31.5 there for the beautiful blue Williams car. His teammate Hayden Gullis, I don't believe, has made an appearance so far in the first half of this qualifying session. Just over 6 minutes to go, and we still don't have a lot of drivers that have set representative times.
Of course, that Tibet Marduk won that battle fair and square against M Sky Z. It was such an immense battle throughout the course of the season. Fantastic storytelling as well between the two. But now we watch Fabio to see whether he can enter his own chapter here in the Creator Series season 9. Goes 13th fastest, just behind Nick Flies. As I said, that of course being Dragonflies of old, he is now Nick Flies here this season. Rasin Chai second fastest. We're now into stoppage time here in qualifying, to the final remaining laps. Only one driver has taken the checkered, aside from Hayden Gullis' crash, and that's F1 Alex. Deathlink currently sat in 15th place and looking for a huge improvement. We have got improvements from Ricky 03 at the moment. He's green in the first 2 sectors, and Dark Viper GT also on a personal improvement as well. Rasin Chai also green in the first sector. Here comes Deathlink to try and close out this qualifying. We've got such a flurry of cars coming through this time. Deathlink only enough for 11th fastest, just ahead of his teammate F1 Alex. Here comes Ricky 03 looking to put the cherry on top of the Bakewell cake, coming through the final corner now, this time at turn 20. Where's he going to go? Second and fastest, Rasin Chai down to 3rd. Nick Flies goes into 10th, and that is where he will stay. We got Matati going 3rd as well, once more relegating Rasin Chai down to 4th. Here comes Alex Gillen. He goes 2nd, back onto the front row of the grid here this time around. Lolinoba up to 7th, Meraki only enough for 8th. Formula Karim goes faster again, 1:36.96, and nearly 1 3/4 tenths faster than Gillen in second place. Scott Taylor goes into 11th fastest for Haas, and further down Adam Sanderson into the pits, will not finish. And Infratic, of course, still yet to cross the line. He'll come into the pits as well. Your first pole sitter here, and it's his first as well. Formula Karim on pole to commence the Creator Series Season 9. On the front row, Formula Karim on the left-hand side, and they'll put pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 and it's Formula Karim who gets a very good start, tries to cover off Alex Gillen straight away, but Gillen with the inside, he's going to send the Racing Bulls up the inside once more, but Karim with the overspeed was able to carry it and withstand the pressure and hold the lead. Ricky 03 in 3rd place, Matati in 4th as well, Zafso and Scott Taylor going at it in the middle of the park as well, Taylor having to forfeit against Zafso. This time, Season 1 champion holds on to that top 10 place. Matty D13 also cutting it up with Infratic as well. Out of turn 10 and towards turn 11. Caution in the first 2 sectors, and that's the yellow flag, and Deathlink is out. And a safety car has been brought out onto the circuit. Deathlink out, Kick Sauber down to 1 car this time around. And unfortunately now for them, safety car is out. This is good news though for Adam Sanderson, who was over a second outside, as was Infratic, who was 1.6 behind Sanderson. They can now recover. Down towards this next left. Now, will we see the first pit stops now be undertaken? Karim not thinking about it just yet. Or is he? No, he's coming in. So Karim now coming into the pits. That's our first official stop. Gillen comes in as well. Riccio 3. It looks like he was trying to sell the dummy a little bit, Tom. Left it very late coming in to the pit lane. So, yeah, quite the twist. But it looks like everyone's coming in to join him. Yeah, we're going pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now. The opening race of Season 9 in the EA Sports F1 Creator Series. Nick Flies takes them up towards Turn 1. He indeed flies through towards Turn 1. In behind comes Scott Taylor. Formula Karim already coming up nose to tail with Hayden Gullis. That became side by side, and that became Formula Karim into fourth as well. Further back, Hayden Gullis forfeiting against his own teammate. Riccio 3 moves up into 6. Alex Gillen up to 5th as well. So Gullis starting to lose places, hand over fist, and Matati could be next.
In the battle for 10th and 11th, look at this gaggle of cars. Razin Chai potentially thinking about picking up a couple of places.
Yeah, and Scott Taylor also going for the lead as well as they now make their way down through towards turn 12. Side by side, in comes Matty D13 as well, subbing in for Tom at Alpine. Can't quite get past Nick Flies, but Scotty Taylor will take the lead here in this Creator Series race at Austin, Texas. A fabulous run coming down towards turn 12. Lolin Ober and Hayden Gullis going at it as well, coming out of Sector 2 in towards Sector 3. Grid jokes, Matati losing out. It's not Hakuna Matati. It's not a wonderful phrase. He's now coming under a huge battle with Dark Viper as well. Maraki and Gullis going side by side through the final sector. Can Gullis try and starve off the Red Bull? Up the inside now comes Tiermet Marduk with a blissful double overtake. The Silver Arrow moves well and truly into the top 10, and his teammate Adam Sanderson comes up to join him. Despite being on 10 seconds of time penalties, he is still furiously fighting, and the Aussie as well in 9th spot, now chasing after Lolin Ober in pursuit of further points, having only utilised 3 laps on those medium tyres. Now Scott Taylor coming under pressure. Nick Flies now bursting to retake that lead that he had prior, but Formula Karim, his teammate, is going to swiftly move alongside, and it's now a papaya wall up at the front, but Matty D13 looking to bring it all back down again as they come through out of Sector 2 through towards Sector 3. Matty now trying to hold that inside line for the Enstone team, but still this time it's the inside for Nick Flies coming in towards Sector 3 proper. The man in papaya against the man in blue and pink. Matty D13 looking to open up that throttle, heading around turn 17, and he has done. He has taken second place. Scott Taylor down in 4th, and has got Gillen all over his wheel tracks right now as they come into the final bend, and Gillen is on the attack.
But this is not good news for the Season 2 champion, because look at this, Formula Cream has absolutely scarpered out in front. 1.2 seconds clear of this jostling group behind. Alex Gillen's going to get past Scott Taylor, potentially think about setting out the inside of Nick Flies into turn number 1, thinking better of it. But off the circuit goes Matty D13, going to relinquish second position straight back to the McLaren of Nick Flies. Alex Gillen, please, and thank yous as he swoops around the outside as well. Big, big blunder for the Alpines. Well, the Great Wall of Papaya, I think it is about to be breached, though, because with the helping hand of DRS, Alex Gillen is going to carouse around the outside of Nick Flies. This should be a fairly regulation overtake, just about pulling ahead now. Will Nick Flies try to defend into the braking zone? No, doesn't send it up well. I think he does send it up the inside. Incredibly aggressive stuff, opportunistic. Alex Gillen going to hold it around the outside. Bit of a hearted mouth moment. Probably wasn't expecting Nick Flies to launch it straight back up the inside, but he does finally take second place off the McLaren.
And Alex Gillen within DRS this time, coming out of turn 11 down through towards turn 12. He's going to have the power of the slipstream and the DRS. Will he potentially make the move this time? Of course, he can utilise this. Basically, try and drag off each other to try and grow the gap between Riccio 3 and Formula Karim now. Gillen takes the lead for the first time here in this Creator Series race so far. Karim, who has held it for quite some time, Gillen swipes it off him here on lap 15. We've still got a long way to go, however. Who's going to come out on top between those two? As the Williams now detours out of the apex, coming down the long straight. Dark Viper's back with us, so seemingly now recovering after the little technical glitch as we now watch Rasin Chai storm down the straight now through towards turn 12. P3 now for Rasin Chai, the former champion from Season 5, back at it in the podium place, and now looking to try and kick on. Of course, has already registered 16 podiums historically in the Creator Series. Could he be set to make it 17 here tonight? To the back of Infratic, lap 31 of 56. Still, we persist around this circuit. Mr. Dale retiring, and that's a safety car. Well, there we have it. T-Dubs, you mentioned that it was a possibility that we could see the return of the safety car, and it's neutralised the advantage that Alex Gillen and Formula Karim have had. Surely they've got to think of pitting over the next lap, and they will be disappointed that they couldn't have boxed on the lap prior. This is going to set them back quite a bit.
I wonder who was able to get in. Razin Chai has stayed out, so has Meraki and Lolinoba, so I don't think any of those guys were able to make it into the pits either. So that has come out absolutely terribly for the leading contenders, and that brings this race right back into the favour of somebody like Tyre McMurdoch, who did stay out, but he's going to be in the DRS train. If he can try and cling onto the coattails of that group in front, do not discount the reigning champion one bit. Mr. Dale, though, dropping out once again. I think that is 37 DNFs.
The front three all on the same tyres, wear and type of tyre as well. They're all on mediums, and they've all got 2 laps. It'll soon be 3 laps accrued as we put pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this race now. We get back underway at COTA. Safso with problems, he leaves the session. Here comes now Meraki, who's going to look to try and pounce early on. Gillen very nearly losing out, and a very wide line taken from Formula Karim, and that sees him forfeit to Razin Chai, who moves into 2nd. Further back, Meraki also trying to dare to dream as he looks to fly up into 3rd. He does! The race, well, certainly the Red Bull, looking to race higher and higher, and now with a great chance as it storms into the top 3. Alex Gillen leads the way, though. Razin Chai, his former rival, also coming into this as well, with Meraki coming into the fold. Karim forfeiting 2 key places, and has got Ricky 03 on his tail as well. Lolinoba chasing all over the back of Tyre McMurdoch, and I think has the inside line coming out of turn 11. He does.
Oh, but we could have a 3-wide moment here. Razin Chai pulling out to the middle of the circuit. Meraki passing Alex Gillen as well. Now they're going to duel down into turn number 12. Alex Gillen from the front to the middle of this train. Meraki sticking that Red Bull nose up the inside of the former champion. 2 tussling as we go into turn number 13. And it is the Alpine, for the time being at least, that holds on to the lead of the race. Sliding out wide slightly is the Alpine of Razin Chai. And Meraki can't quite capitalise, but he's not going to live this one down.
Of this race, DRS swapping to protect a lead that was eventually broken down through the course of the last safety car, as now Meraki takes the lead for the first time. Back comes now Formula Karim, who looks to try and dance past Alex Gillen. They'll run side by side, coming through out of turn 12. The Papaya McLaren fighting with all its might, and Formula Karim sending a clear message that he is not down and out. He is here to fight, as does Gillen, who has a look up the inside. The top 6 now flying down the long straight. Formula Karim coming back. We're going to fan out to 3 wide once more. Karim looking to take back the lead that was lost before, as he now likes to go wheel to wheel here with Razin Chai. Later on the brakes and daring once more as he looks to dance around the outside of Chai again. Coming through out to turn 13 to turn 14. Razin trying to fend him off. Inside line though for Karim to try and hang on and take that P1 away from the Alpine. But Chai once again relentless, showing he's got plenty more than that, and withstands Karim and holds that lead here on 39.
2 very worthy adversaries. Look at the riposte from Razin Chai. Absolutely brilliant defensive work as Meraki fell behind Alex Gillen. Formula Karim getting really punchy, starting to feel that confidence flow again that he lost on the restart, especially up into this corner, turn number 1. Razin Chai, is going to make him go the long way around to turn number 1. Once again, is very brave on the brakes. Karim in the Papaya McLaren car, and all the way around the outside of Razin Chai. Went around the outside of Alex Gillen, went around the outside of Razin Chai. That is quite the roster.
Those medium tyres will go the distance. The big question is, though, can anyone stop him? Back comes Razin Chai, as does Alex Gillen. Gillen looking to try and retake the lead back. Karim forfeiting 2 places. Oh, and that was Razin Chai, I think, who went very wide, and he's lost to Meraki this time around as well. Meraki into 3rd in the Red Bull. Razin Chai went so late coming in towards turn 12. He took the escape, and Gillen pounced, and in fact Karim somehow didn't lose out at all. He left coming out of turn 11, looking to lose 2 places. He retook them both back coming out of turn 12. I would say out of lead contention here. The win has slipped through your fingers. In fact, a podium has as well. As it stands, we've got 3 podium sitters sitting where they are right now, and that's another retirement and a safety car. Oh my goodness me. Great timing for Tyre McMurdoch. Poor timing for Alex Gillen, who has come around the final corner. Big chance now. Benjamin Daly has got one hope to save his race, and that is to come in for a pit stop. Ricky 03 has thought the same. Matati might do the same as well. We'll wait and see. But drama here at the very end here at COTA. And yes, indeed, they're all coming in. In comes Benjamin Daly, Vipers in, Nick Flies, Hayden Gullis, F1 Alex as well. Well, Matty D13 has caused a stir, and with 12 laps to go, we're going to have a huge almighty scrap, potentially, over this race lead that will extend beyond the top 6 that we had witnessed prior. Tim Marduk on fresh medium tyres. Who is going to certainly perform the better coming into the last stages of this race? Bear in mind, of course, they will now have DRS, and now as they put their foot to the floor, they'll venture around the final corner this time around, and it will be pedal to the metal for the 4th time in this race this time now. Alex Gillen takes them through up towards turn 1. Karim following in hot pursuit. Meraki down in 3rd. Rasin Chai also then further back. Lolin Ober cruising on through as well. A very orderly start indeed. But Ricky 03 already pouncing on Matati for that 10th spot. And also Matati trying to fight back as well as it now flies through the first sector. As you can see, just behind Tiamat Marduk in the bottom right of screen. Matati has been disposed of by Ricky, but Tiamat Marduk needs to do the same, and he might do it this time. As a look up the inside, coming up over the crest, will he dance around the outside as he then creep through up towards turn 10? Yes! It's going to be the Aussie, Tiamat Marduk, 11th place, following Ricky, and crucially enough, withholds the DRS. Yeah, look at this. Ricky and Tiamat Marduk dancing together coming around the corner at turn 11. It got very tight between them, but Ricky managing to hold on. Of course, the grip. There is some favourable grip on those soft tyres, obviously, in this instance, but it will wear off as Ricky now dives at the inside of Grid Jokes, manages to get the place done. Obviously, Tiamat Marduk's going to look to do the same as soon as he can, and he will, as we run on board with him in the bottom right-hand of screen. He's going to stay side by side here with Grid Jokes again. He's going to try and hold down the outside now, coming through in towards this next hexagonal curves, coming through turn 16, 17 and 18. Tiamat Marduk into 10th, and now chasing after Ricky once again. This time, though, he's in the points for sure, top 10 places, but now needs to go to work. We have now got 9 laps left, and F1 Alex has had a serious moment, loses the car altogether, and that is a yellow flag here on lap 47.
And Ricky 03 down to turn number 1, attacking the first Mercedes of Adam Sanderson, stuck in behind the Haas of Scott Taylor. Very, very efficient move from Ricky 03 as he uses those soft compound tyres to his advantage. F1 Alex does retire. We've got a safety car. I think he's crashed into the pit wall.
So far in this top 10, or should I say at least those on medium tyres in the top 10 as they now get underway. It's pedal to the metal now for the 5th time in this race, and team radio for Tiamat Marduk. Let's cook. Let's cook indeed. Alex Gillen's cooking though. He's up the inside of Formula Karim and is going to challenge the McLaren straight off the back. We get underway. Contact between the pair. Karim not giving way, and Meraki now pounces as well. He's into 2nd. Lolin Ober into 3rd. Gillen's lost out, and he's got his arch nemesis Tiamat Marduk right behind him. A swarm of cars, a gaggle. Gillen's made contact with Lolin Ober as well. Oh, has he? Gillen into 2nd. Tiamat Marduk into 3rd here on lap 52.
Oh, Formula Karim's gone. Karim's out. Oh no, it's Lolin Ober. I think they've come to blows. Ben has serious damage though. He clattered into the back of somebody in that massive kerfuffle we saw. We've got the safety car out again. This could get very, very messy with penalties. Formula Karim has survived. He had a huge crash coming out of turn number 10 with Lolin Ober going from bad to worse. Alex Gillen was smelling blood. Formula Karim was wounded, but they came to blows, and that caused, well, the calamities that we saw afterwards.
Of the season, you'd think it'd be the season finale here at this point, but now as they build up the speed and head around the final corner, they're going to put surely pedal to the metal for the 5th, and you'd expect final time here in this United States Grand Prix. It's Meraki who leads the way. Alex Gillen in 2nd, closing up to the back now. Tiamat Marduk still very much in this fight. Adam Sanderson, his teammate, surely has got to do him the service and provide that protective buffer to keep Rasin Chai at bay. That Alex Gillen, he's got half the better life on his tyres than the front two have themselves. Adam Sanderson having a look in the mirrors there of his teammate as now Tiamat Marduk dances around the outside of Alex Gillen. Is he going to try and hold it together? They're going to battle over P2 now, this time very early on. Of course, remember, this is the penultimate lap of the race, and Gillen made a little bit of contact. The front right made contact with the left of Tiamat Marduk's Mercedes, as now we watch them come through now on the penultimate lap. Very soon will be the final lap. It's a Mercedes and a Red Bull up in the front again. Meraki in front. It's Tiamat Marduk in 2nd. They will fight for race supremacy here at Austin, Texas. Important race-winning manoeuvre potentially on hand here for Benjamin Daly. The Aussie now moves up alongside Meraki, former title rivals. Tim Marduk this time gets one up on Meraki this time, coming through towards turn 12, but he's got to hold it together for the rest of the lap. Meraki now licking his wounds in second and has still got Alex Gillen in behind.
Well, he's got to be careful, Ben, because he's got that front wing damage, and this sector is going to affect him dearly. Meraki dropping time, though. A little bit of understeer for the Mercedes. How does he do it, though? How does he continue to pull the rabbit out of the hat? Shades of Lewis Hamilton in Saudi Arabia of 2021. When you've got the bit between your teeth, it doesn't matter how much damage you've got, because you can charge through the field and in the end defeat a Red Bull car to take the victory. The reigning champion was down and out halfway through this race. He was 16th about 15 laps ago, but he wins and takes the fastest lap to boot as well. It is Tim Marduk with arguably the greatest Creator Series comeback you are ever going to see.
Incoming now, and he is purple in that middle sector, so he's looking to try and bring down the Delta upon Zafso and enlist a Ferrari up at the very top of your screen. And yes, the first 119, and that is a huge lap, a monster lap there from Noiguera. Look at the gains, 3.2 between Ps1 and Ps2, and if that isn't an advert for the soft tyre, I don't know what is. And we're going to start seeing more and more of these Deltas come down now. Alex Gillen, the next one to watch. He is purple in the first sector, he's green in the second, as you'd expect. It's all about the all-important third sector, and he has got traffic to try and deal with. He's got a McLaren right in front of him here as well. That belongs to Nick Flies as he heads towards the line. Gillen flies into P1 by just over 200ths of a second.
It's a good lap from Gillen, but he had a little mistake coming out of the Ascari chicane, and then he got blocked on the run up to Parabolica, forced onto the grass by a weaving Haas car. I think he'll have a few comments to make about that when we get into the post-qualifying scenario, but I think there's more time left in that Gillen tank.
Yeah, definitely think so. There's more in the tank, I think, for various drivers. Black Mirror, of course, finding a little bit of time, but he's still yet to really put his first laps on the board. And Tim Marduk also not yet fielding a lap time, of course. Remember, last week's race winner returning again. He's got company as well. His teammate, no less, Grid Jokes, has already landed a P12 time. But remember, his lap was set very early on and on the intermediate tyres. But now on the softs, an opportunity to plough even more time on the table here. We've still got 5 minutes to go, 5 3/4. He goes fastest though this time, a first 118.718. They still persist to come down. Grid Jokes dropping Alex Gillen off the top of the classification. And now Hayden von der Gullis, who had a tough time, certainly in qualifying last week, returning well, did well, in fact, in the race, only enough for 13th fastest. Again, a poor one-lap visit for Hayden von der Gullis. Tenths of a second, nearly 6 tenths away from Grid Jokes at the very top. 25 seconds remain in the session. Nick Flies about to come up towards the line as well. Where can he go in his McLaren? 12th fastest there for Nick Flies. Not quite flying into the top 10 though. However, there are plenty of drivers that are out on laps, and a personal best and a fastest first sector here as well for the Haas of Scott Taylor, who goes 5th fastest. Here comes Grid Jokes. Can he go faster again? Yes! A 118.7. Can it be top though? Infratic looking to improve. He needs to majorly. 12th fastest for the Ferrari as he now bursts down the long straight. Here comes GB, currently 4th. He won't set another time. His teammate might though. That guy Vince, no, can't go higher than P11. But what about Ricky 03 as he now makes his way down the straight in towards Alboreto? Racing Chai calls it a day. We got more cars coming across the line. Lolinoba, former F2 champ, 8th place here in this classification. Anyone else? Noiguera, great over one lap. Not quite good enough though for pole. 84 thousandths off the top. Here comes Ricky 03 as well. Can he steal it? No, only enough for 6th place.
Still more drivers coming across the line. Gillen can't improve. Neither can his teammate. Everyone else coming across the line at the moment. Both kick sours. Arsenault goes up to P6. F1 Alex can't improve from P16. The only last driver now to try and cross the line will be Scott Taylor, who set his lap previously, and Meraki as well, as he comes around the Parabolica corner.
Yeah, and obviously Meraki still 7.6 down on Delta. He could find something massive here, but only enough for 10th place. Extraordinary scenes looking ahead to our first race of the day. Former champions not quite showing their very best. Meraki, you'd expect to see at the front. Also Alex Gillen. Lolinoba to a certain degree. That guy Vince as well, who scored regular top 10s in his time here. Of course, Zafso, a former champion, many of them starting from the bottom end of the classification, the bottom 10, I should say. But there's Noiguera, second fastest. I said watch him over one lap. He is absolutely sensational. His raw pace is brilliant. He gets rather unlucky on the odd occasion. Strategy doesn't always go his way, but he's got a great chance now once again, starting on the front row. But it's all about the sister Mercedes to Tiamat Marduk. It's Grid Jokes on pole ahead of race 1. And all 5 lights are indeed lit. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Noiguera doesn't get the best of launches. Grid Jokes gets away very sharply. Further back, Formula Karim also getting a decent run. Arseno looking to run side by side, but look at the fight back here from Noiguera, sending the Ferrari at the inside of the Rettifilio and takes the lead of the race as they all come through. The Rettifilio chicane, there's a Haas going off there deep as well. I think that was Lolinoba just taking the off track and a spinner at the back, and what a surprise. It's Hayden von der Gullis, helmet and all. He's right at the tail end of the field.
It was actually his teammate Riccio 3 who got sent around, but Lolinoba was the driver in the Haas that sent to the escape road in the first corner. Formula Karim having to take to this escape road as we head in towards the first chicane. There is carnage here in Monza as the rain continues to pour down.
As they now fly down the long straight once again, he's trying to tag onto the back of Lolinoba, who's 2 seconds behind. Wheel to wheel now as Grid Jokes makes contact up at the front. Goodness me, they were fighting over the race lead, and as a consequence, oh my goodness, Karim moves into the front now, takes an unbelievable advantage on the run in towards the Rettifilio, took full advantage of Grid Jokes' mistake, coming together with Noiguera, and Karim was there, ready to pounce in his Papaya McLaren. He leads here at Monza.
I'm trying to figure out what exactly went on there. It looked like one driver tried to cut the other off. GB though trying to take advantage as well in towards the chicane. Inside line becomes the outside line. The Ferrari has to yield, and yield he does, but he's gone off into the runoff zone, and that's Noguera round.
Well, I can tell you one thing, we have not had an F2 champion become an F1 Creator Series champion, but Formula Karim could be the one to make that happen. Of course, won it in its final rendition. Of course, the last time we saw the F2 championship in the Creator Series, it was won by Formula Karim. But GB, who briefly took the fastest lap of the race, now opens up the door here on Formula Karim and drops him into second. It's GB68 who moves up into first place. On the outset now of Rettifilio, he will continue and look to rise onwards as now conditions start to improve around the Temple of Speed. Is anyone else going to decide to come in? Formula Karim taking a very shallow line coming through Alboreto, and that does lead to a pit stop of his own. So he's the first from the front to come in and opt for a dry tyre. Alex Gillen joins him as well. That guy Vince doing the same. Yeah, they'll take the green wall tyre off now. This time they will set up the medium tyre. Now, where is Formula Karim at this moment in time? There he is, Randy Kerber Alboreto. We'd firmly expect him to take the lead of the race, or will he be under contest from GB, as now we see GB exiting the pit lane and he's being pursued by Tiamat Marduk. There's Karim as well, looking to move up alongside. There's going to be a wheel-to-wheel fight. No, there's not. Karim will retake the lead of the race here on lap 14. GB in second. Tiamat Marduk in the lead fight as well, has somehow, some way, after losing the initial places, fought his way back up to where he was before. Second row of the grid position.
Yeah, what a battle we're about to have on our hands in the final few laps of this race. We've still got 13 to come, and as Formula Karim just showed us there, the curbs are still a little bit damp. The rear end of the McLaren starting to kick out, but GB's got to run. He's got the rear wing open, and as we run down towards the Ascari chicane, almost certainly GB retakes the race lead with absolute ease here, but a battle further back. Could we going to see a dive from Alex Gillen? Overtakes in towards the Ascari chicane. Beautiful move from Alex Gillen. There's quite a possibility that with all this fighting amongst the grid, that he can try and close that gap over the next few laps. Moves being made further forward as Formula Karim's moved complete other side of the road, trying to keep away from everybody else. He's switched past GB68. Alex Gillen wants to come on the way through as well. He's going to swoop around the outside of GB68. Outside lends himself to the inside, and Gillen's now up to P2, but still side by side as we enter the Curva Grande. Now he's got the move done.
Fantastic move from Alex Gillen, brings himself into the lead fight. Team at Monaco also fancies some of the same as well. A little bit of bump draft in between them as they come down into the Rogier. Karim leads, late on the brakes there from Alex Gillen. Tussles as well, 3 wide on the escape. Coming out of the Rogier chicane, and Tim at Monaco moves into second. A double overtake here on lap 22. GB licking his wounds in third, and Alex Gillen, who looked to be the favourite coming out of the Rogier, has lost out altogether. That guy Vince in fifth, also looking for a fight. Racing Chai as well coming into this too with Lolinoba as they fly in towards Ascari, the two Astons together, and it's caused a huge colossal error there for that guy Vince. It's pushed him wide on the exit of Ascari and opened the door for Racing Chai and potentially Lolinoba on the run down towards Arboretta. Karim now sending it down the long straight. Here we go, folks. This is where business starts to pick up. GB in the wheel tracks now of Formula Karim. The man in papaya looking to defend hard against the Aston Martin. He can't defend enough, though. GB's got enough. Oh, no, my goodness me. Oh, Karim's been collected. And on top of that as well, a sea of cars have ploughed into one another. Tim Mark somehow has come out in second. Gillen in third. But Ben's got a penalty. He has got a penalty against his name of 10 seconds, so he won't finish on the podium here at this rate. It looks like it. I tell you what, he doesn't have enough of them as far as we're concerned. Definitely one of the dark horses, still scrapping it out. Ben Daly and Gillen into the gravel. The old rivals collected again, and our first retirement. It's Alex Gillen. He's lost it. The suspension damage clear on the front left of the car. But look at this. History made once again. I tell you what, an emotional scene when he won his first. He comes back all mean and green here at the Temple of Speed. It's GB. He takes victory here at Monza, and that is our first race of tonight's double-header affair. The Italian job kicking off in the right vein for the Aston Martin team. Lolinoba second, the former F2 champion, giving a great account and finishing on the podium place. And it's a double podium for Aston Martin. That guy Vince launching himself into the stratosphere. That's podium number 3. And Meraki, who is at the tail of this 8-car scrap, finds himself in 4th.
Beautiful, beautiful opportunity there. Beautiful win for GB as well. Aston Martin completely in their wheelhouse this afternoon. Lolinoba showing everybody that Italy is his hometown. And that is a beautiful P2 for himself. The home crowd hero will be celebrating this afternoon.
And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. A great start for Alex Gillen, a good start over Hayden von der Gullis, gets away very nicely indeed on the run down through towards Tamburello. Gillen, no pressurising and puncturing. Gullis heading in towards Tamburello this time, coming out of turn 2 and turn 3. It's the Williams that leads. F1 as well coming through. Surprisingly enough, it's all very neat and tidy on the escape out of Tamburello, though. Gillen going round the outside, coming through towards Villeneuve. Gullis squeezes him. Great defence from the Williams, and Gillen loses traction. F1 Alex with a little look around the outside, can't quite manufacture anything, and up the inside goes Sasso, Racing Bulls with a great start here. 2 RBs in the top 3.
Great opportunistic move from Safso there. Saw F1 Alex maybe being a bit hesitant to Alex Gillen and Hayden in front of him. Saw it move down the inside and absolutely licked the stamp and sent it. And he sent it again on his teammate. P2 for Safso.
No friends here. I tell you what, despite being teammates, I tell you what, Gillen's had a little bit of a heart-stopping moment in both races so far. His teammate decided to launch the inside of Acqua Minerale. Gillen trying to tie up with Gullis on the run coming through out of the Variante Alta chicane, and it's 3 wide on the escape. Zafso and Gillen, the 2 teammates, are now going to fight it out for lead supremacy. Zafso holding that lead. Looks like Gillen, though, isn't going to challenge him for it. An end plate, I think, has flown off as well. Now, whose does that belong to? It's Hayden von der Gullis. Damage to the front of the Williams. Yeah, here comes Infratic now at the inside and steals P3 away from Ricky 03. A little twitch to the wheel. He looks to find the traction now. If you want a story about Infratic, this is a driver who's only had 1 podium to his name historically. No wins, but now he's in the victory equation. Secured his first podium with good teamwork last season.
Go for a faster lap towards the end of the Grand Prix, or maybe help his teammate Safso go for a better run. But it's one of the longest pit lanes on the F1 calendar here at Imola, and our drivers will really feel it as they crawl along at absolute slow speeds.
Yeah, Infratic following him in as well. Blackmere doing the same. All eyes on Safso, who will eventually cross the line. He has got a 3.5 second buffer to Noiguera in that net P2 position. Let's see what happens now as we watch them rush down through across the line to that line. Zafso takes the fastest lap away from his teammate, so he has managed to almost recover the damage that might have been done prior to his pit stop. And look at this, Infratic coming out ahead there of Alex Gillen. More penalties being distributed. It looks like the wing change was done, shall I say, TK, because as a consequence, Noiguera has moved into second place and DRS has been enabled. Infratic ahead of Gillen after the front wing change. Yeah, he's certainly going to apply the pressure. Zafso takes the lead again. Karim drops down to second. Here comes Noiguera. Here comes Karim. Noiguera around the outside of Formula Karim. Oh, Benjamin Daly has been collected, and by consequence, he storms into Alex Gillen. Again, another coming together between the Mercedes and the B, and once more, it's Gillen that's lost out, and by the looks of it, he is now fodder for the likes of Riccio 3, Noiguera as well. That guy, Vince, has stormed into fourth, and Timo Marek has lost so much time, he's now disconnected from DRS. He's 1.3, a whole second behind as well, ahead of Formula Karim and more, as now there is only 2 contenders for this race lead, and because of the consequence of penalties, it looks like it could go Formula Karim's way. Back again comes Zafso, lap 32 now. We're on the final lap of the race. Here comes Zafso, round the outside here in the RB. Now, he needs to put the slowing down tactics into motion now, and ASAP, because Gillen will want an opportunity. Big moves here from Timo Marek as well. Big run as well coming in from Noiguera, who looks to come up through the middle. We got lap traffic as well in all this. And then Aston Martin's gone. It's Vince. Vince into the barrier and into the gravel as a result as well. And round goes Gullis. Gullis has gone as well. So Scott Taylor moves into 18th. That is a major moment down at Villeneuve. It only takes one move, one mistake. Karim now on the cusp of gaining a first victory in the F1 Creator Series. Zafso doing his best to try and slow him up, but it surely isn't going to work this time. Zafso tried. He could not succeed because Formula Karim, in his very first race win, he takes it here at Imola. Alex Gillen finishes in second. I'm sure a reprieve after the drama back at the Temple of Speed at Monza, and Noiguera obtains somehow, some way, his 6th podium in the Creator Series. Timo Marek clinching onto 4th, and Riccio 3 in 5th for Williams. Zafso all the way down in 6th after the penalties, and that guy Vince, a huge moment after getting sent into the gravel trap, finishes in 7th place ahead of Meraki. Rasin Chai in 9th. Lolinova rounds out the top 10.
Close this field is and how competitive Creator Series is, of course. This hasn't been the cleanest lap, though, it has to be said, from Formula Karim. The gap between himself and Gwatz has extended a little bit, and Gwatz actually a little bit wide of the apex coming through the penultimate course, so maybe not quite up to speed. Nicer through the final turn of number 10, though, and up to line we go. Karim with a 104.2, Gwatz with a 104.4, 2/10 of a second, separating them with that guy Vince in the middle.
Yeah, we're expecting times to come, well, considerably down over the next few minutes. Yellow flags in the second sector. One of the Mercedes going slowly. That'll be Timo Marek, I think, just moving out of the way of some of his fellow contestants. So good sportsmanship on behalf of Ben Daly. And as you said, expect higher 103s for pole positions at the moment. That's what we're being told in my ear just behind the scenes. So maybe another half a second to be found at this Austrian circuit, Tom.
That's quite a lot to try and find, and what I can only imagine is going to be one run between now and the end of the session. Timo Marek, that lap was a 106.8. Oh no, that was the lap he already had getting out of people's way. GB round the final corner, currently on a 6.2, intermediate pole, already to the name of the green machine, cutting the beam, and it's a 104.0, over 2/10 of a second clear of Formula Karim. Once again, GB looking dialed in early on and putting a marker down. Potentially. The strategical game is going to be huge, and Timo Marek's getting a lovely slipstream here, although getting held up slightly in the braking zone. Not sure who it is. It's definitely a Ferrari, potentially Infratic. No, he's just gone over the line into 13th, so it's got to be Nogueira, who's currently 10th.
Yep, certainly will be indeed. Up towards the line, Lolinova can't improve. Has to go again if he's got the battery to be able to do so. Hayden von der Gullis, I think, will be behind them. No, it was his teammate Riccio 3 just starting out. Times now will be locked in. That guy Vince didn't make it to the line by the looks of it. He did up to P6. for the Aston Martin driver. Timo Martin coming up towards the line. He's invalidated. Can't go quicker. Nogueira will go P8 as he comes across the line. Williams behind him. Who's gone off into the grass and the gravel? That'll be Hayden von der Gullis. Mercedes, McLaren, my apologies. Coming around the final corner, Formula Karim with a massive snap of oversteer. He'll come across the line. Can't improve this time around. The battle now stands between GB68 and Meraki. GB cannot improve. It's all on Meraki here as Alex Gillen can't go faster either.
Yeah, Gillen making the most of everybody else making mistakes on their final runs. Razin Chai doing the same, jumping up into 4th place, just 3 milliseconds slower than Alex Gillen. Meraki was down in the first couple of sectors, really aggressive over the curbs into turn number 10. Can he steal pole away from GB? No, he cannot. He's 0.4 of a second down. It is going Aston Martin's way. It wasn't the buzzer beater from Meraki right at the end of the session. Another driver in the gravel. I'm not sure who that was. But it is GB on pole, Meraki second, and we've got all of the big names right at the sharp end. And the likes of Tim Marduk, do you think he'll be satisfied with 5th place considering he's on that new equipment?
And let's see how our drivers go. I'm sure lights are being lit. We're right on board. 5 lights are indeed lit. And the lights go out, and we go racing in Austria. GB and Meraki with a good pull away towards turn number 1. Everybody going 2 by 2. So far, Alex Gillen and Timo Martin getting nice and calmly through the first corner. Everybody settling their differences. All 20 remain in the train at present. Formula Karim, who's had such bad luck in the opening few weeks of this season, so far getting caught in amongst the train. Alex Gillen, that was, trying to send a move down the inside of Meraki, having to wait patiently as Timo Martin once again goes down the inside of Razin Chai, this time around getting successfully past the Alpine car. Everybody still progressing as that guy Vince thinks about an opportunistic move down the inside of Formula Karim. Will have to wait his turn though as everybody starts to progress into Sector 2. Because there are still 69, make that 68 laps of this Grand Prix to go. Fastest lap being shared amongst the first 5 drivers that come across the timing beam. GB, Meraki, Gillen, Daly and Karim as they all progress one by one. Alex Gillen has a good run on Meraki up the hill here shortly through the kink of turn number 2. He'll have the outside line. He's being forced there by the newly baptised Red Bull driver. He'll try and swing around the outside, but the traction surely still stands with Meraki as he crouches his way down towards turn number 4. Could he go for a double overtake here? Gillen goes round the outside of GB, swoops round into place number 1, but GB says no, he's going to defend like his life depends on it. They're side by side into turn number 5, and GB says thank you very much, I'll take that place back. Nogueira might do the same in towards turn number 1. The Ferrari looks for the late break into the inside line. The medium tyres starting to fire up for the first time in this Grand Prix, but Formula Karim says no. Formula Kai, on the other hand, might try and swing around the outside of the abandoned Nogueira. Couldn't go anywhere as he dives into turn number 3. The Kick Sauber tries to swing one round the outside of the Scuderia Ferrari, and surely he's got the position now with the DRS assistance, but back up in the lead of the race. Meraki has maybe pipped an opportunity round the outside of Alex Gillen. He will go, and Alex Gillen, little bit of a slide. The rear tyres not locking as much as he would have liked. Meraki has got past the conductor. He's now on the rear of GB.
Yeah, I think what we can expect from Tim Marduk is potentially a lack of consistency. This could be the lead changing hands for the first time this race, though. Meraki trying to push GB right over to the edge of the circuit to get the lead of this race. Alex Gillen potentially sniffing an opportunity underneath the rear wing of both of them. But it is Meraki and Red Bull leading the way for the first time here in Austria. GB dropping down into second place.
That's incredibly quick how one lap passes here in Austria. GB right on the rear already of Meraki, who's charging some of his battery in the final few corners. You can see GB fully charged at 100% and surely will like to retake this race lead in towards turn number 1. Alex Gillen thinking about a move down the inside. We've seen this one happen before where he thinks about a cheeky move down the inside. DRS open for the front 5. Karim and Nogueira not too far back. They might want to come and join the party at some point. 3 wide, surely not in towards turn number 3. Gillen gets past, GB gets past. Meraki might have to settle for 3rd on the grid at the moment, but Gillen with an amazing double overtake retakes the race lead, or takes away the race lead, but it's not over and done with yet. Meraki thinks he has an opportunity in towards turn number 4. Both of them going late on the brakes here, swinging one round the outside line. Gillen surviving by the barest of margins at the moment, retakes the race lead. Alex Gillen, P1. He's got information for us on what happened with Razin. Where did that Alpine go wrong? In towards turn number 4, but here we go, 2-3 wide, in towards turn number 3. There's no love lost between any of our drivers at the moment. Meraki's still holding on for dear life in P3. Safso in towards the pit lane further back. Let's go over to Carl and Clip at COTA, who can tell us a little bit more about what happened with Razin Chai and the Alpine. Certainly will do indeed. Thank you, Carl, for your insight as always. Much appreciated. We join back to the action as we see a change for the race lead happening. Datko Vince getting the best of Alex Gillen here. Are the medium tyres starting to come strong here, Tom? As Timo Mardik sends one from absolutely nowhere down the inside of the Red Bull of Meraki, catches Meraki napping, and this could be an opportunity for Timo Mardik to change what has been a poor race by his standards so far up to P3. This could be a podium, but we're only in early stages. That stands in P6. 4 and 6 would be a fantastic result for Team VCarb at the moment, as Timo Mardik makes that 4 and 7, but still a very ambitious result.
Yeah, and Safso, if he could just cling onto the coattails of this group, as there is definitely a little bit of contact. The sparks flying on the front of the Alpine car as Meraki and Alex Gillen help themselves and get ahead of Razin Chai in the braking zone of turn number 3. And it could be 3 places lost for the Alpine. Alex Gillen not satisfied with being in third, potentially challenging the Red Bull, though it's Razin Chai. Back around the outside we go. GB just nibbling at the heels of the Alpine, sticking his nose in a place that is not particularly welcome, but at the moment has to stay in 5th.
In towards turn number 1. Gillen will have an opportunity here. Into Meraki. In towards turn number 1. Will Alex Gillen go for it? No. He's just going to sit in behind, be patient and wait. And that is the smart racing move from Alex Gillen. He can be patient. He can wait for potentially Meraki to make a mistake, because realistically he doesn't want to be the driver that leads without the DRS, albeit does he. Down in towards turn number 3. Into the inside line. Alex Gillen becomes the driver that is in P2. Meraki will have to settle for P3. Razin Chai couldn't quite get his car alongside quick enough to challenge for that as well.
Yes, and getting second place as well, back from GB into turn number 3. Another yellow flag. I think that's F1 Alex. Retiring, we've got a safety car.
No,
he just went off the circuit, so he didn't retire, but the safety car's been called out. It's got no front wing, so maybe he's dropped it coming out of the final corner. Formula Cream is not going to like that one bit as his lead evaporates.
Datko Vince will lead us away for the restart on lap 46 of 4 of 71, and he's going to put his foot to the floor. The light will go green, and we will go racing here this afternoon.
100%. Will Cream think about a move into turn number 1? This is possibly the only opportunity, as retiring in the pits is F1 Alex. Thought his race was done. Out we go through turn number 1. This is going to be Cream taking the lead back from Datko Vince, who is going to be much, much slower on those used medium tyres. Is this potentially an opportunity for Alex Gillen to take the lead of the race up the inside? He wants one place. He wants a couple down the inside of the Papaya McLaren car. No contact, Cream leaving the space for Gillen on the inside, but does hold the lead of this race.
Team Radio, Formula Cream, let's do this, and let's do this. He has already got past Vince. Gillen tried to follow him through. The Alpines are battling in towards turn number 4 as Razin Chai gets past his teammate of Quats. Everybody else feeling like they're out of position. GB getting pushed practically through the corners by Tia McMardick, who tries to split the 2 Aston Martins round the outside of that guy Vince. Tia McMardick getting a beautiful position there where you thought it couldn't be made. Round the outside of the double left-hander, the man from down under dispatches that guy Vince with vengeance. Close together, one minor mistake from any of them, there could be a massive accident. GB on the run here. Are they going to make it 2, if not 3 wide? Alex Gillen sends it down the inside of Formula Karim, pushes Karim wide. He's run off the circuit. GB now looks to make a move down the inside line. GB into the lead of the race. Nothing Gillen can do. He'll try and go later on the brakes, but he's just too far behind. The man that won him onto last time out is now your race leader.
And Kareem, I think, is going to be absolutely steaming with that move from Alex Gillen. Timo Mardik's up the inside of Gillen, and he's absolutely put a number on his main rival. Up the inside into turn number 6. Gillen, who was holding second place quite comfortably, now bumped down to third, and is going to have a slightly disgruntled Formula Kareem to deal with, you can imagine. And Gillen, is slow off turn number 1, and it could be Formula Cream's chance to get that place back and maybe serve up a little bit of revenge into turn number 3. It's actually Gillen up the inside of his old sparring partner, Tia McMardick. A little bit of contact, front left tyre to side pod. Ben is going to come out on top for the time being, although look at that. neck and neck coming out of turn number 3. A little bit of bumping and grinding down the straight. We're going to turn number 4. Is Gillen going to come out on top? He's got the inside line. Can he break later and force Ben onto the curb or potentially even the gravel? Ben's going to hold it around the outside. Lovely little bit of racing between these two. We don't say that very often. Kareem trying to follow through. Can't quite do it. And from Clip at corner and Kyle, we are hearing that Kareem has a bit of damage from that collision.
Leads the race. Tim right across the team radio for the lead car. GB's got great pace. Well, compliments from a season champion, 2-time season champion. He may have great pace, but Tia McMardock will try one round the outside. He decides his time is now. On lap 60, the charge begins for the 2-time world champion. He'll move into P1, but GB immediately back round the outside. Gillen thinks for a move down the inside line. The kick Sauber looks for a move. He's not one, but two as he tries to move into the race lead. Alex Gillen has gone past both. He'll switch around the outside. GB trying to hold him there, but Gillen can't quite get the traction, shut off by the Aston Martin. GB holding on for absolute dear life here.
Doing very, very well indeed, former champion, but Tim McMardock trying to cut through as well. Surely we're not 3 wide into the penultimate corner. It's Tim McMardock around the outside of both of them. It continues into the final corner, and that's Alex Gillen holding firm in second place. Razenchai and Formula Cream right in there as well. Surely we won't be 5 wide at one point. No, we're not going to be 5 wide. Around the outside into turn number 1, potentially as GB can't force the Aston Martin far enough alongside.
Certainly can't. He's holding on for dear life. Tim McMardock now in the race lead. Alex Gillen trying to chase him down the inside in towards turn number 3. Little bit of bumping and racing further back as Razinchai senses an opportunity down the inside line of GB. Look at this, no. 4 wide. They're all getting held up as Karim, Chai, Tia McMardock and GB come together. There's a 1.5 second advantage up the road for Alex Gillen. What had been over-optimistic moves for Razinchai and potentially Formula Karim. Karim's come out on top, penalty to his name, but Chai, GB and Team McMardock will be reunited with Meraki and they'll be solidified in their fight now. They want to get back at it, but Gillen, with just 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix, has an advantage he never thought he'd had.
In the remaining 6 laps of this Grand Prix. Alex Gillen's win, looking a dead set at the moment, but this battle for second place is continuing to go on behind as Tim McMardock and Formula Cream trade places for the 3rd lap on the trot. Razenchai and Meraki not quite close enough to do any real damage to the Aston Martin of GB68. Ben is wide though into turn number 3. Thank you very much. Formula Cream is going to try and take this position back on the exit. Is the Aston Martin of GB going to try and sniff in around there as well and get the position? Yes, he is. Ben is slow on the straight thanks to the DRS that GB has got. Ben's going to try and hang it around the outside though. Can he try and make it work? The reigning champion GB forces his way through, and that is 3rd place.
If we see it for a second time, Alex Gillen still leads. Karim now getting past, holding on from GB68, swoops to the inside line. Beautiful move from GB, nice and patient on his approach. Tim McMardock thinks about a move similar, very style, down the inside line, gets the move made. Beautiful move from Tim McMardock, getting up to P3 on track, and that is going to be Tim McMardock P3. Yellow flag further back, the other kick Sauber's gone. We've got a safety car again.
Oh, that's the little bit of spice that we were after, everybody. It's Formula Kai, whose race is run. Formula Cream had just dropped down a couple of places. That penalty is going to make a podium almost completely unforeseeable, to be honest. It wipes out Alex Gillen's advantage as well. And even if it rains, which is still a potential possibility, even though it is very, very late in the day, I mean, answers on a postcard. I have no idea what is going to happen. What I do know is that drivers are going to make their way into the pit lane. Down pit road we go for a set of brand new soft compound tyres.
To both kick Saubers here this afternoon, but race situation we find ourselves in. Lap 69 of 71, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in, because the light goes green, and we go racing for the final time. Gillen with a good pull away. GB not quite able to capitalise on the opening stages of this lap, and he'll have to try and pay attention. Who's going to make the first move up in towards turn number 3? Lolly Nova gets the best of Adam Sanderson. Razinchai thinks about a dive down the inside of Formula Karim, trying to hold onto position, but Gillen from GB, from Tia McMardock, are your race 3 at the moment. As we run up the hill for the final time in this race, the Aston Martin, the Mercedes, both of them with rear wings open. Don't forget Razin Chai, of course, he can come from absolutely nowhere. GB doesn't go for the move here into turn 3. Team Harmonic does go down the inside of GB68, sneaks one down the inside, but here comes Razin Chai. 3 wide, the driver's behind Alex Gillen. They're all fighting for this pole position. Razin Chai goes deep, GB's forced wide. They're in 2x2x2. Alex Gillen getting a free show here as the Aston Martin and the Alpine still continue to battle it out on track. Team Harmonic though looks down the inside line, can't quite send it. GB tried his best to try and hold on to the race win here this afternoon. He won't quite get it out over Razin Chai, but Alex Gillen, who defended like a lion over 3 laps of racing, will get his first win here in Season 9 of the Creator Series. Gillen wins from Chai from GB.
And Tim Harmonic, the reigning champion, got gobbled up on the final lap, lost out to Meraki as well. So it got very, very clustered indeed. Formula Kareem drops all the way down into 8th place. He will not be happy with that at all. Razin Chai coming through to take 2nd place. Vortex was very close. He predicted that Razin would steal it right at the death there. I think Ben's eyes turned to dinner plates a little bit when he saw GB go slightly wide into turn number 3, tried to get alongside and up the inside, but it just sort of held all of them up. Razin was able to sneak through on the inside of the pair of them, and then Ben just sort of found himself in a very vulnerable position, and Formula Cream and Meraki made the most of it in the final couple of corners.
Certainly was indeed. I think that Inter's pole hasn't necessarily played well for him. He can't find the car balance on the intermediates on a dry track. It's purple through the middle sector though. He's certainly looking to improve as we head through the swimming pool section in towards Raskas. He's got to get this crucially correct. And he's got one more corner to navigate. Well, 2 corners if you call it that. 18, 19. Anthony Knowles. DRS becomes enabled. Here we go. Final laps of the session. Formula Karim goes fastest.
He still could be under pressure though, because there are a lot of drivers out there, and this track is just going to continue to get faster, especially with the DRS enabled. Nick Fly starting his final lap of the session. Few drivers might not get round to start a flying lap. I'm looking at Ricky 03 in the Williams. I'm looking at Safso, who's just crossed the line. Here's Mr. Dell. Was fastest a few moments ago, now down in 14th on a 20.2. Ricky's done, so is Lolanoba. Over the line we go with Dell, and it's a 16.7. 3rd fastest for the time being. Meraki's in the pits, and so is Razin Chai.
Infratic just scrapes himself through P8 for the Ferrari on a 1-run wonder. Safso is surely at risk now. I don't know if he's going to be able to try and pull his way through. Test will be next up towards the line though. Team Mercedes, of course, his teammate Team Harmonic pulls himself to safety. P4, that drops Scott Taylor into the worry zone. Nick Flies has got a job to do, as does Safso. Hayden Gullis has retired back to his dormitory. Next across the line will be Scott Taylor, or both Aston Martin boys who are in towards the pit lane. So yeah, it'll be the Haskar of Taylor. Comes through the final couple of corners now. Can he secure himself from safety? GB goes fastest, immediately replaced by Formula Guy. 15.0 for the Kick Sauber. Let's have a look further back. Scott Taylor gets himself to safety. F1 Alex next in worries. He goes 3rd fastest. Nick Flies as Karim goes faster now. Can Nick Flies and relegate that guy Vince out of Q1 here? Up towards the line he will run. Is he going to go faster? Yes, he does. That guy Vince, who had all the pace in early stages when it was raining, gets knocked out at the first time of asking. Certainly is indeed. We saw the reaction when he got through to Q3. Red Bull just moving out the way. I'm going to assume that's Meraki or Mr. Dale, one of the two, as he progresses his way through the lap, up towards the timing beam. Where's he going to go? Scott Taylor towards the line, 1 place improvement, half a second there or thereabouts. P7 is where he finds himself at the moment as our top 3 continue to retire. Karim, Razin and Tia Marduk deciding that they've had enough of this Q2 session, decided they have gone fast enough as well, pretty much confirmed that Safso will start in P15. Let's not forget Scott Taylor has that 5-place grid penalty that he accumulated back in Q1.
Very, very good point. Very, very good point. So wherever he starts, he's going to be compromised a little bit. The checkered flag is waving. So these are the laps that have got to count. Nagera currently only 13th. Unlucky at the moment. Jumps up just inside the top 10 into 8th place. Can that Scarlet car remain in there? Nick Flies missing out by just under 2/10 of a second. It'll only be 1 Papaya McLaren in qualifying 3. Can Infratic make it 2? Scarlet Red Ferrari cars into Q3. Pulling up to the line now as he cuts the beam. Doesn't look particularly quick. And it is not only a 10-0. Misses out Infratic.
Doesn't improve, unfortunately. Well, it does improve by about 7/10 of a second. Dale goes straight on at the Nouvelle Chicane, crashes himself out of this session. Q2 will be his demise, as that was over the line. Scott Taylor on the team radio, hoping that he's done enough. Tesswell couldn't go quicker. Nick Flies couldn't go quicker. Neither can Infratic or Mr. Dale. So that is going to be Scott Taylor through to Q3. GB in towards the pit lane, as is Matati and Mr. Taylor himself. And let's get a live reaction, see how he's doing. There is all smiles on the face of the Scotsman. Let us know in the live chat, wherever you may be watching, whether that's Twitch, YouTube, I mean even Twitter as well, who your prediction is on for pole position here this afternoon. 2 entries in the final showdown have been laid down. Matati with a 109.4, F1 Alex with a 109.5, Formula Kai, the other kick sour at the moment, going purple through the second sector, looks to lay down as the rear end kicks out. That guy Vince in the chat, reckoning for GB68, hoping his teammate can get pole position for the Aston Martin Giro. Formula Kai goes quickest, 108.3 for himself. Lots of time still to come. Lots of potential for crashes still to come here, Tom. We got 8 minutes and 27 seconds of pure carnage.
Big blunder that from Kareem. He was purple in the first sector and I think purple in the middle sector as well. So making a mess of his first flying lap of the session, leaving himself with some work to do, a little bit unstable over the curve through the swimming pool section for the green machine of GB. Up towards Anthony Knows we go. Can he rotate the car nicely? A little bit wide of the apex or the wall on the inside, but pulling gears up to the line as he cuts the beam. What's it going to be? Is it provisional pole? Nearly half a second down.
Not a good start for GB. Still time to find, still tyres to use, of course. That could potentially be a scrub set for a few of our drivers. Formula Car could have gone out on a brand new set of rubber. Let's wait and see what happens over the rest of this Q3 session. Lots still to happen. Tim and Mardik making his way through the third sector, through the pool section that we have here in Monaco. He's leading the championship, but he hasn't finished on the podium since he won in the United States back in round number 1. The Italian jumping the Austrian hills haven't treated the Australian very nicely. Will Monaco do him a favour? No. Across the line, it's only going to be P2 at present. On Formula Kai, as we make our way through this session, just over 4 minutes to go. Can the young man start from pole position? They say quite often the race on Sunday is decided on Saturday here in Monaco. Formula Kai looking to improve on his lap time. Are we going to see a 7? No, but we're going to see a quicker 108.211 for Formula Kai, stamping his ability up on the leaderboard. Oh. Formula Karim out of absolutely nowhere, 107.842. We've got Formula Karim, Formula Karai. It's a Formula front row here in Monaco. Certainly has indeed. This is where it's going to get spicy, folks. 15 seconds until the checkered flag will begin to fly. Last minute predictions are allowed here in the F1 Creator Series. Get them in the live chat wherever you may be watching. Let's see who's going to take pole position at Monaco. Everybody out apart from Matati and F1 Alex, who finished up late. Let's see which way that dice is going to roll.
There's nothing between Kareem and Razinchai through the first couple of sectors, about 0.03 of a second at the moment. Will it be McLaren or will the Alpine throw a buzzer beater right at the end? Can Razinchai steal a march on Formula Kareem? Upset the Formula front row. No, he cannot. He's still over 0.2 of a second down, 108.1, but he has pushed Formula Car off the front row of the grid.
Aguera in towards the pit lane. GB, the next to come up towards the line. 2.8 improving as he heads through the pool section in towards Raskas. Locks up the wheels. Let's see what he can do as he comes through Anthony Knoll. DRS ring will open. The battery being depleted. GB will come up towards the timing beam. Goes only 4th fastest. 0.2 improvement. Scott Taylor next across the line. 0.8 improvement through the second sector. Can Haas try and relive its day here in Monaco once again? Can he go quicker? He can. Steals P4 from GB. Next, Formula Kai looking to try and pip out his namesake. Can he do it as he comes up? Yes, he can. A 107.834. After Karim couldn't go faster, Kai shows him that you can. And that is going to be Formula Kai starting from pole position of the Monaco Grand Prix. And he has well and truly stamped his name into history here in the F1 Creator Series. We wait now for Gillen and Gullis to line up on our grid, once above another, P20 and P18 respectively. It's going to be very damp in our cockpits. We are going to have lights lit above our heads. We got 2, we got 3, 4 and 5 And for Monaco, in season number 9, the lights go out and we go racing with Formula Karim and Kai pulling away, both equally into turn number 1. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It's Karim round the outside, but there's contact with the wall. He's met his best friend, Barrier, and that's going to allow Formula Kai into the lead of the race. Razin Chai swooping up to P3 as well. Beautiful moves from himself. Noguera making early moves from this race start, and it's going to be F1 Alex trying to make a very similar move on the Alpine that's looking rather stranded as we come to the top of the hill, through Casino, in towards Mirabeau, in towards the hairpin. This is where mistakes surely are going to be start to be made. Let's have a look, let's have a watch as Formula Kai leads our procession through.
Well, Karim will be disappointed. The only strategy that I can think of for starting on the wets was try and get track position straight away, get ahead of Formula Kai and then pull away right from the outset, as the wets for a few laps are quicker than the green striped intermediate type. We did have a yellow flag being thrown up, but nobody is facing the wrong way or indeed upside down. So we continue on Formula Karim, shadowing every move from Kai, but he's made a mess of it on lap 1. First ever pole position, but he logged the brakes into the Nouveau chicane, slammed that front wing into the barrier on the left hand side, and somebody already has come a cropper, and it's one of the form horses to try and pick up the win in 78 laps time. Big gag on the cars, caught up by that as well, behind the ailing kick Sauber of Formula Kai jumping into the pits. This is now what Formula Cream wanted to happen, didn't quite happen in the way that he was expecting. Razin Chai slow coming out of Sandoval. He's tapped the barrier. You can see he's got half a front wing on the right, or the left hand side, sorry. Through goes Meraki, through goes GB, and that's the second mistake from one of the front runners we've seen. Razin struggling on the intermediates, drops a couple of places and some points of downforce for good measure.
Certainly will be indeed. Let's see what everybody decides to bolt on. I think, as you said, drivers in towards the pit lane, hopefully in the next few minutes. Let's see where they're going to go. Rain has well and truly stopped. The dry line will start to form, and yes, everybody coming in towards the pit lane now. Fresh tyres for a lot of our cohort here.
100%, yeah, but he's still got a long way to go, of course. Only lap 17 of 78. 60 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, so plenty of time for some safety cars and plenty of time for Alex Gillen to launch up the inside into the Nouveau chicane. This time he's further alongside, but he's crashed. Alex Gillen getting it wrong, clipping the inside wall, and for the second time this season, Alex Gillen has retired.
Oh my goodness, I never thought I'd see that. That's a rare mistake from Alex Gillen, and that's his first ever DNF on the F1 Creator Series, because technically he was classified in Monza. Alex Gillen, at a rare moment of weakness, will not be classified here at Monaco this afternoon. Wow, I never thought I'd see a mistake like that from Alex Gillen.
And then this was what happened to Razin Chai. This is why he
sorry to cut you off, Alex. Hayden Gullis off into the wall in the third sector. Hayden Gullis out of this race here this afternoon, pushed wide by the Alpine of Razin Chai. Front wheel completely missing for him this afternoon. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but surely now, Bernd Mailander caught into action. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a safety car.
London buses waited ages to see somebody have a little bit of a whoopsie first retirement of the race. Now we've got multiple Formula Creams going off at the swimming pool chicane. I wonder if he overtook a couple. Oh, this is not ideal at all. Hayden Gullis has left the session. I can just see that in the Creative EC, everybody is undeafened at the same time as well. We're going to go back to Clipbook Corner.
That is not where you want to be for this race start. Hopefully someone is going to give him some relief. He's not even in his grid box there. How has he managed to reset back to that position? He's going to be absolutely fuming. His wheel surely is going to have to be turned all the way to his left-hand side, but we'll wait for the lights because they cannot be far away. GB, who's pointing in towards the wall. We've got lights above our heads, ladies and gentlemen. We've got lights all lit, 5 lights on, and the lights go out, and we go racing once again. GB with a good turnaround to get his car pointing in the correct direction. It's 2 by 2 by 2 in towards the first corner, though. Everybody snaking through. There's a kick Sauber out and round further back. F1 Alex and Mr. Dale camming together, and that's going to be the kick Sauber coming off worst. Formula Kai getting involved as well. No front wing for himself in Fratic, who really hasn't liked the situation this afternoon. 10 seconds for a severe collision with Test Will as well. The Ferrari having a day go to bad to worse. We've already got a virtual safety car.
Not had the rub of the green, let's say, so far this season. And we're going once again.
Light goes green on our drivers, and look at this. GB immediately under pressure from Team of Monaco. We've seen this story written before. More yellow flags further back. as Gillen's into the wall. That's not going to be too happy for himself. You can see his car stranded all the way further back, just getting going again through the swimming pool section. The driver that started on the hard tyre now has front wing damage to boot as well. F1 Alex getting past Infratic as he's in towards the pit lane, not only to serve a 10-second penalty, but also fresh tyres on. One of Williams into the pit lane as well. Riccio 3, to my assumption. There's a considerable number of cars in towards this pit lane. It's a busy time to be a pit mechanic here. Certainly is, and now he's got Safso right on his tail. 5 of 39. They seem to be going a lot quicker here under dry running conditions. I say that Lolly Nova is out of the race. We've got a VSC again.
Well, the safety car's desperate not to come out. Where has he ended up there? I don't know how he's lost his wheel because he hasn't reached to back corner. So he's obviously come a cropper on the entry. That's a very strange place to crash. Maybe he was battling with his teammate Scott Taylor potentially. Nick Flies has jumped into the pits along with Nogueira. These guys are going to get rid of those soft compound tyres. Scott Taylor's in as well. Is Razin in the Alpine? No, Razin's staying out. He's going for the track position, not trying to fix his front wing. We're down to 18 drivers now, and Lolly Nova is the first to retire from race number 2, Electric Boogaloo.
He is. He's absolutely fine. Yellow flag's further back as Dale might have got into the barrier. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. I think Dale almost certainly has losing positions. Yeah, he's ghosted further back. VSC again. Bert Mylander once again refusing to come out of that pit lane. I think he hasn't brought his coat with him.
Oh, we got a safety car. You can see just on the track map that yellow dot there. We are going to be under safety car conditions. Formula Cream 4, I think the third time now, is going to have his lead wiped out. He's jumped into the pits, you would imagine, for the medium tyres, potentially to try to go to the end, although we're probably going to have another virtual or full course safety car between now and lap number 39 of this Grand Prix.
Speaking of what Hayden has to deal with, he's got 12 cars in front of him. The lights will now go green. Formula Karim can put his foot to the floor, and we will go racing on lap 13 of 39. 1/3 of the way through this new Grand Prix, and that is going to be Razin Chai. Sorry, Matati sending an audacious move down the inside of Safso. Razin Chai will now try his luck, but he's not too far ahead. He thought about it for about half a second. Nick Fly's looking for a move on Nogueira as well, but Razin Chai still on the back. Damage safety car. I was going to say safety car on the top, but that's not. That's me misreading there.
Has he got more damage, Razin? He definitely had that front left end plate missing. There's more contact further back, people slamming into each other. Tim and Marduk trying to get past GB. This could be a crucial battle for the podium, and I think the reigning champion has got past GB. Yes, he has, confirming third position there. Razin certainly has more damage than he did before the safety car came out, so he's going to be even more wounded in the second half of the race. Formula Cream comfortable out in front, as is Meraki in second, and then Tim and Marduk stealing a march on GB at the restart.
No, that's the question he'll be asking. Could he have gone for it? Could he have committed to the move? He spoke a moment ago about watching with Alex Gillen. He's now battling Formula Kai Nogueira down the inside of the Haas car. Scott Taylor having to do everything to try and avoid a collision. Now the Mercedes side by side. Tess Will thinking about an opportunity. Nogueira had to go from attack to defence in about half a second. They're very fortunate to come out on top. Williams further back. That's Hayden Gullis going sideways with Formula Kai. I think both of them progressing on through. Infratic is out of the session.
No safety car though, and it looks like Infratic's car's still running, so he's retired on track. He's decided he's had enough of the second week running, and Fabio is the third driver that won't be seeing the checkered flag, and another score of nil points for the one-time podium finisher in that Scarlet Red Ferrari car. That was, well, Code Brown moment part 3, I think, this time for Hollywood. Hayden Gullis coming through the swimming pool section. Formula Kai trying to make up for the blunders in this race so far. The pole sitter barging his way out the inside of Matinee corner and does force his way past Hayden Gullis. Wasn't the cleanest move you're ever going to see in your life, but this is Monaco, of course. Oh, Ben sliding his way coming out of the swimming pool chicane. He knows that Formula Cream is so much quicker than the guys that are around him. Nearly 5 seconds again he's built up in. What's that? 3 laps, 4.7 seconds as we cut the beam. Yellow flag is out once again. They're throwing them like they're going out of fashion at the moment. Who is it? I'm not sure who it is. I think it's a Haas. Scott Taylor has dropped it coming out of the swimming pool chicane, catching out Ricky 03 as well. We've got a virtual safety car. No front wing on the Haas. That is going to have to be returned to the pits. And Ricky has a 10-second penalty for a severe collision. Both of them with 10-second penalties. So they've obviously got a little bit too engaged with each other, minus their front wings, of course, and returning to pit road.
And now we're setting up for something very similar. The gap between Meraki and Formula Karim surpasses the 10-second mark. I think Meraki well and truly out of any contention of winning this Grand Prix race. But Timo Monic thinks about a move down the inside of Meraki, catches Meraki napping, and it's now the Australian who moves into P2. Meraki with a massive snap goes sideways. GB with a little bit of contact, and Meraki dropping down another position down to P4. He's got some work to cut out if he wants to try and catch up, and the look on his face says it all there.
absolute disbelief. And if you're any good at lip reading there, you can probably work out that he wasn't particularly pleased with what he's just seen. I don't think he'll be particularly happy-eyed with the move Tim McMahon made into Larascas corner. There was a little bit of contact, Tim McMahon forcing his way through, but sometimes at Monaco, you just got to bite the bullet and send it up the inside, try and force your way past. And that is what happened. And then Meraki losing out to GB as well with that wobble, let's say, coming through Anthony Nose.
Certainly is indeed. I think tyres could start to be concerned. Formula Car yellow flag. Dale's out.
Gone.
As we headed through Casino. Is it going to be too late for a safety car? We've got a yellow flag other way. That's going to be Scott Taylor at a very similar position where we saw his teammate go out, and he's facing completely the wrong way. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Kareem narrowly avoiding a race-ending crash there with a Haas that was rather Austin-powered here in Monaco. At its key, and now he's going out and chasing wins like they're just candy from a candy shop. Yellow flag further back. Nogueira off and round. I think that's going to be the Scuderia Ferrari stuck in a wall as we headed up through Casino. We've seen, I think that was where Fratic binned it in qualifying last time out in Season 7. Narrowly avoiding him is Teswell coming swooping past. That Mercedes surely would have seen him at completely the last minute.
There was definitely a bit of contact though, and another kerfuffle going up the hill through Casino Square. Not good at all. And Nogueira does retire. I think he slammed it into the wall going up towards Mirabeau. Still no safety car though.
What this will be for Formula Career after what has been only described as the worst bad luck that a driver can have in the opening race of the season. I think he's had too many contacts to mention. He will come round the final corner through Anthony Knowles. The wheel starts to shake, the celebrations will rise, and Formula Karim will win the Monegasque Grand Prix in Season 9. A beautiful accomplishment after dedicated drives. The man who will stand atop everybody else with Team Monaco and GB to share the podium with.
And Alex Gillen has forced his way past Matati in the battle for 5th and 6th place. So what a recovery from Alex Gillen. Will Meraki steal the fastest lap right at the death? I will be surprised if he doesn't. One of the fastest drivers on the fastest set of tyres. He is going to take 4th place, just missing out on the podium. It is the fastest lap by quite a distance for the Season 4 champion. Matati will come home in 5th place behind. A very, very well done Alex Gillen. Recovered brilliantly to come home in 5th place and take a very decent chunk of points to add to his tally. But it's Formula Kareem in Dreamland once again. Super Kareem taking his 2nd Creator Series victory.
Beautiful stuff from Kareem. He'll be happy with that. And now the Kareem train has started. Where will it stop? Nobody knows. Lots of races, lots of opportunities for him to score points and score wins, score podiums. In fact, as we progress through this season, we're only on round 14 of... Sorry, 14? Round 4 of 13 as Hayden Gullis gets disqualified right at the end there. But it's all going the way of Formula Kareem in this Grand Prix at the moment.
Let's see if it truly is. Looking at the Delta right now, it is still Scott Taylor untouched. Up at the top, there's not a single car in the pits right now. So many out on track, looking to usher in a last gasp blast here at the end of qualifying. Of course, remember, a short session, there are no eliminations. It comes down to how good you are here in one short qualifying. Rasin Chai looking to whip the tail out. Purple in that 2nd sector. That's a 43.239 and faster than Scott Taylor by around 3/10 as Big T-Mac comes down into the bus stop. Let's see where he sits. Rasin in full pursuit of him as well. Let's see where T-Mac goes. Will he jump up to the top? Yes, he will. Big T-Mac, a 142.525. Here comes Rasin Chai. He goes fastest with a 142.167. The Alpine sits top.
Tim Monaco, I believe, is invalidated, so the reigning champion, I think, is going to be right at the back of this field. He's surely going to start last unless F1 Alex and Adam Sanderson fail to get a lap on the board. Here is that twin Mercedes car. That guy Vince jumps up onto the front row, cutting the beam to go 2nd fastest, still under 0.3 of a second off the back. Adam Sanderson to the top of the timing charts by 200ths.
That's unbelievable. Adam Sanderson, when Tim Monaco went falling, Adam Sanderson came a-calling. A 142.149 and cleared by nearly 200 up at the top. But Formula Kai breaks his heart and lands a 142.095 as well. Here comes Olin Ober, 4th fastest. Still more movements for the back. We got Alex Gillen, former champion, goes fastest here at Spa-Francorchamps. We have Meraki, GB68 makes it a P1 for Aston Martin as well. And he's had great success in qualifying in the past. Is that all she wrote? Yes, it is. And it's Nogueira who has stolen it right at the death. It looked like he'd lost it earlier on, but he stuck on the soft tyres and beat GB to the punch. What a session. Nogueira is your fastest man here at Spa, and he is nearly, well, he's 2
2 3/4 tenths clear of GB68 down in second place. Meraki in third. Alex Gillen fourth. Formula Kai in fifth. Adam Sanderson, he'll still be delighted with that session. Rasin Chai in seventh place. We then have Lolin Ober down in eighth. That guy Vince in ninth. And Infratic rounds out the top 10. The green flags will now wave. And here come the lights. Third light, fourth light, and the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Noiguera a little slow off the line. GB68 getting away relatively well, though, and now tries to go wheel to wheel, heading through La Source as well. Infratic with the team radio. I'm so getting damage here. He's got a very likely chance of it happening. It bottles up, heading through turn one, but Noiguera somehow leads the way, coming out of turn one with GB just in behind Meraki. They're hovering all over the back of the Aston Martin as they now cruise up and fly through towards Lacom, and GB takes the lead of the race. Meraki now looking to take it away from him as they go wheel to wheel, heading through now in towards Lacom, but GB holds firm, stands firm, and leads this race as they now run down towards Brussels. Meraki nearly had his number.
Yeah, absolutely tumbling through the field here, Big T-Mac. Maybe he's the first driver that's got a little bit of damage from somewhere. Potentially that little whack between himself and Razin Chai on the opening lap. Is the lead finally going to change hands for Meraki? He's going to swoop to the left-hand side. GB absolutely defenseless as the DRS lap is open. And it is the Season 4 champion, the venue where he won that Season 4 championship. Meraki taking the lead. DRS very, very powerful. Nogueira trying to get a position back up the inside into the bus stop chicane. Very aggressively battling away with GB there. Adam Sanderson potentially sniffing an opportunity as well. We might be 3 wide as the DRS flaps open. It is Nogueira that muscles his way past, sailing the fastest lap in the process. All that has been stolen by a plethora of drivers. Adam Sanderson darting to the inside, looking to push GB further down the order. The Mercedes and the Aston Martin continuing side by side, but Sanderson can't quite get that Mercedes ahead. Seeing a lot of jostling for position. People seemingly having absolutely no cares in the world about the simulation damage. Not worried about it one bit. GB going to try and get second place back. Potentially pick up a couple of places as we go 3 wide down the Kemmel Straight. Meraki's defence is dropping down into third position. And from the back to the front, it is GB now taking the lead of this race from Nogueira, who stays in the middle. And Meraki dropping to third.
He makes, of course, though. He has sacrificed a lot of pace with the fact that the medium tyres are on his car, as we now see a change for the lead. Noiguera pouncing here on the run-up through towards Lacom. GB down in second now with Meraki in third as well. Just watching it all unfold with Alex Gillen just following the train, following the trend.
Not ideal at all, that one. Not ideal at all. Alex Gillen, though, he's on the move up the inside of GB. He's already disposed of Meraki down this straight, going through Blanchimont corner. Now turning to the outside, and the Season 2 champion has picked up a couple of places there. Meraki falling through the field, dropping from second down into fifth position. And it's Alex Gillen that now leads the chase of the soft runners. Is up to second. And he could be taking ninth away from Dak Gavinci, who was slow coming through Pooh. And Adam Sanderson, we were talking about how well it was going, but swooping around the outside goes the Kick Sauber of Formula Kai. He moves up into the top 5 for the first time in this race. Yellow flag is F1 Alex in the Kick Sauber, the twin Kick Sauber. And
car.
For the first time, you are perfectly correct there. Oh, that is a nasty crash as well. The safety car has been deployed. Bits of carbon fibre scattered all over the circuit going through Pooh. And that is our first retiree.
As they now look to get the restarts underway. Lolin Ober coming out of the bus stop now, down through towards the Le Source section, and we will go pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now. And here on lap 10, it's Lolin Ober who takes them round and got a very good restart as well. Noiguera exits out of turn 1. He's bringing along Alex Gillen as well, GB68. Now looking to fly up through Eau Rouge and Radion as they now look to hunt their way up through towards Kemmel Straight. There's Zafso. Is he a sitting duck? Noiguera's climbing, and he's found an avenue. He's found a way through as well. Second place on the table. He'll snatch it away, and maybe even the race lead. He's going to go for the double. Can he tackle Lolin Ober? No! Lolin Ober shuts the door. Great moves there from Noiguera to immediately jump onto the second place spot. And now looking down the inside, heading through towards Brussels. That's a brave move, and has opened the door and has actually sold it to Lolin Ober in the process, who tries to defend as they now exit, coming through Jackie X corner. Lolin Ober hangs on, but barely coming out of the first sector. Certainly a bus stop of sorts in any case. It's their race control reactivates the DRS as they now fly down through towards turn 1 again, this time on lap 11. Once again, you can just see the puffs of smoke coming off the rear tyres of Alex Gillen's car as GB and Zafso still dice it out over that P4 and P5 position. Meraki also dancing through, and Formula Kai might yet get the momentum in the run here on Zafso for him to lose 3 places in the space of 1 sector. Here comes the kick Sauber. Formula Kai sending it up around the outside, coming up the Kemmel Straight, and also Alex Gillen moving past Olinoba, and Noiguera holds that lead as well. Fabulous as well from Noiguera to retake the lead that he once had prior to the pit stop phase, and Gillen follows him through. We are now splitting off into near enough 2 groups, but there are a few cars that are currently a second away from the cars in front of them. That guy Vince in no man's land, and is that a Ferrari? What is going on there? Noiguera seemingly coming to a stop and has actually left himself served up on a plate here for GB as well. Coming through Blanchimont, he lost out to Alex Gillen and Lolinoba. I have no idea what happened there, but now Noiguera, he's lost out to GB. He's lost 3 places in that 1 single sector. Extraordinary. Yeah, truly extraordinary. I did not see that coming. He just seemed to come to a grinding halt, but here comes GB. He's not halting. He might get 2. A double overtake here up the Kemmel Straight to take the lead of the race, and the Aston Martin now takes them through Les Combes. He will reign ahead, reign supreme here on lap 12, with Alex Gillen now sat in second. As now we watch Lolinoba looking to come and join the front 2. Here comes now Alex Gillen once again to take the race lead away from GB68. You can just see in the background as well, Meraki making up a portion of this, as is Formula Career. Big T-Mac has retired, it would seem, and looks like he's going through the menus. No crash, no incident, the yellow flags are out, but that McLaren is alive and well, but Big T-Mac has unfortunately left the session, so that is our 2nd retirement of this Belgian Grand Prix.
Off the back of the group that he was with about 5 or 6 laps ago. Mike Stachios dropped it into turn number 1. There's the safety car, almost like I brought it out myself. For the second time, we are going to see Bert Mylander coming out of the pits. And that's our 2nd debutant that is taking an early shower.
10 as we now watch them make their way through the bus stop chicane, and Alex Gillen on the escape coming out of turn 19 will put pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this race now, and the RB will send it down in towards turn 1 with GB68 just waiting in the wings in second. He'll have his chance, I'm sure, coming up through Eau Rouge and Radion, with Lolinoba down in 3rd as well, with Meraki down in 4th, Racing Chai getting a lovely getaway, as did Adam Sanderson, who, remember, has that 3-second time penalty as they now climb up over the hill out of Eau Rouge and Radion. Through the Kemmel Straight now come GB68, an instant response now as he looks to take the race lead on the run in towards Les Combes, and Aston Martin ascends again and takes the rest of the field through this first sector as they begin sector 2.
One green car moving forward, another one moving backwards. Formula Kai, I have absolutely no idea what happened going through La Source, because he lost about 1.5 seconds to the leading group of 7 in front of him. That has compromised Tim, Malik and Nogueira, who have filed past the Kick Sauber car, but not good news at all. And Tim Malik, once again, is having to fight a lone race, if you will. It's a really weird one. Maybe he's got a little bit of damage, bodywork damage that we aren't particularly aware of. Ricky 03 around the outside. Formula Kai does dive off into the pits. He must have picked up damage there going into La Source corner and created a big bottleneck that has really hampered everybody else in the group behind. Tim Malik has managed to gain, and he's retired Formula Kai there. So he has had enough of that, and after starting from P5, he is the 4th retiree. Tim Malik has closed back up to that group, so maybe he got a little bit of help from his teammate. Not quite sure on that one, but considering he was 1.7 back, he's now only 0.6 away.
As they now fly up through Eau Rouge and Radion. GB still out in front. Back comes Lolinoba, who's going to look to try and take the race lead away this time. The former F2 champion, bidding to become an F1 race winner. And you never know, if it stays like this, he could become one. Lolinoba leads now here at Spa-Francorchamps. As now we see a little late move here from Alex Gillen, obviously very aware that Benjamin Daly is coming to get him, and GB going defensive, retains that 2nd place. Lolinoba takes them round. A little moment though from GB, and that will allow the momentum to carry through for Alex Gillen, who on the run out of bus stop is going to try and make the move happen, coming into La Source at turn 1. The RB trying to hold it around the outside, but the inside will be favourable, or is it? Because GB's lost out, and Alex Gillen ascends into 2nd place, and it could be the race lead coming up to the top of Kemmel.
Lucky boys though, because they did. I don't know if you spotted it. It just banged wheels. coming across the start-finish line. This could be 3 wide. GB goes through the middle of them. Tim and Marta trying to get involved as well. He's almost pushing Alex Gillen down to the braking zone. And it is GB in the Aston Martin, the green machine, forcing his way through to take the lead. Tim and Marta versus Alex Gillen. Be careful, everybody. Dipping a wheel into the gravel is the Silver Arrow. Loninoba dumped down into 4th place as those soft tyres start to struggle. It is GB from Alex Gillen, Tim and Marta. They almost ran into each other. They almost came to blows. Still got 10 laps to go, folks.
A trip up through Eau Rouge and Radion lies in wait, and Tim Etmark is outside of a second. He will not have DRS. Rasin Chai will have DRS, however, and with that straight line speed on offer, the slipstream in his back pocket, and the DRS as well, he'll move up into 3rd, and Tim Etmark, dare I say, could lose out to Meraki as well, as they now come up through towards Lake Army. Does not lose out. Tim Etmark holds on to 4th, and I can confirm that we have got rain here at Spa. But you never know how the dice is going to fall. He's quite a ways behind. Adam Sanderson retired, and it's a safety car out on track as well. A safety car just as Alex Gillen was bringing the rest of the front runners through towards the pits, and Alex Gillen is coming into box. GB looking to be a winner around here for the first time and also make it 3 wins in the Creator Series in what would be an incredible season for him. His last win coming back at the Temple of Speed at Monza, but we're going to put pedal to the metal anyway for the 4th time in this race now, and Alex Gillen sending it around turn 1 once again. GB following him through a very orderly restart, at least for the time being. Intermediate tyres on the cars this time around as we fly up through Eau Rouge and Radion. Gillen leads the way for the back, GB as well, just inside 0.3 of a second, and getting a lovely run as well uphill as they look to now coast up through towards Lake Com. Here comes GB now, an instant reply as they go wheel to wheel. GB leads the way here on the penultimate lap of the race, and now Alex Gillen forced to remain in behind. He's going to try again as they make a little bit of contact coming through Malmedy and down towards Bruxelles. GB goes defensive, Gillen around the outside. Sensational stuff, wheel to wheel, they're going to stay, but GB with the Tiger line forces Gillen back. The Aston Martin remains in front. Eau Rouge and Radion. GB, is he a sitting duck? That's the big question. Alex Gillen is going to try and hunt him down. Enter as well Rasin Chai, who could yet make it a 3-wide situation. Here comes Chai. Yes, he's going to move past Gillen. Is he going to try GB? No. Gillen fighting back, goes off track ever so slightly, but Rasin Chai curtails the attack and holds on to 2nd. That season as we now watch them head through, and he could yet be a winner again this time as well. But first and foremost, needs to dispose of GB68, and we could yet see a sprint for the race win heading through Blanchimont section as they come out of Corbeil-Port Frere. It is GB who leads the way. Alex Gillen now dumping all of the battery for this final sector here around Spa this time around. A 3-car scrap now in offer as Chino looks to the outside, GB to the inside, defending the place as they now look to go wheel to wheel. GB covers it off, goes late into the apex as they now exit out of the final corner. It's GB68, surely he takes his 3rd win in the Creator Series, his first around Spa. Rasin Chai is taken 2nd, Alex Gillen in 3rd, and Tim Etmark has grinded it out for 4th place here in this Spa-Francorchamps race. Absolutely spot on. We're coming into the final minute now, and every car, every man and his dog heading out onto the track here at this point. There's only one car that currently sits in the pits, and that's Zafso at this stage. Matati, who now re-enters the Creator Series fold, replacing Mr. Dale in the Red Bull. Currently sat 15th on this timing screen, has come into this. This is his 3rd appearance in the EA Sports F1 Creator Series, has made 2 prior appearances that we have seen. No podiums, no victories just yet, but that can all change here at Miami. Zafso has retired in 9th spot. Here comes, though, Matati in the Red Bull, round the final corner. Let's see where he goes. 7th fastest, improves well into the top 10. In comes Ultra Killer as well, looking to try and bounce up from 18th. He does bring the time gap down, but not enough to move up from 18th place 1 iota. We do have some personal improvements across this circuit though, so do expect some major changes. Meraki coming across the line to begin his next flying run. He is currently 2nd in our classification, mere 1,000th behind. Formula Kai as now this 5-second timer now turns to 0. Stoppage time, Dan.
Absolutely, and here we can see then Formula Karim, or we could see Karim briefly there. We now look to Formula Kai instead. Kai, of course, trying to defend that pole position right now. He's got a 25.3 on the board at the moment. It is a fastest in the first sector for them so far, but not a personal best even in the middle sector. So a slightly compromised lap so far. Whether they improve that time or not, we will wait and see in just 2 corners time. Round that final turn comes Formula Kai now up to the line, and if it was an improvement, it's only by thousandths of a second. Here up to the line now comes Formula Karim. The whole lap long he's been behind his teammate, and it must have worked to some degree because he's gone to 3rd place. Very, very good job there from them to be able to jump all the way back up the order like that from the very bottom. Then we've got Nogueira on our screens right now coming through that final turn as well. They're also on a very good lap. Very fantastic middle sector even. Fastest of anybody, but not the fastest lap time overall. Razin Chai's jumped up to 2nd place in all of that confusion too. But now we take a look at Jake in the Red Bull. Meraki comes round that final turn now. Final couple of corners to go, and they have 2 personal bests. Could this final sector, where they were strong last time, be where they end up hauling all together? Yes, it is! 1 minute 25.346 gives Meraki the provisional pole position with just 1 car out on circuit now on a timed lap. That is that guy, Vince. Vince now comes round the final turn. It's 2 personal bests, but they're nowhere near as quick as what we've seen for Jake, and in the end, it's just behind their teammate. GB 6th, Vince 7th, and a good result for Aston Martin, but it is Jake in the Red Bull who claims pole position.
That is astonishing. A hard lap right in the face of the Hard Rock Stadium makes it 11 pole positions in the Creator Series for Meraki. Clear of Formula Kai here at this stage, but we do have a twist to bring you folks right here at the end of this session, because we have not yet uttered the wildcard ahead of racing here tonight. Now, how about this? Reactions ready in the chat. Tonight's wild is that both races are in reverse grid order. So if you're in pole position now, you won't be in the race. In what could be a very busy race start here in a reverse grid situation. All 5 lights now go out, and it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. And as they move their way down towards turn 1, Infratic going very risque into turn 1, tries to challenge Ultra Killer, coming out of turn 1 in towards turn 2, and Fabio takes the lead straight away, has nicked it away from the Williams. Ferrari and Williams meets again in a virtual safety car right at the very start as we see cars barrel into the barrier. It looks like Scott Taylor's had an issue. The reserving Matati has also received one as well, and a 10-second time penalty for Razin Chai after a serious collision with that guy, Vince.
M. Tati as well was also in the similar sort of area. We're now back to green flag racing. You can see that Fabio has been caught napping a little bit. He did have the gap as much as a second during that virtual safety car period. It's down to 0.6 of a second, or it was before then the 2 cars behind him started to squabble. Nick Fly's getting the move done on Ultra Killer, and so too is Lolinova. Moves their way up into 3rd place in the Haas. But now look at Adam Sanderson making it 3 wide down into the final proper corner on this circuit. Are there going to be any issues? Is there going to be any contact between these drivers? No, they keep it all clean. Lolinova keeps 3rd place, but Sanderson makes his way up into 4th.
It definitely is. Nick Flies, though, despite not being able to find that opportunity for a manoeuvre, in fact, it's doing a superb job in what could be his first ever victory in the Creator Series. Should he take this from lights to flag? Whoa. Oh, big moment, and the commentator's curse certainly is real, and Nick Flies has jumped on the opportunity, finally found that avenue for an open door, and Lolinova is also keen to walk right through it. The Haas down the inside, and he's going to carry in Adam Sanderson as well in what could be an absolutely sensational move, one that Devon Butler would give him a hearty wink for, but can't grab it. Lolinova with the lead, and we're going almost 3 wide through this latter sector now, coming in towards sector 3 soon enough on the run through sector 2 down the long straight out of turn 16. Lolinova takes the lead, and Fabio, with a dose of reality, now faces P4.
Yes, he is, and I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised that he's not a bit more pressuring on his teammate who now moves to the outside, but I don't think that's going to result in a move. It does result in a move, just not for who we were thinking. Adam Sanderson down into 3rd place, potentially could be 4th place in a moment or two's time as Nick Flies has a look up the inside, but it doesn't quite work out for them that time. The 2 McLarens tucked in behind the 2 Mercedes, who are then behind a Haas. That's not a sentence that we're going to say in real world Formula 1 this season, but it is one that we can say here in the Creator Series.
I'm hearing as well, apparently we've got rain coming in now, so a big twist in the tail. 2 minutes now
into light rain, and we could yet see that grow as well. Team at Marduk, though, hovering all over the back of Lolinoba, looks to the outside in the Mercedes, and the droplets are indeed falling from the sky. But it's coats of glory for Team at Marduk, as for the first time here in this race, he takes the lead. It's a Mercedes 1 and 3 with Adam Sanderson with another blistering performance.
And as it comes round the last couple of corners, then into the pits goes Benjamin Daly, and so too goes Formula Karim, I think that is, of the two. No, it's Nick Fly. Yes, no, it is Formula Karim. So the pair of them both into the pits then. Then you've got plenty other cars also coming in during this stage too. Intermediate tyres going on, and you can see there you've got Mercedes, you've got all sorts of cars now. Radio from Ben, it feels horrendous. But less about his mental state, more about what he's doing behind the driving wheel. And so as he goes down to the exit of the pit lane, then he gets that Mercedes back out onto circuit. He's now got one of his closest championship rivals. Oh, safety car indeed. And oh dear, that has hurt everybody who has gone for the pits.
And eventually around turn 18 and 19 to get us back underway ahead of lap 13. Will it be an unlucky number for some? We have now had the pit stop phase complete. These tyres should take us to the bitter end, and Lolinoba, as he begins to fire up the Haas, now puts pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now. Adam Sanderson following him down in turn 1. Nick Flies in third as well. Tom getting a decent restart, just showing up in behind the McLaren, as now we have Tim at Marduk also following the Alpine through.
Which will improve as time goes on, but oh dear, it's not what Adam would have been wanting at all to now find himself 1.3 seconds off of the leader, and of course the two cars in behind him very close indeed, but so close that Tom is now moving his Alpine to the inside, and Adam they're just moving slightly across. That's going to give ever so slight amount of slipstream back to Tom, and then he's late on the brakes there. He's up the inside, and on his return to the Creator Series, Tom moves himself up into third place at the first of 2 rounds here at Miami.
As now Tom hunts down after that third place, trying to hold back Nick Flies, and Tim Marduk also coming in as well, and looking to try and take a place of his own. We saw a bit of front wing also fly off one of the cars as we now see them battle wheel to wheel. Tom now fighting over second. They'll stay wheel to wheel, coming through in towards the latter stage of sector 2, and Tom forcing the Alpine through into the chicane. A fabulous move, and I would argue one of the moves of the season. Tom on his return, showing that he still packs a punch despite now racing in a new rig. Adam Sanderson also showing his spirited pace. Tim Marduk fighting back over second place and now takes it here this time at Miami. He masterstrokes his way through in the Mercedes, and now with Tom lying behind in third place, Formula Karim now shows in front of Adam Sanderson. The top contenders in the championship are coming home to roost, and Tom, being one of those former top contenders, rejoining that very same party. But I must say, Lolinoba is looking really good for his first Creator Series victory. 10, where he would rack together some serious points. Formula Karim, speaking of serious points, hunting down after second place against fellow title contender Tim Marduk, and now Karim holds those P2 cards. Adam Sanderson losing another place to Meraki this time, who is fighting his way through the field.
The question now, though, is how we're going to end up seeing Lolinoba reacting now that they've got the slick tyres on. They were losing huge amounts of time. They've lost a whole second out of the pits to Formula Karim. There must have been some sort of moment that was had there by Lolinoba, because the back end of the car maybe just getting stepped out on them as they try and stamp on the loud pedal, something like that, because Karim is now all of a sudden right there. And, you know, we watched earlier on, just before they came into the pits, out the exit of turn number 16, down onto the back straight. That was where you could really see the confidence of the two drivers behind Lolly. Lolly was really far away from the wall on the exit. Karim and Ben all the way up to it. As they come down now into turn number 11, it could be confidence on the brakes. Not even needed. He manages to pass him before the braking zone. Formula Karim takes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix Part 1 before we reset everything for our second race later on. And Lolinoba is going to want to overtake. There's going to be the temptation there. You can see in the bottom right as well, we've got the overtake happening now between Ben and then Meraki too. And you can see there, Karim's got his racing brain on because he's trying to be the car that doesn't go in first. The pair of them going so slowly. And now Lolinoba sees the opportunity, dives for it. He's taken the bait here, and I think that bait was absolutely... Oh, and look at them, they're going so slow. They're playing DRS chicken with each other. This is so incredibly Fascinating to see this all playing out in front of us here. There's now a half-second gap between the pair of them as they run now down towards that very final corner. Whoever controls the inside line, I suspect, is going to end up having this one at the end. And now, one the other, a movement in reaction. If that was real world racing, that would be a legal blocking on the part of Lauren over there. Karim makes the move work, though, up the inside. They're side by side through the last couple of corners. Any contact? Are they going to win? It's Lolinova! Lolinova takes the victory right on the line with an incredible bit of driving between the two of them there. They will no way be happy with that, but somehow both cars managed to cross the line. And Tiamat Marduk in third place. He was so close to getting more, but not to be this time. And goodness gracious me, Lolinova, what a way to win your first Creator Series race.
And for the second time, it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Blackmere gets a good start, so does Ultra Killer, but not quite as good as Nick flies in behind. Also getting a good run is Scott Taylor, the momentum favouring him. Coming out of turn 2, and just look at this, Ultra Killer getting onto the curb, and he's had a swapper of sorts, and it's opened the door for Nick Flies to fly up his inside as they now round turn 3 and turn 4. In comes Fabio, in Fratic, a Phoenix drive after starting and having his own issues in race 1. Well, he's fought back to P3 now, and Ultra Killer forfeiting more places. Sapso's gone through, Matati's gone through, and onwards comes GB68 as well in the Aston Martin after his technical glitches at the start of the last race. Well, he's returned this time and now looks set to continue on upwards as he now chases down a podium place. Blackmere leads, back comes Scott Taylor at the inside of Nick Flies now as they battle over P3.
Also keep an eye, of course, on our two-time winner this season, GB68. 3 wins, of course, over the course of his Creator Series career, if my memory is correct. And so as we see Anfratic moving up into first place, he'll soon be joined by GB68. GB is now moving to the inside of Anfratic. Fabio now goes from attacker to defender, and he loses the place. He's gone down into second place once more. GB68 already leading this Grand Prix. Fantastic bit of driving from them in the opening few laps to find themselves now in a leading position here. Does. That was crucial for Fabio's race. And for Scott Taylor, they are being a bit aggressive with it. And Blackmere has left the session as well, so I don't know what's gone on there. It looked as though Scott was really shoving Blackmere off to one side. Maybe on Scott's screen, Blackmere had already disappeared, and this is just the nature of the netcode and how it changes and when we see drivers leaving versus when they do and things like that.
At the very start of race 1, Ricky 03 now dancing into 4th as well, ahead of Nick Flies. There's now a virtual safety car comes out, and is that a fault? No, still virtual safety car here at this point. So now the cars have got to come down to Delta. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it looks like Blackmere has had some serious problems out there.
As they go down the start-finish straight, then you can see some drivers then of the field taking advantage of the early opportunity to get a tyre change done. And Ben has retired from the session.
Me. That's extraordinary. Tiamat Marduk out of the race.
What happened there?
That is a full safety car, everyone. That has been converted from a VSC to a full safety car. Now, that happened under the VSC, so I'm not ultimately sure what has happened. Adam Sanderson is still out on track, but ultimately now, Tiamat Marduk out of the race, and therefore now we are in a full safety car situation. So all the hopes and dreams that Benjamin Daly had in our interview not too long ago, we are getting confirmation that apparently in the chat Ben had a glitch, and I must say there was a moment that we had heading down the back straight in towards turn 17 where it looked like as well Blackmere had a glitch of his own. So I'm not quite sure what happened. Seemingly some issues undertaken that led to the VSC, which has ultimately ended us here at this point.
It's also Sasso taking advantage of getting the pit stop done, but it's a double stack. Oh, well then. So that should be a red flag, you would imagine.
Now as we watch the lights light up here, 5 lights lit. And they go out, and it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. And indeed, GB a little slow away, but so is Infratic. So that's allowed Scott Taylor to come in. Oh, and that's a big bit of contact. And no question, surely wing damage to what looked to be the RB. I think that was Sapso who got caught right at the very start. Now, I'm not sure whether he's paid the price. I can't see anything
majorly wrong with the front end of that car, and he is challenging Blackmere at the very get-go, but a huge moment at the start of the race, and Zafso going very determined in towards this next left-hander and has taken Blackmere for third place here in the classification, but it's allowed GB and Fabio to continue very much up the road, but they still have DRS. Zafso within a second. Nick Flies down in fourth. Blackmere now in fifth. Scott Taylor has dropped all the way down to P7, with Benjamin Daly getting an almighty run up into sixth place. He is up 2 to 3 places. As they now begin to troop down through towards turn 17, they're now fanning out into a line. We're now seeing GB forfeit that lead advantage, and Infratic takes it. And just look at this mess we have further back as well, because Tibet Marduk has just moved into third, and as a consequence, Racing Chai coming together with Nick and Formula Karim. Double papaya in this top 6 scrap, with Zafso losing out. Megali drops down to 7th. Back comes Flies now, as Formula Karim dances into 5th. As they move through turn 1 now to begin lap 6.
He does. He's going to lose a place to Lolinoba here as well, I think, even though he will have the slipstream, he'll have DRS, but I think that it will be another position lost for him. Or I tell you what, actually, maybe not. Maybe not for Ben this time. It certainly looked as though that might be the case, but yeah, it must be boxing time now for Ben Daly. Safso's already done it. He's already lit up the timing screens with a good middle sector after pitting there, and yeah, into the pits comes Ben then. I think that actually the undercut will work in Safso's favour here. I think he's going to come out, or Ben rather, will come out behind Safso.
Well, in the process of all this, Racing Chai has taken the lead of the race and is ahead of GB by around half a second now. So we have seen a few changes up at the very top. Now, I want to say as well, Alex Gillen, what a phenomenal in-lap, can I just say as well. He's only a second behind his own teammate Zafso, so it's an extraordinary first stint for Alex Gillen, who's managed to make the soft tyres work in, well, far better than even Benjamin Daly has, who currently sits higher. And Killer's out! Oh, goodness me. Now, is that going to be a safety car, or is that done in the pits? It was done in the pits, so it's not going to be a concern at this stage. Ultra Killer, though, out of the race. It's a concern for him. He will no longer continue. And Alex Gillen is not too far behind him. Down and a tap in the rear! Oh, my goodness! Formula Karim and a tap in the rear from Formula Kai. Now that is not going to be unduly well taken with gratitude from Formula Karim. Ultra Killer, of course, leaving the session after the retirement, but a major moment between Karim and Kai as they came together through turn 11 to a sensational race victory. I think he's in a great position here at this point. A real big move here from Racing Chai. Now contact! Oh, goodness me, Formula Karim's round, and also they caught GB in the process. And inadvertently, it's allowed Noiguera to take the lead of the race. Now, this has slowed the entire pack down. So that gap we saw originally from Alex Gillen, prepared to watch that slip away again. And just look at that. Another 2 seconds, nearly 3, found by Alex Gillen after that major moment coming into Sector 3.
Yeah, I would need to see that again before I pass any judgment there. That's either a bit of an ambitious overtake attempt there from the car behind Karim, that was Razin, I believe it was, or Karim's just turned across Razin, one of the two, but from sort of memory there, I can't really recall as to how that went. Now they all start to dive towards the pits, with the exception of Karim, who stays out, but you've got Kai, you've got Nogueira, you've got Jake, Razin, others who are all electing to go into the pits now at this stage, so expect to see Gillen rise up the order there. He's up to 4th place now. He's just tucked in behind Fabio, so he should get that overtake made this lap, but then Ricky 03, Formula Karim, they'll stay out for the time being. I think they're just hoping for a safety car at this point.
Yeah, now Alex Gillen has a look up the inside, doesn't choose to make the move, but he knows because Karim needs to box, but on another level, he does need to get the move done because Karim is holding him up here at this stage. Now, Formula Karim is at this point not going to receive a safety car. We're at this point in the race where a safety car is certainly not going to be available to him, so he has no choice but to box, otherwise he'll lose far more than, you know, a race victory. He's essentially going to drop out and get disqualified from this race for not stopping at all. So Gillen knows that he has got this lead of the race sewn up for sure come the end of the race regardless, as he now sweeps down the inside. Alex Gillen once again magnificent at Miami. It's all about the opening stint, as now he sweeps away on stint 2 on his medium tyres.
or 2 minutes or 4 minutes away. I can read numbers occasionally.
Karim gamble.
4 minutes away. Karim is gambling, and now this is either going to be a gamble on the intermediate tyre, or it's going to be just serving his pit stop to get the mandatory tyre change done. That is an intermediate tyre. So
looks green.
Karim is going to hope that in a lap and a half, essentially, the rain comes down so significantly that he can get himself a good result here, but I don't think it will. I think that whilst it can come down very quickly here in Miami, I don't think it's going to. I think we've just not got enough lap time left to do this, so it's likely going to be a 13th place for him.
I think so, but we've still got a squabble further back, all on the soft tyres as well. Noiguera might be in second for now, but he's got a queue in behind, and Kai fighting with GB as the two green cars make contact. Coming in towards the turn 15 section, in towards turn 16. Luckily enough, no retirements for them, but still a major moment once again as Kai, Rasin Chai, Meraki, Lolinova all make up this fight. Chai now on the hunt as he looks to bring down Kai, and in the process maybe even take down as well GB's Aston Martin as they come out of turn 17 again. Kai and GB once again go at it. The rear stepping out again for the Kicksauber as we now venture onto the final lap of this race, and Lolinova! Oh, Rasin Chai! Goodness me, just got it all wrong, and the slippery surface now showing its true colours with those reasonably worn soft tyres that certainly don't like the circuit here at Miami.
They're going to lose out to the likes of Karim and others who've gambled on an intermediate tyre, but it does mean that it's going to be a much more precarious journey back to the checkered flag. And as we can see there, Alex Gillen in the bottom right of your picture. Now, I'm not going to repeat what the director has said, but we do have eyes on him for the rest of this lap, whilst we have our main focus on this battle here. Kai trying to hang it all the way around the outside of GB there, getting a couple of tyres off the circuit to be able to get the move done. Perfectly allowed, of course. And so as they go through, Kai has the lead of these cars for the time being, but he's not going to have DRS on the back straight if DRS is still enabled at that point. It might be disabled before then, and that could be the one saving grace for them, but as they start to come down the back straight now, it is still available to them, and there's a big slide in the background there for Lolinova's Haas as they come down the back straight here. It will be DRS open now, as you can see, for all these drivers. It's going to get closer and closer between GB and Formula Kai. I think Kai has enough of a lead, and it's in fact GB and Meraki fighting behind. Where has Meraki come from in all of this? But around the final turn now, put your hands together for an astounding drive. Alex Gillen takes the race win here in Miami from effectively the back of the grid, and across the line for second place comes Shaken to the line. GB just holds on ahead of Formula Kai. Nogueira comes home in 5th place. Ben will come home in 6th, and then Formula Karim recovers all the way to 8th position. That rain came one lap too late for them.
With Lolino before going into Club Corner and onto the Hamilton Straight, recently renamed after Lewis Hamilton when he became Sir Lewis Hamilton. As Lolinova comes up to the line and will go second fastest with I don't see what it was, about 10 slower than in Fratic. Here comes Formula Kai up to the line now. We called him a qualifying merchant. Is he again? Well, you know what? 25.8. He sets himself 5 tenths faster than in Fratic and puts himself on provisional pole.
The qualifying merchant striking again. Less than half of the session remaining. The big guns are out there, and that's Formula Cream, one of them, as is GB in that green machine of the Aston Martin coming through. Maggots, Beckett and Chappell. Potentially the most famous sequence of corners on the F1 calendar. Nick flies in the Papaya McLaren, jumps up into 6th position, just 0.06 of a second slower than Ricky 03 in the Williams, who is a little bit slower than I imagine he would have been wanted. Coming up to the Vale chicane, a little bit of traffic potentially for GB, a little bit wobbly over the apex curb as well. If he can rotate it nicely, could be on for trying to challenge Formula Kai right at the sharp end. Round the final corner we go. 4.5 tenths shy, and actually it tells you how poor a lap it was, because Infratic has gone 2 tenths clear of GB. Yeah, some say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and he's certainly putting in some decent sector times at the moment. Needs to find a little bit more in the final sector if he is to eclipse the time currently held by Formula Kai. As the clock ticks down, Kai and GB are done. Kai, I don't actually think, made it to the line in time to start his final flying lap of the session. What a blunder that could be. Tom 97 through the Vale chicane and around Club Corner. Can he steal a march right at the end of the session? Yes, he can, and by 1/10 of a second. Tom 97 on his return is at the front of the field.
He certainly is. Wanted to make a statement. He's come back and he's put it on pole position at the moment. It's only provisional. Formula Karim is going to get a nice slipstream, I believe, from his teammate down the hangar straight. If his teammate moves out of the way, this could be a blinder of strategy. He's 2.7 tenths up on his lap. His teammate, is he going to move out the way? He is going to move out the way. He sacrificed his own lap to allow possibly Formula Karim onto pole position. One set of corners left to navigate into Vale and then into Club. Can Formula Karim put himself from 8th onto pole position? He comes up to the line now, and he does. He takes it by 0.3 of a second. What a lap from the McLaren driver. Mr. Dale has backed out of his lap. He's not improving. Infratic stays 7th. Razin only 6th. Can Lonnie Noba or Meraki improve from 5th? Nogueira goes 8th. Razin drops down. Alex Gillen only 3rd. 0.3 off Formula Karim's lap. Here comes Lonnie Noba. Can they do anything to improve from their 13th? They can only go 12th. And Mr. Dale pits Safso to the line. Where can they put their car? They can only put it 14th, which means Formula Karim is on pole position for the British Grand Prix. And here is your formation lap, ladies and gentlemen. And they are off the grid. That is a tactic I did not expect to see as they crash here. There's some brake marker boards already being taken out here as Formula Karim is spun round. They are looking for the brake marker boards. And this is where the chaos ensues as Alex Gillen has gone flying across the circuit. We have not seen the likes here in Creator Series as they are being chased down. We've only got a couple of people DSQ'd. There's another brake marker. They've ghosted through, but they've hit it a couple of times. They're flying in front here as Ben's taking out.
I think Ben has just been taken.
Gone.
Yes. Ben falls into the shadow realm courtesy of his old sparring partner Alex Gillen. He was absolutely cleaning them up down the Wellington straight there, so he'll be disappointed. It was actually Lolinoba that was the first to fall. How many have we got remaining? I think we've got about 7 remaining. Alex Gillen doing fairly nicely, as is Nogueira off-roading there. But he's clattered by Dak Gavitz behind with the absolute decking going into Cop's corner, and both of them are taken out of this. Safso towards the back of the pack. He is last at the moment. Got to kick out in front. Alex Gillen still lawn-mowing, absolutely shredding all of these polystyrene barriers. I'm not sure if those ones count, it has to be said, but answers on a postcard. I've been informed they do count. And where are we now? That was very, very close. Alex Gillen again taking it out. He's got a Williams with him. That must be Hayden Gullis. Of course it's Hayden Gullis causing carnage, as usual.
And can Gullis take him out because he's going to gain so many points? Oh, there he goes. He's done an Alex Albon. I've seen that one before.
See you later, Hayden. He was taking a very interesting line there down into Stowe Corner. We've got to remember as well, the tyres are going to be in absolute state at the end of the formation lap. I don't know if drivers have thought about that at all. Alex Gillen could be on about 50% tyre. He's now going to get attacked by Hayden Gullis, but his brain is switched on. His brain is switched on. Alex Gillen pausing in the Williams, ghosting through him. These are going to be the penultimate 2 to return to the grid. We've got F1 Alex and then Safso, obviously the coolest man in the Creator Series, returning to the grid. And all the calm before the storm has happened, everybody. We are returning, and we can all get our sensible hats back on, because this is the F1 Creator Series at Silverstone. No brake marker boards, no racing line for the drivers. We are getting ready for round 7 of the season. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. And we are racing in Silverstone. Formula Cream on the left. Tom 97 on the right. Excellent start for the Alpine. Formula Cream bogging down slightly. Alex Gillen trying to make the most of that as well. It is Tom 97 that leads the way. We've got an Aston Martin going a little bit wayward coming through the first couple of corners. Must have been GB68. Couple of lockups. Absolutely everybody missing the brake marker boards and missing the apex of turn number 3. Formula Cream still grappling to hold on to places. Formula Kai has come out of absolutely nowhere, and Alex Gillen was looking favourite to potentially lead this race. Now down in 4th. Could potentially still be leading that race, although that looked like a track limits warning as Dak Gavitz is losing places. He's off at turn number 1. I think the Aston Martin tumbling through the field. We've got a safety car. Dak Gavitz has got -4 wheels on his wagon, and that is the first retirement. Must have been a bit of contact there between somebody. I saw him just plummeting through the field and off into the pickets on the left-hand side, and we are down to 19 already.
Tom 97 lining it up, and he's going to release it now as he gets back underway. Caught Formula Kai a little bit, and it's going to allow Formula Karim to close in a little bit more here. We restart on lap 6 as we've got a battle in the background. Looks like Lolly Noba's trying to go on GB into the first corner. They didn't make it stick, but will they make it stick into turn 3? They're going to dive it down the inside, late on the brakes, and they are going to go wheel to wheel. No wheel banging between the two drivers. They go wheel to wheel through the loop and onto Aintree. They're still battling wheel to wheel, but Lolly Noba can't make it stick. And going down the Wellington straight, can they get them into Brooklands? They're a bit too far back. No DRS, of course, until the end of lap 6. Are we going to see GB go for another move into that first corner? Hopefully, for the car in front's sake, not. But Formula Karim just a bit deep into the first corner, and that has cost him big. And that is maybe the first sign of him making a mistake with no racing line on, because he's looked so composed so far. But too late on the brakes has cost him a little bit, and has allowed Alex Gillen to swoop on past. Maybe sticking behind Alex Gillen isn't the worst idea in the world, as here comes GB. Will he go for it down the inside of Meraki? Meraki brakes very late into the corner. It's maybe trying to take the defensive line, but GB wasn't alongside him. Is he going to run GB out of road? He does, but GB is nowhere to be seen. He sticks behind him for another lap, or does he? Surely not, GB. We've seen this before. Don't go wheel to wheel into cops. No, he holds it together. Doesn't want to make a Hamilton Verstappen moment here.
I'll tell you somebody that does have damage. I just spotted it coming out of left field corner. It's Tyre McMurdoch, who I think is missing his left-hand end plate. That explains why he's just dropped behind Meraki. Out of the race goes Scott Taylor, and for the second time in the first 9 laps, we have the safety car deployed. He has dropped it coming through left field corner, and Scott Taylor turns us into 18 out of 20 remaining in this race. Very, very late. Or is he going to do the exact opposite of what I said? He is going to do the exact opposite of what I just said. Going early, trying to steal a march on a couple of people in the pack, and it has worked. An absolute treat. Tom 97 caught lacking a little bit, and we are going to start lap number 14 with Safso leading the way from Adam Sanderson and Nick Fleiss. Tom 97, F1 Alex, straight away picking up a 3-second penalty, not boding well for the rest of his race. He's the only driver that currently has a penalty looming over their heads, although there are quite a few drivers currently sat on 2 warnings. Very, very perilous indeed. F1 out slightly wide going into Village Corner, and wide again going into the loop, and Tom 97 is going to say thank you very much, snaffles that place easy as you like, and already up into 4th, and now I think he's going to let his teammate go through very, very easily indeed, and Formula Kai follows the Alpine through.
Will Adam Sanderson defend this? I do hope he does. Just for the content. Is he going to pull to the left-hand side? No, he won't. But will Tom 97 dive him? He's gone from a long way back. And Adam may not be absolutely happy with that. If that was Devon Butler, he would have done the same thing. But that's not. That's Adam Sanderson, and he's very upset with that. Of course, we are only on lap 20, or going on to lap 20, in this 52-lap Grand Prix. We still have probably another pit stop phase to go. Still, no rain expected. F1 Alex has retired. Safety car, and someone's died immediately in, and it's worked out brilliantly for the RB of Safso, who has made that work fantastically, and that is, I believe, the Mercedes of Ben, or Tyre McMurdoch. He certainly has, and now, of course, some of the drivers on new tyres, some of them on old tyres. Obviously, a few of the guys that pit towards the back of the grid are on those new tyres, but this is where we are looking the sharp end of the grid, and Tom 97 has chosen a different place to go than he did on his last restart, as he will now lead us onto lap 22 of 52. We still have 30 laps to go. That's maths in my head quickly. As Formula Kai chases down Tom 97 with about a 6/10 gap, as Formula Karim is just behind as well, Meraki and GB in the top 5. Lottie Noba just behind GB as well, so don't count him out for any sort of podium finish yet. We are still a long way from the end of this. The fat lady, she's not even warming up yet to start singing. Before we get to picking driver of the day, is it 3 wide into Stowe? You know it is. We've got a yellow flag for Mr. Dale, but they go wheel to wheel. It's emphatic on the outside. Safety car here. It's number 4. It's Mr. Dale, who I believe has caused a safety car there. A little bit of a spin.
We're going to get the roll call going, though, now.
In.
Into the pits we come with the leading trio. Who's going to follow them in behind? Alex Gillen maybe trying to play a little bit of chicken. Tyre McMurdoch does stay out. Tom 97's been disqualified, though. Ignoring yellow flags, and that is the race leader, the favourite, being disqualified. Alex Gillen's got another 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't know what we do from here. I have absolutely no idea what's gone on. Tyre McMurdoch has stayed out. Safso's left the session, so disaster if you're driving an RB car. That is the 3rd time that Alex Gillen has picked up a penalty going down pit road. The reigning champion now leads the way. Tom 97 has retired, trying to surprise somebody in the pack, trying to split it up a little bit. I don't think Safso is back in the session, and this is a very, very slow pace. Tyre McMurdoch backing the pack up. We used to call this an El Rey restart, but he's gone now as we come up towards Club Corner. Bit of a tail snap there at the exit, and we are underway to start lap number 31 of the British Grand Prix. We could be 3 wide down into turn number 1. Adam Sanderson on brand new soft compound tyres up the inside. Safso's getting bundled out. I think he's the AI cut. Sanderson runs off the circuit. Nick Fleiss getting caught up as well. Safso back in the circuit, or back in the session. possession, sorry. Timo Mark scampered off into the distance. It's a Mercedes 1-2 out in front. Formula Kai picking up places, battling away with the lead McLaren of Nick Flies, but Formula Cream around the outside of Mr. Dale to pick up 6th position. What is going on in the midfield? Safso still dropping places. Riccio 3 right at the back of the pack with 3 wide. Formula Kareem around the outside. Dale up the inside. Nick Flies losing places, hand over fist. But Kareem, contact between himself and Dale. And now Dale making contact with the Ferrari of Infratic on the inside.
What is going on at this restart? It's 4 wide in the midfield. It's a Mercedes 1-2. And Adam Sanderson, with a brilliant start, got himself up into second. He overtook 2 cars into the first corner. We got more wheel banging up here. Nick is struggling, hand over fist, but he's forcing everyone to go back. Dale's retired from the session. Is that going to be a safety car? It's another safety car in this race.
Adam Sanderson backing up, coming towards the Vale chicane. I don't think he's gone quite yet, but keeping not exactly a sedate pace, but a medium speed, it has to be said. But now he's gone, catching Hayden Gullis unawares a little bit. Formula Kai was the big loser. Formula Cream trying to steal a mark on Infratic as we go through Club Corner. And we start that 34, with Adam Sanderson on the soft tyres, leading in the F1 Creator Series from Hayden Gullis, Formula Kai, Infratic and Formula Cream. Meraki, GB, Razinchai, Lolanoba and Nogueira completing our top 10. Penalty straight away for Riccio 3. Down in 11th position, Tim McMurdoch will be desperate to try and get past that Williams car ASAP. And Adam Sanderson has done extremely well at his restart, trying to break the DRS to Hayden Gullis behind, and he has already done it. Formula Kai has closed all the way up to the back of Adam Sanderson and very shortly should be taking the lead of the race in the Kick Sauber. There is Formula Kai around the outside. Adam Sanderson absolutely defenceless, and it is now Kick Sauber, who are dead last in the Constructors' Championship by an absolute mile, now leading with 17 laps to go here at Silverstone. Formula Cream holds third, although he's got GB68 and Infratic to deal with. Tim McMurdoch sat just underneath the rear wing of Meraki and Lolanoba. Scratch that, because Tim McMurdoch's got ahead of Meraki as a Safso. Tim McMurdoch is up into 6th position, battling through the Vale chicane and Club Corner. He does not go around the outside. He tried but couldn't make it work. Couple of cars into the pits. Tim McMurdoch is up into 5th position, and he's got the fastest lap to boot as well. Ben's managed to get ahead of Infratic. Razin is in the pits. Nogueira is retiring. No, it's not Razin. Nogueira retiring in the pits. Safso in the box as well.
This is absolutely carnage, but have you seen the gap that's increasing? Adam, I think, and Kai are working together. Well, they were, because Adam's now 7 tenths back, but he's now within 5 tenths still. There's still a gap forming there. Is Adam going to clear his 3-second penalty on GB and possibly get his first Creator Series podium?
Behind the ailing lead Mercedes of Adam Sanderson could lose a whole host of places here, as Tim McMurdoch is going to be the first to try and file past the second Mercedes car. Through goes Tim McMurdoch around the outside of Stoke Corner. Adam going to try and hold it on the inside. Formula Cream fancies his chances as well. Swings it all the way around the outside. That is absolutely picture perfect from the Papaya McLaren car. GB trying to make it a hat-trick of places lost, but Adam Sanderson holds firm in 4th position for the time being. Late on the brakes down to the Vale chicane, holding him in 4th for the time being. Look after those soft compact tyres, but he's got a very rapid Papaya McLaren closing in on him very, very quickly. Formula Kai is not going to be under pressure. It's Tim McMurdoch around the outside trying to hold on to 2nd place. Scratch that. He's trying to take the lead away from Formula Kai. Absolutely sensational from the reigning champion. He was nowhere near him into the braking zone. GB up the inside of Formula Cream is caught napping slightly into the Vale chicane. There's just about enough room. You can fit a playing car between the wheels, and that is all you could fit between the wheels is the McLaren and the Aston Martin retaining the status quo and keeping the formation. But Tim McMurdoch, as I said that he'd be content to stay in 2nd place, scratch that, attack the best forward defence around the outside of Stoke Corner when he was absolutely not in the same ballpark. GB still having it out with Formula Cream in the first sector. We go around the outside now. The inside becomes the outside. Can Formula Cream hold on? He's starting to struggle with his rear tyres. Through entry we go, and it is GB68 that muscles his way onto the podium.
And crazy does tend to be the word here. The Creator Series, and down the inside goes Formula Kai. He's back in front of Tim McMurdoch, and that could cost him if that DRS is as powerful as we think, or is Ben's tyres starting to drop off so much that Kai thinks they have the grip through Magnus and Beckett's to fight them. They are recharging, they are recycling, they are ready to go for their last chance saloon. There is 2 chances for moves down the Hangar Straight and the late braking into Vale. Which one are they going to pick? Which one are they going to choose? And which one will grant them victory? Will it be the new victor? Will it be the championship leader? And will it be the championship challenger? Who's going to win this one? Here comes Ben. He's going to go around the outside. There's nothing Kai could do to defend. Kai is in big trouble now because Ben takes the lead in the British Grand Prix with a corner to go. Kai's going to have to send it. Kai, will he send it? No, he does not send it down the inside, which means Tim McMurdoch will pick up victory number 2 this season, and he wins at the British Grand Prix. Formula Kai finishes in 2nd, GB in 3rd, with Formula Karim in 4th.
It's Meraki also out on track as well. He's gone purple in the first sector with a 26.488 personal best as well. He's yet to set a lap, that's why. 17.6 in that middle sector. Let's see if he can get up close and personal to GB. He can do more than that, go faster than GB with a 1:16.189. A magnificent showing from Season 4's champion. The champions are all coming home to roost now. Timoet Marduk also one of those as well. A two-time champion here in this series. Reigning champion off the back of last season, Season 8. And now in the Mercedes, looking to try and bring yet further success as he now rounds the final few corners. As I said, currently sits 20 points clear of rival Alex Gillen as he now rounds the final corner now. 26.6 in the first sector, 17.7 in sector 2. Enough to surely bring him into the top 10, into the top 3, just behind GB as well. A 1:16.631. Still quite a lot of work to do, but he's getting closer. And just look at this from the one and only Hayden van der Gullis.
I'm sure he's done more laps in reverse in the Create Series than he's done actually pointing forwards. He hasn't necessarily had the best completion rate. We're not quite on the levels of Mr. Dale yet, but I'm almost certain if we count them up and go through the statistics, he's done equal, if not more, laps in reverse. Yeah, beautiful teamwork between the Aston Martins, keeping an eye though on Razin. Final couple of corners for him to contend with. He's only managed to get a 19.4 on the board at the moment. Soft tyres will come to his aid. He'll round the final corner. Could it be provisional pole position? Yes, it is, with a 15.867. Beautiful stuff from Racing Chi.
That is absolutely brilliant from Razin Chai there. Very nearly copied what you said. We're going to the top. Razin Chi up at the very top of the order. The only driver to register a 1:15 so far in the session, and my goodness me, wasn't it a good one? All about that final purple sector with that 31.8 that he was able to register. F1 Alex also out on the lap as well, looking for big improvements. And I must say, this looks like an improvement as he makes his way up towards the line as well. Enough to break into that top 10, but only by a slither. He's got plenty of candidates further down that are looking to challenge. We got GB as well coming around the final corners. We've got 10 seconds or so left now. We're coming into stoppage time. It's all or nothing for every driver out on the grid, and GB68 is now going to look for top goal supremacy. He does! My goodness me! And that is 21 thousandths faster than Razin Chai, who's been relegated to second place now. Here comes Fabio. He's looking to pull out a clutch lap as well. Yet to set one at all. Neither is Mike Stachio. Timoet Marduk, the championship leader, also coming around the final corner, also looking to rise to the top late in the day. No, only enough for fourth fastest. Just in behind Lolinover, Formula Karim with his fellow McLaren teammate Nick Flies, both looking for a run across the line to break into the top 10, and Karim steals it right at the bitter end as well. But keenly enough, plenty of drivers to come, and here comes Meraki. He goes fifth fastest. Bizarre scenes, Karim showing his natural speed once more, TK.
Yeah, fantastic lap from himself. The toe from Nick Flies looking to prove unbalanceable amongst the rest of our field. Mike Stachio, though, still to come across the line to make it all 20 drivers setting a lap. And it's only going to be P19, but starting ahead of Hayden Gullis. At least it's not last place.
As we get set ready to race now, as the lights, they're all lit. They go out, it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start for Formula Karim, and a steady start from GB as well. Razin Chai in third, Timoet Marduk and Meraki going at it as well in a battle over fifth place with Ricky 03 and Imprata going side by side on the run now out of turn 3. Very shortly out of turn 2 through towards turn 3, I should say. Lolinover has pounced on Razin Chai immediately now as they stretch down through towards the 90-degree right-hander, and Karim has sailed away here in this wet weather. The rain has not deterred him. It's Karim, GB now 1.4 seconds back, now 1.5 and falling with Lolinover in third. Razin Chai fourth. Timoet Marduk has managed to get the up on Meraki coming through the first sector. They're in sector 2 now, rounding Lakeside Drive, and in behind, Timoet Marduk all over the tail of fellow champion Razin Chai, TK.
Yeah, Team Monaco had a fantastic launch, got that initial move made on Meraki. GB didn't get what he would have liked. He was immediately under pressure from Razin, then Lolly Noba, and the Aston Martin still looks to be suffering, with the Haas looking towards the inside line as we make our way into the third and final sector. Surely he's going to try later on the brakes, hanging around the outside. The no DRS isn't seeming to worry Lolly Noba as he's gone from 4th to 2nd in just 1 lap.
Let's hear Monaco the first to jump. Now that is the first, should we say, strategic pit stop we have already seen. Obviously, remember, we've already seen a stop for Liam Hammond, but this is the first in-race stop that we have seen, and I would say that this is fairly early on. An interesting take, an interesting call here from Benjamin Daly at this point, TK. But you never know, Rasin Chai might fancy his chances coming down in towards turns 9 and 10. He's in the wheel tracks, he's gaining that front nose cone on the Alpine, starting to move into position. He's going to have the inside line coming in through towards turns 9 and 10. Doesn't even need the apex, will lead GB before the apex. Coming out of turn 10 now, and it's GB down to 4th, Rasin Chai up to 3rd. DRS now enabled, so the dry conditions now coming home to roost. Is this the point in time where the slicks come to life? I think so, because Meraki has gone purple with an 18.8 in the middle sector, TK, and Tim Monaco is in.
Yeah, front 4 all in. Karim, Lolly Noba, GB and Team Monaco, and the medium tyre, I think, will be the equal choice amongst the board. All of them choosing for the yellow ball Pirelli, and let's see where they come out. Question will be, where can Rasin Chai get that car whilst the rest of them parade out of the pit lane?
Yeah, Rasin Chai now round in the final corner. We can see Tim Monaco coming out through the pit escape. Formula Karim already on his fresh medium tyres. He's 3.6 seconds clear. And Benjamin Daly, the work, obviously, it was successful, the run on the intermediate tyres. But I would say that he hasn't really lost or gained any places, should we say, making his way through. In one case, though, you could say that he's lost out to Lolly Noba and GB. We're creeping downwards. The time is dropping and the track level in terms of temperature is rising. Tim Monaco now 6/10 away. He's brought himself to within touching distance of GB68. Nick Fly is going fastest. The track is going to continue to rise, and a wonderful exit for Tim Monaco and a slow one for GB as they come out of turn 5. Oh, it looks like, was that Dakovic? No, it was GB. GB slow on the run out of turn 5, and they're going to run wheel to wheel round Lakeside Drive now this time. Take rain out of this equation. It's a dry race, and GB has held his own and held P3 in this fight, but how long can he do so with Tim Monaco now on his tail?
Certainly is. Team Monaco will be lower on fuel. Daniel Gilligan goes for a spin further back. The Ferrari getting it all loose out of turn 10. Sits rather abandoned at the corner. Almost took out Ben there as well, as Ben does manage to dispatch. Oh, GB, who's that? The Alpine of Rasin Chai into the barrier.
Safety car. Hayden Gullis is pretty much going for it as well. Moved up into 4th place at this stage, just in behind the safety car. I think a couple of them have gone for it. Goodness me! That was emphatic. Just letting off 10-second time penalty. I mean, that is extraordinary. That's a phenomenal way to get yourself disqualified. Hayden Gullis is disqualified as well. Formula Karim, the only car out on track. Just a sheer mess at the moment, guys. We've exposed a flaw in the safety car, unfortunately. So therefore, I would say that this session has indeed been red flagged. We've got 20 laps that are awaiting us. Formula Karim will start on pole position ahead of the restart here. Let's see who comes out on top as we await the lights to go red. And here they come. All 5 lights are indeed lit. And it's pedal to the metal for the 2nd time for the Australian Grand Prix race now. And it's Formula Karim who gets a great start. So does Lolly Noba in 2nd place. He might yet lick his lips for a potential overtake on the run down through towards turn 3. He may have struggled during the formation lap, but he's recovered brilliantly, but remains behind Formula Karim for now, with Tim Monaco lining up in 3rd. Infratic and Hayden Gullis going at it over 6th place, and it looks like Infratic has taken it away from Gullis now. So Gullis down in 7th with Quats for company. Nick Flies down in 9th with Rasin Chai still remaining in 10th, with that guy Vince in 11th. Adam Sanderson up to 12th now as he looks to jump past Ricky 03. So that's Sanderson back in 12th, where he was before, and Quats and Aiden Gullis going wheel to wheel, coming around Lakeside Drive. They touch a little bit, and Gullis has managed to reclaim and hold on to P7, very nearly losing it to Quats, who gets a lovely run down through towards turn 11 here, TK.
He might yet, though, fancy his chances again on the run around Lakeside Drive, and Lolin Ober might favour a move for the lead as well, as he's showing all over the back of the McLaren and might yet pull the plug on Karim's lead here in this Australian Grand Prix race, as they now stretch down towards turn 9 and 10. The Papaya McLaren holding firm. Lolin Ober hasn't found anything, or at least enough, to make this move happen, but might have a chance down in towards turn 11. Cutting to the inside now, side by side they will go. Tiger line for Lolin Ober, who goes late on the brakes. Daring manoeuvre indeed from the Haas, but still Karim comes back and sits his car right on the outside of the apex and holds the inside, coming through towards the penultimate corner, but back comes Lolin Ober. An almighty fight between these two. These rivals from Miami have come to roost again, and they're going to stretch down through towards turn 1, and wheel banging in behind as well, TK.
Yeah, that was GB and Ben trying to find space as GB almost forced off the racetrack there. Lolin Ober having to go side by side with the Aston Martin at the moment. Team at Marnik trying to put pressure on Formula Karim. GB dispatches Lolin Ober at the moment. Meraki arriving on the scene rather promptly. The Red Bull tries to stick his nose in, but he can't quite do it on this occasion. Lolin Ober had to go wide to avoid space to allow GB the room that he is required to give. That could give the Red Bull an excuse to send a nose down the inside. But oh my, on that home straight, we could have seen both Aston Martin and the Mercedes into the barrier at the same time.
As in comes Karim in for his pit stop, and he's not alone because Lolin Ober has come in as well. Tim Marnik, will he come in? Will he respond to the change that Formula Karim has made? Opt for a fresher set of medium tyres. GB now rounding Lakeside Drive, a portion of circuit now they're approaching where both of these cars came together and crashed in seasons prior, but this time no such concerns, and Tim Marnik getting the slipstream on the back of GB as he takes the lead of the race on the run down through towards turn 11. They'll stay bound together as they now look ahead to lap 9 of 20, but like I said, big question, do they respond to, of course, the pit stop that was made by Karim here and now? Do we see GB come in? Yes, we do. And a yellow flag is out in Sector 3. Full safety car. Oh, my goodness.
Well, this is absolutely timed to perfection for the drivers that have just come into the pit lane. Karim will be absolutely fuming in that cockpit at the moment. He would have been hoping and praying that that didn't cause a safety car. The yellow flag remained just that, a yellow flag. And I don't think he's going to be able to pip out drivers behind him. You look at that, the distance that he's back further behind. He tries to pip some of them out in towards turn number 1. I think he might pip out Meraki, storming around the outside. Apologies of actually Razin Chai, that was, for the Alpine. But everybody else will have the advantage after this safety car period.
But now the safety car has come in. It's all on GB to get this restart underway. We have had the pit stop phase. It's now a 10-lap fight right to the end. And look at the gap now as GB puts pedal to the metal for the third time in this race now as we watch them sprint down through towards turn 1. It's GB with an advantage. Formula Karim getting a lovely restart as well on the tail of Tim Marnik as they now stretch down through towards turn 3 again this time, but no moves could be made. GB holding his own. It's Tim Marnik still in second, Karim in third, and Rasin Chai down in fourth. Infratic has jumped Liam Hammond for that 9th place, and Meraki has done the same and moved up to 10th.
Karim, though, pushing Team Marnik to the absolute limit as we head in towards turn 9 and 10. Ben pushing that McLaren as much as he possibly could to the wall. Fortunately, both of them come out on top, and Karim resurges his attack. Yeah, inside line again for Karim, nice and sensible. Nothing he has to try and disrupt anybody else's race. GB will sit in behind, except the slipstream as they head through this extremely fast left-right chicane. Razin Chai getting through, but Team Marnik, 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
As we watch GB come down in towards turn 3 now. Yellow flag at this stage as well. No, Quats is out. Goodness me, that is a huge crash on the outset of turn 2, and he's not alone. It's Hayden Gullis. We were bigging him up, certainly bigging him up after a stellar drive, and now he is dropped down to 14th. What could have been heroic performance has turned to misery for the Giraffe. Now here on lap 19, coming through Lakeside Drive again, it's Rasin Chai who pops up ahead of Tim Marnik now and puts the Alpine right and fully into P3, but still P2, maybe even P1 can be an offer for the Alpine now as they stretch down through towards turn 11. Here comes GB on the run in towards Formula Karim, a switch back to the outside, defensive from Karim, who retains that race lead. Great defensive effort. But now as they drive and head and sprint through towards turns 9 and 10, GB going for the unthinkable, going for the race lead and potential victory, loses out a lot of traction, sacrifices so much momentum, and here comes Racing now on the run down towards turn 11. They go wheel to wheel, and now Karim holding his own. He will retain the race lead, but the P2 battle is on, and GB with a nose in front is going to try and hang on here. Racing up his inside. My goodness, and now the round turn, the final corner, Formula Karim will go on to a third race victory this season. It's the Australian Grand Prix going Karim's way. The man who came in third in the championship, he is a victor once more, and GB retains P2 ahead of Racing Chai in P3. My goodness me, TK. You got Dill on the right, and we're currently sat on board with Blackmere as the lights go red, they go out, and it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start for Mr. Dale. He got the jump on Matty D13 straight away, heading in towards turn 1, and it's Dale who now leads the way. Cutter Lucas up the inside, or shall I say yes, up the inside indeed, moves into second, and Matty D has plummeted. He's fallen behind Nick Flies at the Papaya McLaren, and round his outside Scott Taylor. The Scot is on the move, but he's onto the grass. My goodness, ran out wide. Matty having a very difficult start to this race. Ricky 03 right up in the mix as well, Infratic trying to gain some places. Racing Chai now enters the top 10, but it's Mr. Dale out in front, and Cutter Lucas now losing out to Nick Flies with a lovely move up the inside as they make their way out of turn 7. Also doing battle with Blackmere, and he's managed to peek into P12, and we've got two drivers right at the front as Tom challenges for the lead as he looks to try and break down Mr. Dale. Nick Fly is also staying within the aero. We'll also have the use of DRS as they fly down towards the hairpin. Tom takes the lead for now, but I tell you what, there's a queue of cars in behind that are looking to take him down a peg or two, but the new simulator working for Tom Beener as he now leads the way here in the sprinters. They're about to bring an end to lap 2, heading in towards lap 3. DRS will be available. Nick Flies will have a chance to respond.
I think Nick Flies was probably quite happy just to sit in behind the Alpine. Currently sat in a sandwich between the Renault-powered cars. Swinging it around the outside is Razachai, going from the outside to the inside, smelling an opportunity to make it an Endstone 1-2. Doesn't quite have the traction on the exit, but with that inside line, it's going to continue to stay neck and neck. Alpine versus Papaya McLaren. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Down into turn number 6. And McLaren in the sprint race this morning came a crop here. Lando Norris running slightly wide, leaking loads of places. The Papaya McLaren of Nick Flies doing the same, but only one to the Alpine.
We now watch them sprint down through towards the hairpin, in towards turn 14. And now late on the brakes, Tibet Marduk, yellow flag again. Oh, big spin. And is that Mr. Dale? I think it might be. Dropping down Meraki also. It looks like Dale's dropped down to 19th as well. So colossal for the Red Bull team. Meraki into 10th. This has been a tenacious rise, and Alex Gillen also coming into this. We've got a yellow flag and a retirement. Our first of this sprint. F1 Alex is out.
Oh, and Nick Flies under pressure again. He hasn't troubled a lot of apexes since Infratic and Tim Barnett filed past the Papaya McLaren. Holding firm for the time being, Alex Gillen is not going to risk it around the outside of the final corner. I would say that would be an unwise decision, it has to be said. And filling those spots just outside of the top 4, the 2 McLarens and the 2 RB cars. There's everybody darting this way, and that Razin tried to take the lead away from Tom, but he was unsuccessful in his attempts to do so. Alex Gillen now slightly missing the apex. He has managed to get ahead of Nick Flies, but there was a small chance that Nick Flies could just try and get back up the inside as Dale started on the front row, becomes the second retiree in this race, and we are down to 18 runners with 4 to go.
Took his first victory back in Texas in the very first round after silencing a pole sitter in Formula Karim. He then went and took victory back at Britain not too long ago, as now we see 3 wide almost. We've got Tom in front by a nose, but here comes Benjamin Daly. Contact there around turn 14, but Benjamin Daly takes the sprint race lead now, and it's all been turned upside down because Alex Gillen, he was there and he took second. So now we meet the 2 rivals once more, battling over higher end supremacy. This is the final lap. It could all twist and turn from here, and through goes Formula Karim, who looks to move in a second as they come in towards turn 3. Gillen trying to defend relentlessly, but the Papaya McLaren will have the momentum on the run down towards turn 4. Benjamin Daly might have it for now, but here comes Alex Gillen around the outside now, coming through towards the 90-degree right. They'll run wheel to wheel on the escape, but Ben still somehow retains that race lead, but it can all be turned over coming around turn 7.
Oh, throw a blanket over this. Top three pushing each other through the sweeps of the middle sector. Tom is right in there as well. Tim and Mark playing some ice games. Definitely there. There's the Alpine back up the inside of Formula Cream. Razichai maybe trying to follow suit as well, not quite close enough. And Tim and Mark, I think, has played an absolute blinder here, dropping back behind Alex Gillen, jinking all over the place behind. Tom launches it up the inside of his former championship rival. Kareem getting muscled out by a couple of them. Contact at the back. What a disastrous 90 seconds or so for Razichai. Was leading the race, now finds himself down in 8th. Contact between himself and Nick Flies.
A possible welcome return for Tom as well. They've caught up with Scott Taylor for the back, who is still nursing that 3-second time penalty. Here comes Tom now, looking to retake the lead to at least give Enstone something. And Tim Mark looking to follow in through to once again battling it out with arch rival Alex Gillen. Also Formula Karim coming into this as well. But Tom, on his return to the Creator Series, a sprint race win looks surely on the cards. The Alpine succeeds and wins here at China. Tim Mark finishes second, Alex Gillen in third, fellow title rival Formula Karim in fourth, and Lolinobo finishing in fifth. Blackmere just coming around the final corners as well. He'll come 15th, with Blue Fox on his debut coming into the Creator Series, meeting the sprint for the very first time, coming across the line in 16th. And Cutter Lucas, after his early issues, he'll finish in 17th ahead of Scott Taylor. But my goodness me, what a barnstormer, Tom.
Razichai, 8 wins for him out of 84 starts. A decent number of pole positions to go with that as well, as Safso, Season 1 champion, jumps up into second place, although still 3/4 of a second down on Lolly's time. Round the final corner we go with the Alpine Season 5 champion. Does he take over at the top? Yes, he does. 1:30.2 puts 2/10 of a second between himself and Lolinoba. We are inching towards that 1:29 time.
Yeah, Hans as well, double-barreled in second and third. They've got Scott Taylor now, who's ushered his way to within 0.8 of a second. It's currently 777 in behind Razichai, but Alpine enter another car into the top 5 as well. Make that the top 3, with Tom now third in this classification. A welcome return for him after winning the sprint race. He's got his teammates up at the very top of the tree. Razichai, who's looking to make it. He's got the best poles record in the series. He could make it 16 come the close of this session. We've got 7 minutes and 30 to go. Alex Gillen making his way around the circuit, coming around turn 7, turn 8 to come as well. Alex Gillen also with an impressive 1-lap record as well, but also carries a decent number of race wins to his name as well. 21 in total in the A Sports F1 Creator Series. If you want to know his poles record, 6 poles in his history, but 34 podiums to match and 54 top 10s. He's got 1 Drivers' Championship to his name, and now looking to chase another in this current championship phase. He is 5th in the title race and looking to close the gap, and a win here at China could make all the difference. We are coming into the final 5 races of this championship, as now Gillen sprints down through towards a hairpin. It's a purple first sector as well for Meraki, who's looking to come back into this as well. Mr. Dale on an outlap as well. We're going to wait and see what Alex Gillen can usher to the table. 23.7 in that first sector. Meraki getting a toe off his teammate as well, chasing a purple final sector. Alex Gillen moves up to 6th fastest GB, now relegated to 4th. We've got Tim Mark in 3rd. Now Lolinoba in 2nd still. He's out on an outlap again, but we all watch Meraki. Purple in that first sector, 27.2 in the middle sector as well. Coming around the final corner, can he go faster again? Can he usurp Razichai? No, only enough for 3rd fastest, but within 3.5 tenths. This is getting very close.
Navigating the final couple of corners. Got to keep it within track limits. We saw a emphatic fall foul of that. Scott Taylor up into 5th. That, I apologise, Tom, because that is a perfect example. Vintage commentator's curse. And that is 8th at best for the Season 3 champ.
Yeah, difficult moment for Tom, who was on a personal improvement. Tim Mark, incidentally, went purple in the first sector and looking to improve once again. And now heading down in towards the final few corners. Turn 14 and is getting, I would say, probably a useful rub from the Alpine of Razichai further up, who's also looking to improve as well. Now, keep your eyes on the prize. A little twitch of the rear there for Razichai as he makes his way up towards the line, improves. Tim Mark moves into 1st place. GB up into 3rd as well. The Mercedes, the championship leader, has stolen it from Razichai for now. Alex Gillen moves up to 3rd fastest. Formula Karim in the McLaren moves up to P1 this time and breaks into the 129s, and that is the first time we have seen it. Meraki up into 2nd as well, and that's all she wrote Formula Karim with the fastest qualifying lap we have seen here at China in the EA Sports F1 Creator Series. The first time we have seen a 129. The only driver to do a 129 here in this very session. A 129.975 to take pole position here for the Chinese Grand Prix. And here they come. 3 lights, 4 lights, and the 5th light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Formula Karim getting a good start, very aggressively pointed from Timur Marduk to the outside as he looks to try and tuck in behind Karim's car, but being challenged straight away by Rasin Chai coming around turn 2 and in towards turn 3 as well. Turn 4 about to come up as they run wheel to wheel over second place. It's Timur Marduk in second. He'll retain second place, battering back down Rasin Chai, who looked to challenge him coming through the first corner, but already now in this first sector, it's Karim who leads. Down the inside from Lolinova as well on Infratic as they battle over 5th place, and it looks like the Haas Ferrari powered car might have done it, and he fancies 4th as well, but GB holds firm and retains that 4th place. As they now look to make their way around turn 2, and it looks like Lolinova might have enough car alongside GB to make this work, and GB's access has been cut off as well by Rasin Chai further up. But now as they start to fan out, it is now Rasin in 3rd who might be in trouble, because here comes GB around the outside. Lolinova also fancies a move. Rasin getting caught though on Timur Marduk coming around turn 4. Timur Marduk stays where he is, but GB in the process has pounced on Rasin Chai and has taken 3rd away. And now rounding through towards turn 13, they're now going to send it down the long straight. It's Lolinova still now in 5th, but Rasin Chai down in 6th. Nick Fly still, though, is going to be a thorn in his side as they head down through towards turn 14. Here comes Benjamin Daly, Timur Marduk up the inside with the rear wing open. He's going to take the lead away from Formula Karim, and Alex Gillen moves past BB68 in the battle for 3rd, but they're going to stay side by side on the run in towards turn 16. But Gillen moves into 3rd, and now 6 places up from where he started. 9th was a distant memory. 3rd is the present day. It looks like those on the softs are starting to feel the pinch. Lolinova tucked in behind Formula Kai, and I think that, once again, proven truth. As safety car comes out, and Mr. Dale has crashed again. It will be a nil point once more for Mr. Dale, who will now bring out the safety car and will retire from this race. And unfortunately, that is our first retirement here at China. Blackmere straight in the pits.
Later this evening as well. Safety car in this lap, and Safso, oh dear. Safso disqualified, ignoring yellow flags. I think that's the game deciding, you know what, Saf? I don't want you taking part anymore. You can go and take an early shower, mate.
Right at the tail, you can see the distance. Mr. F1 Alex, I should say, TTV. After Mr. Dale retired, that brought out the safety car. It will now come to an end, and Ricky 03 will take them around, essentially being the safety car. As the foot goes to the floor, around turn 16 you will go and put pedal to the metal for the 2nd time in this race now. It's Ricky 03 out in front. Here comes Timur Marduk straight away as we ride on board with the Mercedes, but already now Gillen looking for the opportunity to take the race lead advantage. Needs to get it done because he's on fresh soft tyres and will want to build a gap. A beautiful switchback from Alex Gillen moves him up into the lead of the race. Coming out of turn 2, no longer a net leader, he is a full race leader. Here comes Timur Marduk also on the tail of Formula Karim, the 2 title rivals, 1 and 2 in the championship. And now Timur Marduk looking to make it 3rd and 4th between them now, as now Timur Marduk moves up and into 3rd place, and now hunting after Ricky 03 himself. He is only half a second away. And looking to coast onwards as well. Benjamin Daly knows he needs to get rid of Ricky 03's Williams ASAP. It's never been more vital. He will, of course, have the benefits of that DRS, but it looks like it's slammed shut right now as they peel down through towards turn 14, and he's bringing along Formula Karim for the ride as both of them look to brush on through past Ricky 03, who I'm sure is full of regret for not boxing when he probably should have under the safety car. So as we now watch them burst down the long straight again. Timur Marduk looking to move up into 2nd, does so. Lolinova looking to move into the top 3, and he does so as well, but a switchback on offer for Formula Karim, who's going to look to try and get his position back. Can't quite do it on the run now through towards turn 16. He will have DRS though, as Benjamin Daly will be exposed to those behind, but they've all managed to gain on the back of Alex Gillen, with fastest laps being exchanged between Timur Marduk and Rasin Chai further back. Here comes Lolinova up the inside, moves into 2nd as the Haas, and the former race winner from Miami now moves into 2nd place. Lolinoba now starting to urge ever closer. The front wing on the Haas now getting closer to the rear of the RB, and now fans outwards and makes the move for the lead and moves past swiftly by Alex Gillen on the run in towards turn 14. So it's now Lolinoba at the lead of the race. Through towards turn 14 once more. Just look, that gap still now lengthening. Lolinoba 1.8 as now once more we see some battling between Alex Gillen and Formula Karim this time. This is a battle over third place. Gillen not taking this lying down whatsoever, and Formula Kai has been battling it out with Rasin Chai as well. Karim now moving up into third. Of F1 25 to be announced as well very soon, as Formula Karim around the outside coming through towards turn 14, moves into second, now 2.1. Lolinoba given yet more freedom as it now fans out to 2.2, but Karim now into second place. It's now on him to try and close the gap to Lolinoba. Now, does Lolinoba respond and come into the pits? Yes, he does. Race leader Lolinoba in the box, and so does Karim and Tiamat Marduk. Now, all eyes on Meraki. Just how much time will he gain under this pit stop phase? I think we will be. Tiamat Marduk hopping back past Formula Kai now as well. Obviously, Tiamat Marduk forfeiting places under the pit stop, and a safety car, I think, has come out as well. Full course yellow, and it looks like F1 Alex has lost it. He's retired. A safety car has been brought out on track. We're getting a late notification of that here on our game feed for other drivers further back. But now as Lolinoba puts his foot to the floor, rounds the final corner once more and puts pedal to the metal for the third time in this race now as they hustle down the long straight through towards turn 1. Lolinoba with enough of a gap in behind him is Formula Karim, and now further back as well Tiamat Marduk in third place. They're going to try and gain as well. He's 4.5 tenths away from Karim in second place. They come through out of turn 1, turn 2 and towards turn 3 and eventually turn 4 as well. Ricky 03 has pounced on Blue Fox. Those two are battling over P16 right now as Rasin Chai thunders all over the back of Formula Karim as well. But as they fan out through down towards turn 6 out of turn 5, it's Lolinoba consolidating that race lead, but Karim is going to give him some serious company as they make their way through sector 2. I'd imagine we'll probably see various cars coming in on this next lap as well. Formula Karim in the meantime has managed to coast clear by around 1.6, but here comes Tiamat Marduk now at the inside, this time of Lolinoba coming out of turn 14 now and has consolidated that second place. Now, do they come in? That's the big question. Karim is staying out. So is Tiamat Marduk. Does anyone respond? In comes a kick sabber of Formula Kai. Rasin Chai doing the same as well. DRS now enabled. They've timed it badly, have the front runners. We're watching them come around turn 1. That's a very big mistake, I think, from Karim, Tiamat Marduk and Lolinoba and Alex Gillen. The rest of the field coming into the pits just as the DRS becomes active again. We're going to wait and see now as the cars make their way down through towards turn 14. Is there any way possible that Karim, Lolinoba, Tiamat Marduk, Alex Gillen can retain their places up at the very top? They've got to get rid of those intermediates. They've got to come off now. And into the pits comes Formula Karim. Lolinoba as well coming into the pits surely as well, as does Tiamat Marduk, Alex Gillen. Not to mention Blackmere has surely got to follow them in. He's going to plant himself right to the rear of the field. No doubt about that. But all eyes on Formula Kai, who's rounding turn 14 and will surely make his way through towards that final corner at turn 16. Formula Karim's been held as they now come through the final corner this time. Let's see where Kai comes out in all this as they hustle down towards the long straight. There's Karim, there is the queue. Tiamat Marduk, Formula Kai has pounced them all and moved into second place. A stop too late for Tiamat Marduk and Lolinoba. Alex Gillen, they have lost, they forfeited podium track position. As we now watch them sprint down the long straight once more, and Tiamat Marduk this time is going to try and certainly alleviate Formula Kai of his P3 position as they now fly down through towards turn 14. Formula Kai just squeezing him slightly, pushing him to the inside just a little bit. Kai trying to force the issue as they try and make their way out of turn 14. They nip and tuck, heading through out of turn 15, through turn 16. It's Tiamat Marduk. The Aussie moves into third now and looks to hunt down after Rasin Chai as the three of them at the very top. Karim, Chai and Tiamat Marduk now hustle through towards turn 1. Karim in the distance. Back comes Kai around the outside on the soft tyres again, but can't quite find the avenue. He needs to be alongside coming in towards turn 3 and knows it. Turn 4 coming up after this one. And just look who's on the outside of him. It's Lolinoba on the medium tyres as well, on the same strategy as Racing Giant, Tim Edmardick, and looking to flex away through towards P4 as they hustle down through towards turn 6. The Haas going late on the brakes to try and brush past the Kick Sauber, and the Haas certainly does. A brilliant display of tenacity from young Lolinoba, the Italian, moving his way on up, and so does Alex Gillen, also on medium tyres. The softs are dying off. Formula Kai has no answer for those ahead, and they make contact coming through turn 8 and 9 and through towards turn 10, and Kai rejoins 1.7, now 2 seconds behind Alex Gillen. Of 56. They'll hustle down the long straight. Here comes Benjamin Daly. Fanning out comes Alex Gillen as well. He's got so much momentum being carried from the RB as they now sprint down. And there's a big accident as well. Formula Kai on his softs has gone off. Tim Edmardick retaining now P2. Alex Gillen couldn't quite get him on the run down through towards turn 14, but he will be back, I am sure, as they round turn 16 again, and lap 48 will begin. Here comes Alex Gillen, fanning out to the outside. Turn 1 awaits as now the RB plummets ahead. The team from Faenza lights up P2 and are now 7 places up from where they began. Alex Gillen now holds on to second place. He has done brilliantly to get to this point.
Has a lot of work to do to try and get back up into the 6th position. That he was going to get. Big slide for Lolinoba. Eases the pressure on Tim Edmardick, and now Razin Chai is this his final opportunity. Finally gets the chance to get ahead of the Haas, and he does into the braking zone, but brave on the brakes is the Haas. Contact for the second time in as many laps. Is he going to get run out of road on the exit? Shown the door. Razin Chai is shoulder barred to the barrier. Less than 4 wheels on his car, and that is the worst end he could have envisaged.
But we are now watching them dice it out here at Shanghai in China over point supremacy in what has to be said a very fragile period in this championship. Rear wings opened up now for the 3 cars battling over the podium places. Tim Edmardick looking to find an avenue. Defending aggressively is Alex Gillen. They come in towards turn 14. The exit now on display as now Tim Edmardick looks to muscle his way through to second. Formula Karim wins the Chinese Grand Prix, and Benjamin Daly off the road with Alex Gillen takes second. Lolinoba in third as well. Gillen off the podium in dramatic circumstances, and Meraki somehow, after the pit stop, finds himself in P5. 4 wins, 5 podiums, 15 top 10s, and 5 pole positions come the end of the Shanghai round. It's Formula Karim, your race winner. He takes 25 points out of Tim Edmardick in second. The championship contenders manacled together and will stay that way at the top of the championship. Lolinoba in third as well, getting past Alex Gillen at the very final time of asking. Meraki in fifth, Infratic 6th, Nick Fly 7th, GB 8th. We then have Formula Kai in 9th, Tom in 10th, Scott Taylor 11th, further down Blue Fox on his debut appearance in 12th, Matty D13 in 13th, Blackmere 14th, Cutter Lucas 15th, Ricky 03 in 16th place. Rasin Chai was a retirement, so was F1 Alex, Mr. Dale, and Zafso as well. As Tim Edmardick flies through the final few corners, coming through the Casio Triangle chicane, and now up towards the line in the Mercedes, and our current championship contender going only 13th fastest. Now that's risky. Zamso is improving, and you wouldn't count him out. Of course, remember, PS1 Hagrid and also Season 1 champion as he now flies up towards the line. Only enough for 16th fastest, and he will be out of qualifying, along with Adam Sanderson and, of course, Matty D. What about Nick Flies, who's improved massively in recent times as well? Goes 15th fastest, right on the bubble, but stays alive and relegates F1 Alex, and that looks like that's all she wrote. But Rasin Chai be looking to be the first of many coming up towards the line to register their final runs here in Q2. And I can tell you that the time has improved for Rasin Chai. Personal best in that first sector of a 31.834, and he's gone and put in a personal best in the middle sector of a 39.219, which incidentally is faster than Formula Karim's previous lap. As now Chai makes his way towards the line. Can he blast past Formula Kai? No, but he goes third fastest. He's got Ricky 03 looking to move his way into the top 10. Does so. Goes 7th fastest, and that will certainly please Hayden Gullis, I'm sure. Here comes Lolinoba into 4th. Scott Taylor to the top as the Haas pairing continue to work together, with Formula Karim up to 5th now as Tim Edmardick goes fastest, which will put a smile, I'm sure, on Adam Sanderson's face. That guy Vince into 7th, GB 5th, Infratic going to 3rd, Noiguera in 4th, Nick Flies now relegated, Meraki last but not least. I think he's done it, I think he's made it. We'll watch now. No, he hasn't. 11th fastest for Jake, who is now not going to see Q3. He was so close. Well, Tom is currently purple in that first sector with a 33.676 as we now watch as that guy Vince, as DRS is now disabled, confirming that the weather is continuing to bucket on down, and it's a 42.6 in that middle sector for that guy Vince, but the purple middle sector has been stolen by Tom in the Alpine as now they whip around the final corner. Where does that guy Vince go in terms of lap time? It's a 1:34.838. GB goes second fastest, around nearly half a second away from his own teammate as well. Tom going second fastest. Formula Kai down into fifth as Tim Marduk pops into fourth. We got more cars coming through. Rasin Chai as well after setting a 42.9 in that middle sector. We're looking to try and usurp at least a few to move himself into the higher echelons, and does lose time, 1.6. And looking how the rain is impacting this session, because Scott Taylor has come around coming into the final sector. There is Noiguera hopping over the curbs. That's an invalidation, and surely Fabio is going to suffer the same fate. He can't keep the car on the track, but makes his way up towards the line anyway, knowing that he can at least place his car in the highest out of the bottom three. Goes 8th fastest. As we now watch as the lights light up here at Suzuka. All 5 lights are indeed lit. They go out, and it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. GB getting a good start, as does Rasin Chai, but the Aston Martins getting the better jump. Well, getting a better jump than any other team, really. That guy Vince was threatening Rasin Chai around the outside, coming in towards turn 1 as they now venture uphill through towards the S's. It is still GB. Rasin Chai holding station in second place. It's Alpine in an Aston Martin sandwich with Rasin Chai, but equally that guy Vince in an Alpine sandwich. As off goes F1 Alex onto the grass. Has had a major moment and will rejoin back out onto the track, but at the back of the field as now he makes his way up through towards the Dunlop corner, coming through over the crest, coming through out of turn 7 as they now make their way into the Degners. It's GB, Rasin Chai, that guy Vince, Tom settling in 4th place with Lolin Ober, who is now fighting up through into the top 5 after Scott Taylor qualified heroically well. Tim Marduk already up into 14th place. Is now Formula Karim goes side by side with Noiguera on the run out of the Casio Triangle chicane. Work this one out, folks. They now all sprint down one, or should I say 2 by 2. They're 3 wide for the back in a battle over third, and Tom has moved himself up, and off the track goes Lolin over. That guy Vince trying to hold station, and Tom has gone wide around the outside to try and get the move done, coming up through the snake section, and has done it as well. Incredible move there from Tom, and wheel to wheel between Formula Karim and Lolin Ober on the run uphill once more as well. Karim second in the championship, looking to try and drive himself upwards further up through this field as now he flies over the hill, coming out of Dunlop corner at turn 7. Now the Degners come up. He is now in 6th place still, with Lolin Ober keeping him behind. Bear in mind, no DRS just yet. Should it dry up though, it could open up, and we've got team radio from Tom. GB is going slow, and he's trying to put a stop to it by going up the inside at turn 1, and Tom does finally take the lead. It has taken some attempt. He has asked the major questions. This time he's got an answer, and that's P1 for the Dutchman. Yeah, Rasin Chai now making that box happen. Obviously, they tried to avoid the double stack, as we mentioned before, between the two Alpines. DRS has now officially been enabled, so we are effectively in dry conditions as of now. And there goes Tom, swanning off back into the lead of the race. Now it looks like the two Alpines are going to be nose to tail here in terms of the classification. So it's been a well-rounded effort from Alpine, but a big moment for Rasin Chai, who on the fresh medium tyres, the rear end steps out and he loses 2 places on the run up through to the S's as GB moves into second, and Alex Gillen, now in the top 3, sits in 3rd place.
Certainly will do indeed. It's almost like a cinema that movie that we've watched before, isn't it? Gillen down in towards turn 1, this time choosing the outside line. DRS becomes enabled, and in the end it's a really smooth and easy overtake for himself. Rasin Chai will try and follow through though. Round the outside he will go, swooping past GB, slightly off the circuit. I wouldn't be surprised if that is a track limits warning for the Alpine and for Gillen as well on the exit of turn 2 there, but everybody making their way through nice and calmly. Nothing to write home about from that.
That guy Vince is now Riccio 3, makes his way through. F1 Alex retiring, and it looks like that is a safety car. A big error coming through towards 200R, and F1 Alex, you can see the lime green dot that's just disappeared off screen now on the track map. It was actually stationed just off the back of turn 12 after coming out of turn 11, and it's led to now a safety car situation. And I think Benjamin Daly has opted to come into the pits as well, and he's not alone. Noiguera is floating backwards into the pits. That is the most bizarre pit stop I have ever seen. in the history of F1 gaming, or indeed league racing, apart from that time at Monaco. We won't talk about that. Alex Gillen only has 9% wear, so I don't think it'd be much of a difference. So alluding to that factor that we were discussing earlier on, is now they pick up the pace heading down the hill, down through towards turn 1 very shortly. It's Alex Gillen who will take them through, and it's pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now. It's Alex Gillen, Tom, further back, Rasin Chai, Lolin Ober looking into the inside as well of the second Alpine that currently sits in third place, unable to make the move, but Noiguera has moved up to 10th ahead of Ricciardo 3, so a decent race start for the Ferrari. Tim Emmerich looking to do the same as now he moves up to 11th, and I think Ricciardo 3 has been stuck here because he's lost out to Nick Flies as well here in the first sector. Not a great restart for Ricciardo 3, but it's Alex Gillen who still leads the way with Tom on fresh medium rubber in second place. Lolin Ober and Formula Krim and Rasin Chai. So out of the 6 of them, they have got the youngest set of tyres, as now he looks around the outside of Lolin Ober on the running towards the Casio Triangle chicane. They'll meet wheel to wheel, coming through towards the right and left, and back in reply. Tim Emmerich around the outside, but Lolin Ober looking to take him all the way. The Italian, the passionate sim racing Italian, looking to try and fend off the Aussie. He's unable to, and still with DRS is Benjamin Daly, as now Karim looks to take them both. Almost 3 wide coming through turn 1 and out of turn 2. Benjamin Daly up to 3rd, as Lolin Ober now sinks into 4th. In the mix, I'll show you, say Zapso wasn't in turn ahead. We have got a yellow flag in sector 1, and it looks like Formula Karim, one of the championship contenders. He's got wing damage as well. Shock horror here at Suzuka. Must have had a moment coming through turn 1. Truly bewildering scenes as Tim Emmerich, title rival, second in the championship, coming into today. He also took into pole coming into this race, and now has dropped down to 16th. That could be huge in the context of this title fight. The final corner before beginning their next lap, lap 41 and 53. We have got stops. Tim Emmerich coming in, and no doubt is going to move on to the soft tyres, I'd imagine. What's he picking? No, fresh set of mediums. That surprises me, to be fair, but he did use his soft tyres very early on in the race. So obviously he plumb in for a new set of mediums, and we'll go full push on this now, right to the very end, as now Hayden Gullis blasts down the straight and will move ahead of Benjamin Daly after pulling off the undercut. Has been registering fast lap after fast lap, holds the fastest lap of the race. As Hayden Lee says, this controller stuff is pretty easy, and it looks like Tim Emmerich has found himself stuck behind the Ferraris. Apparently, we're hearing that Alex Gillen might not be considering a pit stop at the moment. He's going to look to try and take this to the end, so he's going to stay out. Tom is coming into the box, but I think Gillen is going to try and go to the end here on very well-used medium tyres, though. Saying that, 33 laps. Let's see if he can do it. As now we watch Tom exchange those mediums for soft tyres. Doesn't want to be held up for too long. Gullis moving through into 3rd as well, with Lolin Ober in 2nd on his relatively fresh medium tyres. They're only a lap added to him on top of Gullis's. Gullis has done 9 laps. Lolin Ober has done 10 laps. There is Hayden now, chasing after Lolin Ober. He's got 1.4 seconds to find before he can attack the Haas over P2 as the yellow flags come out again at the Casio Triangle chicane. Through towards turn 11, and then pirouetting as Nick Flies retires. We did see a puff of smoke and a safety car. Oh my goodness me. Well, a safety car has now been brought out here on lap 46, and Lolin Ober trying to build the gap between himself and Hayden Gullis straight away. Now this has opened many doors across this grid. They'll all be bunched up together. The one McLaren that got it wrong. And can I just add as well, this has brought Formula Karim into this fight as well, as we now watch them come out of Spoon Curve. Well, I tell you what, drama, TK. It's just stepped up a notch. For the final time, as they now venture downhill through towards this long straight before venturing into turn 1. It's pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this race now, and Gillen getting a good restart. Lolin Ober a little bit sunken there, and now Hayden Gullis just swarming all over the back of him as they now rush through towards turns 1 and fly out of turns 2. It's Gillen who leads. Lolin Ober getting a little closer as they come out through towards turn 3 and turn 4, with him behind Meraki in 5th, just behind Rasin Chai, met with Tim Emmerich on his tail in 6th place, as now we watch them all rise uphill through towards Dunlop Corner here on lap 49. We're coming into the bitter end, the bitter stages of this Japanese race, and Gillen is carrying all the points, albeit for now. but still Lolinoba is defying him. It's been an absolutely monstrous drive here from Lolinoba, but equally for Gullis as they now make their way through towards 130R. Gillen in front still, but for how much longer? Here comes Gullis now at the inside, and he might go 2 for 2 as he makes his way down through towards the Casio triangle, and nose in front as Gillen looks to renege the position, coming through it towards the final 2 corners to then venture onto the final lap. It's wheel to wheel between Gillen and Gullis, heading down through towards turn 1, into Lolinoba, into this fight as well, 3 wide, coming in towards turn 1 now, and Lolinoba takes the lead of the race for the first time in a long time in the Creator Series, and now on the final lap will look to take this home. Well, ever since the safety car, Gullis has remained in 3rd place, has been unable to take the victory, but Gillen now looking for a return and gets it all wrong. Coming into the spoon curve hairpin, he led a majority stint here in this race, but one mistake, as I said before, has cost him that P2 and at least a stab at P1 for now. Now it's all down to this. Gullis has got Gillen in behind as well, coming through 130R, but Lolinoba, who's looking to once again take a race win. He won back in Miami in the 2nd race. Wheel to wheel between Gullis and Gillen on the escape coming out of the chicane, but it's Lolinoba in Italian fashion, a Japanese Grand Prix win there for the Italian driver. Lolinoba takes victory. It's Meraki finishing in 3rd. Alex Gillen loses out down to 4th, with Hayden Gullis coming home in a brilliant P2. Tyre Marduk, championship leader, in 5th. Further down as well, plenty of other drivers fighting over the latter positions, but wow, what a phenomenal race, TK. Digest that one. Open up the door for a move. We've had some more laps come on through as well. Currently Lolinoba in 2nd fastest, with Infratic just behind him now. So the Ferrari moving up into 3rd place, 1:27.291, and sits just over 3/10 off Formula Kai's time at the very top of the timing screen. Here comes Tyre Marduk up towards line 4th fastest, 4/10 of a second. Just sat behind Infratic at the moment. Not bad for the Aussie, who's also going for the title. But at this stage, on 221 points coming into tonight's round here at Bahrain. Now the Astons, who are currently occupying the bottom 10, they've now got one in the top 10, with that guy Vince now moving into 8th place, just over 7.5 tenths, nearly 8 tenths in behind as well. Now just remember, this is a short qualifying session because it's a double header. We are running a reverse race for race 2. Of course, the first race is going to be encompassing the wild card that we will be seeing tonight, which will be the 100% tyre wear challenge. So obviously, as soon as you puncture, as soon as those tyres have reached their brink and exploded, you come in for a new set, and that means you've obviously managed to do the wild card. Here comes Scotty up towards the line, 1.1 away from the top, does improve and brings it to just outside 8.5 tenths, but remains 10th fastest.
Yeah, it's a solid start so far. As we said, only 4.5 tenths down on his teammate and championship leader Tyre Marduk, because Tom 97 breaking the heart of Formula Kai there, 26.6. That is some good pace there for the Williams driver, jumping in. His teammate inside the top 7 as well. Now Becky B on their debut, ahead of some serious contenders. 2 former champions just in behind, Meraki and Tom, unable to get ahead of that Williams car on debut.
Rasin Chai on a personal improvement, as you would expect, because he's yet to register a single lap so far that is valid right now. Tom 97 looking to improve as well on the previous lap that he did set, which was the 1:26.670 that brought him to the top. Zafso's retired from the session, no surprise, but I'm sure we'll take solace from that stellar lap just to close out the day. As now we watch them head down through towards the final corners. Here comes Tom 97 now. Can the Williams once again grasp 2 hands on this pole position and add it to the plethora of stats that he has had? Yes, he will. A 1:26.399 does indeed go faster. What about Formula Karim? Can he etch his name higher than Tom 97's? He's arriving in tonight, 2nd in the championship. Would love a little bit more. Does improve, but it's not enough for provisional pole. Formula Kai also sat in 3rd. He's making his way around on a lap. He's coming up through now towards the line. Will remain 3rd fastest. Tyre Marduk up into 4th fastest, getting a useful tow off the back of the Aston Martin as well. What about Infratic, as now we see Rasin Chai hop from the bottom into P5. What about Fabio? Now in comes Infratic up towards the line in the Scuderia Ferrari. Is there an improvement? No. Quats comes 9th fastest as well. That guy Vince will stay in the bottom 10. Scotty will remain 13th. Here comes Tom. He'll move into 10th place in the Alpine. And Meraki, Season 4 champion, has not entered himself into the championship equation here this season, but looking to bounce back at least, maybe into the top 10, and he can't. Will remain 12th fastest and on the 6th row of the grid, at least for now. But as the timer now ticks to 0, we're into stoppage time. That's all she wrote. Tom97 is back on pole position. All 5 lights are indeed lit, and it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Great start for Tom97, equally good as well for Formula Karim, Formula Kai. Just in the back, we see Mercedes drifting off to the inside. That's Tiamat Marduk looking to try and defend the place against the imposing Formula Kai, and Tiamat Marduk losing a little bit of momentum coming out of turn 1 through towards turn 2. It's Tom97 though who still leads the way. Rasin Chai has managed to nudge his way into 3rd place as well, just ahead of Formula Kai, as well. We see many of the drivers already vigorously trying to warm their tyres up, heading through towards turn 4, but now coming out in towards turn 5 and 6. It's Tom97 on medium tyres. He's going long on the opening stint with Formula Karim in 2nd place. He's going on the softs, looking to bin them off early before beginning lap 2 of 29, as we now see Formula Karim look to join Tom97 as they peel off towards the pit wall side, and now down through towards turn 1 and feathering that throttle, powering it, foot to the floor, and now straight on the brakes as Formula Karim takes the lead prior to the apex, and Rasin Chai looking to follow him through as well. But Tom97 on the medium tyre, able to defend the place. Yellow flags up in sector 1, and Becky B is round. Becky B, as you can see in the distance, right at the very start of turn 1, turning around, and unfortunately now routed to the back of the order. But it's Formula Karim in front, and Tom97 has dropped down to 5th as well. He's lost a plethora of places to Rasin Chai now in 2nd, Formula Kai in 3rd, but they're going wheel to wheel still, as now Zafso enters the fight out of nowhere and moves up into P3 as he runs wheel to wheel with Formula Kai on the way down towards turn 9, and the Season 1 champion bursts back in, but he sustains damage to his front nose, and Karim has gone round 2.
Absolute carnage going on. The medium runs were all over the place. We've got a virtual safety car. Formula Kai with a 10-second penalty collision with Safso. It's Rasin Chai that got it all wrong there. You can see damage for Lolanoba in the Haas. Definitely damage for the Alpine of Rasin Chai. And that was a big, big error. Way too late on the brakes down to turn number 10. Almost sending Formula Cream into a spin. The McLaren managing to catch it. But that all sort of came from the medium runners. Tom97 and Tiamat Marduk losing a handful of places at exactly the same time. Dropping from 1st down into 5th was the Williams. Ben losing places as well as we go once again. And this could be the Season 1 champion potentially taking the lead, although they've both been caught short by Formula Karim down the inside of the penultimate corner. Razin's wounded with that damage. Will he jump into the pit lane at the end of the lap? No, I think he's going to try and stick it out. But as we start lap 3, the Season 1 champion is your race leader.
It looks like a Ferrari has stopped. Infratic has actually had a moment in Sector 3 as Zafso takes the fastest lap, and Infratic routed to the tail end. Now I think this is an instigation of trying to remove some of the tyre wear. I think either that or he's having some real problems in self-righting himself, as now there's another moment as that guy Vince goes round, and GP, and look at this, Scotty getting also pulled up at turn 1, and Becky B caught up in it as well. Chaos in the 1st sector, chaos at turn 1.
Super Noodle Bagel, I think, has got the same idea that Infratic had. Fabio has obviously punctured his tyres, but he's now found himself a lap behind everybody else. So whether that strategy is genius or delusional, we'll have to wait and see.
We certainly will, because bear in mind, whilst they are doing the donuts out on track to try and puncture the tyres, the others are still going around. Now, if they can build enough of a delta before they then puncture their own compounded tyre, then that could, I'm not sure whether it's going to sway the room more in those that are doing the donuts, or whether it's going to go in favour of those that are going to continue out on track. As it stands, they exit out of the final 2 corners and down through towards the start-finish line once again. Formula Kai picking up a 3-second time penalty. Now that is somewhat of a disaster, especially if the field is so tightly bunched. There is Super Noodle Bagel coming out of the pits now on a fresh compound of tyre as they now come down through towards turn 1. Formula Karim and Zafso wheel to wheel on the run out of the 1st corner. Zafso, though, has the better line coming out of turn 2 and will retain that P1 for now, but now the DRS in the favour of Karim. 2nd place in the championship, takes the lead here at Bahrain as Tom has a little look down the inside of Zafso. Can't plump for the move, but surely there's going to be plenty of moves in the offing in this initial stint. Many drivers, though, still need to box and allow them to fall away. And Rasin, yes, Rasin has got a puncher, so an early call. That's why he fell off. That's where the time had gone, and Rasin Yeah, coming out, he's now making his way through the middle sector. The only problem is that he's got to make his way around a majority of the circuit on very slow tyres and a puncture. His delta's going to fall away. Now, is this where those that actually did the donuts closer to the pit lane, is this where they flourish?
We might see it balance out, and that element of luck that has not fallen on the head of Razin Chai could come back to help the likes of Meraki and Infratic, we could say, tumbling through the field. Kareem's got a puncture. Just see him off in the background there. That's worked out a little bit better for him, just coming as they exit sector number 2, but he's going to have to do these final couple of corners. So here's the first of this lead group that we had. Razin had just got a little bit disconnected. And he's going to be, 20 seconds at most, at least, clear of that Alpine car. So working out for the McLaren, not for the Alpine.
2/3 of the circuit to deal with, and there's another one. That's Zafso. Zafso also picking up a puncture, very nearly losing the car altogether as well, almost in the same fashion where Noiguera very nearly lost it altogether too. Now Tom has got the race lead. Now the question is, when does his puncture arrive? He'll be hoping sooner rather than later, ideally right now.
Burn them up as early as possible. Tom's
there
gone.
We go.
That's another driver with a rear puncture in the first sector. He's got a front left as well. He's got 2 punctures. This is surely going to be race over for Tom.
No.
Oh, you have to feel for him. Heart goes out for Tom Biener. That is race over. I find it very hard to believe that he's going to be able to get that back to the pits. We have the virtual safety car, but I think Tom's done now.
Yeah, getting that car back to the pits is going to be very, very difficult. Now he's got to try and self-right himself and get himself out of that off-track position, move back onto the circuit, and then make his way around the rest of it in order to get back to the pits. That is going to be heartbreak for the Alpine. And currently still stagnant there on the side of the road. Not ideal at all. Tom has been disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location, which is going to be an utter disaster for him in terms of this race. No points will be scored.
Well, I think he's now 99% rear left, so I would not be surprised if this goes pop down into turn number 1. Watching for that Williams to start really struggling.
Yes!
There it is. We see it live. The worst possible spot, and I always think that is the position where you've got to do the donuts. Off into the gravel goes the race leader. Tom 97 could be suffering the same fate that ruined the afternoons of not just Safso, but Negera as well, as Formula Kareem soldiers on, and he's going to take a big, big chunk out of Tyre McMurdoch's championship lead.
Yeah, and that will very, very certainly take Tom 97 out of this race equation as well. Karim has got 9 laps on his medium tyres. He will surely go on to become a race winner once again. Tom 97, the other one's lost. Yeah, he's sunk into the gravel trap. That will surely be, much like Tom, a retirement. That will be a disqualification for Tom 97, obviously being beached off into a gravel. That will be recorded though as a DNF at the end of the race. Obviously nothing he can do about that. He is in the gravel trap and he has lost more than 1 tyre already. Now you can see the disqualification from the session. Parked in a dangerous location. He will not be making it to the checkered flag. And Lolinoba at risk here because GB's on his tail here, Tom.
100%. He's going to pull out to the right-hand side of the circuit, and this should be very, very easy work. Through goes GB up ahead of the Haas. I think Formula Kai is going to follow suit as well. Is he satisfied with just the 1 overtake? It looks like he is. Happy to slot in behind GB. So from 2nd down into 4th, Lolinoba now struggling on those ailing medium tyres. There's an opportunity for somebody like Razin Chai, somebody like Tim McMullet to take chunks of time out of the Haas as well. Lolly needs to make sure he doesn't count his chickens just yet, because he could lose even more places if those tyres continue to degrade at the rate they have done. And for the wildcard, Formula Cream has been the master here at Bahrain. He may be struggling on his tyres, but he rounds the final corner to win race number 1 at Sakir. And that is a huge, huge statement for the driver second in the championship, because he finishes race 1 at the top of the tree.
Formula Karim, 5 times a race winner this season. What a tremendous effort. And that is his 5th Creator Series F1 race win as well to boot. GB coming home in 2nd place for the 2nd time this campaign as well. Last time, of course, managing to achieve it at Australia in round 8. Well, he's managed to take a 2nd one this time. Yet another podium going his way. And Lolinoba apparently running out of fuel. And he was in a great position, especially on his soft tyres as well. But now, in free fall down the order, that'll move Becky B into 7th place as well. So well done, Becky. Oh no, Lolinoba did get across the line. Tim McMurdoch will finish in 6th though. Will not be taken on by Lolinober. Of course, we did see Lolly move ahead of the Aussie, but Blackmere coming now up towards the line. He'll finish in 9th place with Zafso making it 2 RBs inside the top 10, round in the final corner this time on his medium compound of tyre to round off his race. All 5 lights are indeed lit, and it will be pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 and Infratic has actually picked up a drive-through penalty right at the very start. Got the leap of his life, but just a little bit too quick as they head down through towards turn 1, and it's Tom who leads the way. Tom 97 in second, further back the 2 Ferraris, now currently sat 3 and 4, but we know that Noiguera will hold third with Infratic coming into the pit surely in the next lap or so in order to serve that drive-through penalty. Quats in 5th, Super Noodle Bagel in 6th place as well. Safso down in 7th as they peel through, heading through towards the first sector. Zafso got a brilliant start. Remember, P11 at the start of the race. He's already inside the top 10, and in P7 as Scott Taylor blasts past Scotty, who has fallen through a fleet of places as they fight and tussle. Heading through turn 8, there was what looked to be a kick Sabra. I think that must have been F1 Alex going wide coming out of turn 8, but it's Tom 97 who takes the lead back, and he will now lead the train through towards turn 11 with Tom in second, Noiguera still in third. As the Mercedes engine-powered McLaren meets the Mercedes itself, coming through towards turn 8. Tim Mardik knows he must get past at least one of them because Quats is holding him back, and here comes Karim coming in towards turn 8, and they're going to go wheel to wheel again as they look to fight in sector 2, and Tim Mardik past the sister McLaren. Quats was left stagnant as they're now coming towards turns 9 and 10. Tim Mardik now with a nose in P5 will have the better line on the run through towards turns 11 as they now all flurry coming through this next back straight. In towards turn 11 they go, and the Mercedes moves on up. Quats had no defence. It's the Aussie Diamond up into 5th place as Karim is allowed through by his good friend, teammate and colleague, Quats.
Well, he was under the cosh there, wasn't he, Tim Mardik, but making the most of his teammate being in front. But look at this, Ben with a poor run coming into the final sector, side by side, the 2 championship protagonists into the penultimate corner. Karim up over the curb. If he wins this race, he takes the lead of the championship, everybody. Still neck and neck coming out of it, but Ben just about in the ascendancy, darting over to the right-hand side of the circuit. This battle going to continue as they pass the Ferrari. Nogueira on the left-hand side, ducking back over to the left they go. Quats stranded a little bit on the outside, but it's Tim Mardik for the moment. Round 1 going to the Mercedes.
Certainly is. He's returned the serve on Formula Karim now once again as they look to come out of turn 3. He's off the road here as the 2 of them come together just on the off track, but they got to watch out for Noiguera here. He has opened up the first stint on the medium tyres. At this rate, Noiguera could be the outsider to take a podium here. Here comes Karim once more at the inside of Tim Mardik and will indeed take that 4th place.
It's only really Karim and Tim Mardik that have the option to go for the one stop, and as we say it, Tom Biener is coming down pit road along with Formula Kai as Karim stays out of Meraki. Here we go. Is 97 coming in? Yes, he is. And now we've got a race on our hands, everybody.
We certainly do. There's quite a gap in between those that are in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th to Tom 97 at the moment, but here comes Formula Karim, who's going to cross the line in a bid to become a back-to-back winner here at Bahrain. He started 20th on the grid. He now leads this race with 10-lap-old mediums attached to his chassis. Noiguera in 2nd, looking for a huge result. A victory here in the Creator Series would mean a lot to him and the Ferrari team. Lolinober setting the fastest lap as now out comes Tom 97, and Tom Biener takes essentially what we believe to be the net lead. That depends on whether those further up do decide to box, but why? Why would you? If you're Tim Mardik, you've got to go to the end. If you're Meraki, you've got to go to the end. Surely, on these medium tyres that you've already strapped to your car, it's going to be a defensive masterclass or bust if you are Tim Mardik or Meraki. But the big question is, Noiguera on his 8-lap-old soft, surely he's got to think about boxing. And what about Karim? Karim in front with the championship lead as it stands. Tim Mardik in 2nd place and on his tail, and a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car, not a full one, a virtual safety car, VSC. Here as the drivers make their way through the middle sector, and we've got a full safety car now. It's been upgraded. It's all or nothing, a sprint to the finish. It's Formula Karim who takes them through, just weaving, getting some heat into those tyres prior to the restart. He will, of course, be the one to send them onwards as they now look to get back underway, and just like magic, they'll put pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now. It's Formula Karim who takes them down through towards turn 1 as they now sprint down through towards the first corner here on lap 28 of 29. Penultimate lap now underway as wheel to wheel they go in a battle over P3, Meraki and Noiguera. Noiguera losing out, Meraki moves into third, so the champion from Season 4 now looking to converge against his title rival from Season 4 and also fellow champion, a two-time champion in Tyre Marduk. The two Williamses going side by side, coming through towards turn 4 as well as Becky B and Tom 97, who's looking to try and move his way into P5. GB down in 7th, of course, got caught up in the chaos earlier on, now looking to recover as we now watch them come out of turn 8. It's Karim though who leads, and he's trying to gap Ben desperately. He's 9/10 clear as now they take this next run, this back straight through towards turn 11, and Gwatz has retired. They certainly are. Nothing between them. Nose to tail. The gap thinner than a fly's eyelash. And Benjamin Daly could be on the cusp of greatness. Karim could be on the cusp of 6 race wins. But they're going to go together as Karim looks to break the toe away. Almost Max Verstappen-esque from 2021 after overtaking Hamilton at turn 5. As they now come out of the final 2 corners, however, it's Formula Karim. 5 times a race winner becomes 6 times a race winner. And championship lead advantage goes his way. With 2 rounds to go, Karim answers the call. Tyre Marduk in second place for Mercedes. Meraki in third as well. 2 former champions sit on the podium, with Noiguera down in 4th place as well. Tom 97 down in 5th. GB in 6th. Tom in 7th. Lolinober in 8th. Formula Kai in 9th place. And Becky B rounds out the top 10.
As we got a replay of what happened at GB, so let's analyse this and see what happened. So going into the left, and he just absolutely rips off the tyre through the left. It is very easy to do. You have to be millimetres away from that wall on the inside.
The championship leader, Formula Karim, has gone purple in the first couple of sectors, so should be taking Meraki's provisional pole time away. Ben up into 3rd, Nogueira up into 4th, separated by 4 milliseconds. Holding it in 7th gear is the Williams of Melanie, down into turn number 27. I think Karim may have bailed out of it. Bit of a wobble on exit. No, there is the Papaya McLaren in front, and Karim does smash the time set by Meraki by 1/3 of a 10th. Melanie up to the line, and it is an improvement by 3/4 of a second, staying in P16.
Business as usual for Formula Karim. It looked like, just as we cut away there, the McLaren and the Williams were going to get a little bit racy as they went down in towards turn 1, and there was a yellow flag momentarily. That's probably just Melanie getting out of the way and making sure she's off track for those who are on flying laps. But Formula Karim shoots to the top, and it is business as usual up there. Meraki, though, just that consistency around Saudi. He's always been on the podium every single time around here, and he's up in 2nd position. Who's going to be in that bottom 5? Who's going to get knocked out? As of course, GB and Razin Shah would definitely both put themselves to that. Ricky 03, though, is on the cusp. And it's going to be up to Mr. Dale, Melanie, or Adam Sanderson to see whether they can do that. It's not going to be Dale, though.
And one of the Ferraris had a bit of a whoopsie as well, coming out of Sector 1. You can see that red dot still stationary, or just getting on the move now, coming up into turn 13. Here is the Season 2 champion, though, the winner of the race in Season number 2. Alex Gillen round in the final corner, needs a significant jump up on this time. Not sure how much he's improving by, but as we cross the line for Alex Gillen from 12th up into 4th, just ahead of his teammate, just ahead of his old sparring partner, Tyre Marduk. Formula Karim, though, absolutely flying, up by 1/4 of a second, and this could even break into the 127s if he manages to absolutely nail turn 27. The newly crowned championship leader, the reigning F2 champion, the rockstar rookie in the F1 Creator Series for the first time as a full-time driver. A little bit of a wag of the tail coming out of 27, but now just pulling gears all the way up to the line we go. Is this extending the margin out front? You bet it's extending the margin out front. 28.2. Ben chasing him down, though, and missing out by 1/3 of a 10th. That's the best qualifying lap from Tyre Marduk in quite some time, but Meraki also finding time. This is going to be incredibly tight between this leading trio. Lolinober up into 4th. What can Meraki do? The Season 4 champion takes it away, stealing a march on Karim, stealing a march on Tyre Marduk, the only driver in the 28.1s. Brilliant last-ditch effort from Jacob, buzzer beater to steal pole right at the death. 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and for the penultimate time on F1 24. It is lights out, and we are underway here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Even Steven start for the leading duo. Lauren closing up to the back of the reigning champion, but down into turn number 1 we go. Formula Cream a little bit bulked on the inside and straight away having to deal with his nearest championship challenger. Side by side, the two protagonists, where I think the Papaya McLaren just about going to hold station in second. Ahead of Team at Marlett, Lauren and Formula Kai rounding out our top 5. And as it looks, everything has been quite orderly so far.
Hold firm and stay a 1-2 between him and Formula Krim. He knows that Krim's smart and can work together, but Lolinoba, an aggressive driver, wants to get up there too. But so does Tom. He doesn't care about working together. He wants to go for the content. He wants to go for the move. And Team Marduk looking to get involved as well. It's 3 wide between them. Formula Krim has gone from 1st down to 5th in just 1 straight. And he's going to be very disappointed with that as Team at Marduk and Tom still go side by side. Can they get through cleanly? Yes, they can. Was Tom pushed off the circuit though? Will he pick up a warning? They're still taking it side by side through the first sector. And Team at Marduk wisely backs out of that one. He's got a championship to fight for and he does not want to lose the lead train as his championship rival is going for a look down in towards the hairpin.
Very close quarters racing indeed. Tom on the move and in the groove is on the outside. Lolinoba getting a little bit boxed in behind the Red Bull and Meraki having to concede defeat to Tom, who swings it around the outside of 27. Formula Cream dropping down to 6th place as well, though is still side by side with Alex Gillen coming out of the final corner. We're going to cut the beam, start lap number 10. And what order are we going to be in by the time we get to the braking zone? Look at this, 6 cars, you can throw a blanket over them. They're so close together. Lolinoba now leads the race. Tom around the outside of Meraki, Ben and Cream and Alex still having it out for 4th, 5th and 6th places respectively. The reigning champion gets ahead of the championship leader. Tom having to concede defeat also to Meraki in the battle for 2nd and 3rd. But it's Lolinoba who was just smashed into the inside barrier. Nearly collects Team at Marduk. Nearly collects Formula Cream. Alex Gillen getting through unscathed as well. And what a cataclysmic error that is. He'd just taken the lead for the very first time and doing what GB did in qualifying, pitches it in the barrier and ending his day slightly early. And I tell you what, time flies because that is nearly 2 years ago. Would you believe me if I said that? We're going once again though, as we're going to start lap number 13 with the Season 4 champion leading the Season 3 champion and the 2 main championship protagonists side by side. Ben trying to make the most of those soft tyres on the restart. If he drops behind Formula Cream, that would be the worst possible outcome, but there's contact, a flashpoint between the 2 main challengers. Kareem into the side of Ben, who's losing places, is he? No, just that one to the Papaya McLaren car. Formula Kai wasn't close enough to try and snaffle up and snatch up the opportunity that presented itself by that little collision. Alex Gillen nose to tail as well with the kick Sauber in front, and GB benefiting from the safety car also right back in this lead battle. But wow, I wasn't expecting that. Adam Sanderson's thrown it into the barrier. Virtual safety car called
as they head down in towards the first corner now. Team at Marduk still on the back of this train. Formula Kai just dropping off ever so slightly, but still within half a second of the rest of the guys up at the front. And here comes Meraki looking to try and take back the lead of the race. Karim wants to get involved in it as well. Can he get past the Alpine? Not quite. He's got to back out of that one, and he just stays ahead of Team at Marduk. Has a little switchback though, heading down in towards turn 4. It's a difficult overtaking opportunity. He's going to try it though, round the outside of turn 4. Can he hold it? He's going to try it. Tom leaves the space, and I don't think he's going to pull it off, and he doesn't. But now Team at Marduk has a little look on the inside, but through sector 1 it's pretty much one line for all of here, and he's got to wait now in towards the banked hairpin.
Team Nevada trying to get back involved. Formula Cream also tucked right underneath the rear wing of Tom here. They've managed to close back up to Meraki, and with the DRS flap open, Tom's slightly vulnerable, and this could be a couple of places picked up for the new championship leader. Gets one ahead of Tom, dangles the nose of that McLaren up the inside into turn 22, and just about gets the position one and done. But look who's now lurking behind. Team at Marduk's up into 2nd place, couple of places picked up by the Mercedes also, and this is going to be incredibly tight. Kai comes out of absolutely nowhere. Have you ever seen the like in the Creator Series? 7 cars separated by what's about half a second. Jake finds himself now down in 7th position, and out of all of this, tell me how it's happened. Team at Marduk now leads the race.
From Alex Gillen as well. Formula Kai is having a look down the outside in towards turn 1. Also looks like GB. What a drive he's having up to P5 at the moment. Kai holds it from Tom in P2.
Razin Chai, another former champion, getting in the mixer as well. Those are going to be 3 wide in the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. Formula Kai now leading this race. Team Marduk from 1st down into 3rd, although still side by side with Tom Beener, the 2 drivers that battled for the Season 3 champion, battling once more coming out of the final corner to end lap number 16. Alex Gillen getting involved as well, sniffing an opportunity to try and put some pain on some of his main rivals. Down the inside has a look with Gillen. Kareem way too late on the brakes, locking the rears. Contact between himself and Tom, both of them keeping it pointing on the straight and narrow. Meraki being shuffled down once again. He's now 8th place. Razin's come out of absolutely nowhere after after starting from 19th on the grid, dangling the nose of the Scarlet Ferrari down the inside of 4 is GB. We have a safety car. I don't know what it's for. It might be Dale who spun coming out of turn 2. Yes, it is. That ends what was a fantastic battle. Backing the pack up to some tune, and now bolting and catching Team at Monaco a little bit unawares. Look at that incredible restart from the Kick Sauber, yet to win a race so far in his Creator Series career. Does have a pole position at Monaco, but this is a completely different kettle of fish, and leaving Team at Monaco to deal with Alex Gillen, who has a little look up the inside into turn number 1, but thinks better of it. And in particular, Meraki will be desperate to try and come through. Yellow flag thrown in the first sector. I think that could be the Red Bull of Dale. In the Barrett, we catch it absolutely perfectly. There is safety car number 3. Dale's race ending early once more. That is now 41 retirements in the Creator Series. And we are down to 17 as Dale, not for the first time, getting involved in a bit of a bump, a bit of a scrape, and ending his night early. Will it be the same tactic, or will he try something different? And what can Alex Gillen do in response? I think he is going for a very similar tactic, and it's worked not quite as well as it did before, but still got himself 0.6 of a second over the V-Carb in front as Kai buries his right foot into the floor. And we start lap number 24. Still everybody not halfway through this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as we kickstart another stint in this race as we prepare for what will be the 4th safety car period, surely coming in 5 or 6 laps time. Kai leading from Gillen, Tom, Formula Cream and Razin rounding out our top 5. How quickly can the reigning champion Team at Monaco, Nogueira and GB fight their way back through the field and find themselves squabbling once more with the leading contenders?
It seems to be the way amongst these guys in the lead. They just kind of, switch positions a little bit, but then a couple of laps later, there's 5 of them absolutely fighting down in towards the final corner and seeing who can come out on top. It is Alex Gillen who leads the way down in towards the first corner. He won't get that advantage of DRS down towards here, but Formula Kai will get that instead. Might be able to take that position back. Really aggressively goes defensive as Tom looking to find his way through. Alex breaks late. Is it too late? Yes, it is. And he's going to have to lose out a lot of positions. That's down to Karim Razin. He's dropped down to 5th. He's going to be side by side with Meraki in towards turn 4. He backs out of that one. Meraki on the inside. And that is a very rare mistake there from Alex Gillen. As Tom's getting a fantastic slipstream off Formula Kai. He hasn't got any DRS, has Kai. So it's going to be a 3-way battle down towards the first corner. Tom around the outside. Can Kai keep it on the inside? Yes, he can. But Razin is round and it's the front wing gone. He's not holding the brakes and but he may have lost his front wing. But I think he's taken about 10 other drivers' front wings with him as well. The Kick Sauber was nearly done for as well there as well. And it's a virtual safety car. How many times can you say as well? That was incredible. The final corner potentially in towards turn 1 as Alex looks up the inside. It's side by side between these two once more through the final corner. Great respect given between Alex Gillen and Tom as they now head down in towards the first corner. But here comes Formula Karim, the championship leader, as he heads now down in towards the first turn. Kai still leads the way, and whilst these drivers are battling behind him, this is perfect for him because it allows him just to stay in that perfect bubble of staying in P1. With only 13 laps left to go of this race. Team at Marduk now fancies a chance on the top 2. He's going to split the middle. No, he's not. He's going to shoot to the left. It's 3 wide. Oh, there's contact. Did he just about tap the barrier on the left-hand side? Karim's been forced off the circuit. Kai is round. And it looks like he might have collected Tom as well. No, Tom just about narrowly avoiding that. Infratic's now back up into 3rd position. GB, who started in 17th place in this race, finds himself in 2nd on the hunt of TMF Marduk on the same tyre life as the Mercedes driver as well. And that was chaos as TMF Marduk and Karim separated by 1 point going into this race thanks to the intermediates pole that he achieved. There is a yellow in sector 1. Formula Kai out of this race. This will be confirmation if there is no more safety cars, and because we're on lap 48 there is not. Meraki's doing donuts, so he wants to inspect to make sure that Kai's okay. No, I think those two actually came together because we saw that Razin Shai and Meraki were catching up to Formula Kai. They were having a battle. Kai's come off worse for it, and these two are scrapping out as well. Karim and TMF Marduk go wheel to wheel. One of them was off the circuit.
6 kilometres just about to go as GB snatches the lead back from Tom Bina into the final corner of the penultimate lap of this 50-lap Grand Prix. And now we're going to see the big moment. Is Tom going to have the hammer thrown down? And yes, he is. Failed to use required tyre compounds. He is gone, thrown into the shadow realm as Alex Gillen coming out of nowhere like a tracer bullet into turn 1. Karim was way too late on the brakes. 3 into 1 is not going to go either. Alex Gillen's been afforded the opportunity to scamper off into the distance. He was up the inside of GB. Formula Cream chucked the McLaren up the inside as well. More contact between the Aston Martin and the Papaya McLaren car. And Tim Mark has been able to slide through up into second place as well. I think Kareem was maybe a little bit desperate there down into turn number 1. He's been bulletproof so far this season, shown no signs of thinking about the championship battle. But I think there he was just a little bit over-ambitious and maybe ended GB's chances of winning this race as well. Who would have thought it? Box office between Alex Gillen and Tyre McMurdoch. Formula Cream still fighting for pride. GB shuffled down from first into fourth. What order are we going to be in by the time we get to the braking zone of turn number 27? We're in the same order. GB lunges the inside, trying to snatch second place away from Tyre McMurdoch. But as we exit the final corner, go Gillen go is what he says. He's charging towards the line and returning to the top step, just about ahead of his nearest rival. The sparring partners finished first and second. Gillen ahead of Tyre McMurdoch, GB running off the podium, and Formula Cream paying a heavy price for that 3-second penalty over the line in fourth place. And we do have liftoff nearly. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And for the sprint in Las Vegas, we are racing. Short run down into turn number 1, and how quickly can the main protagonists get themselves up to the front of the field. And Cutter Lucas has had an absolute stormer off the line. There was a V-carb launching it down the inside, and there is Adam Sanderson thrown into the Armco on the right-hand side, losing a whole host of places and dropping from the front of the grid right to the back of it. Tom Bean up into second place. Excellent start for the Season 3 champion, with Safso, the Season 1 champ, on the move as well, battling away with F1 Alex over third and fourth. Kareem, this is potentially it. He's got to try and make his way through very, very quickly, but Ben's got the advantage at the moment, as we see a little bit of front wing damage, and 4 wide just behind. Still battling in sixth position. Mike Stasio started from first, lost a whole host as there's contact now going down to the tight turn number 12. And look at this, jinking all over the place. There's a Haas going slowly. I think Lolanova's been balked a little bit as he leaks a lot of places. But Tom is up into the lead of the race, snatching it off the hands of Cutter Lucas.
As we make our way through this Grand Prix, like 3 of 9 yellow flags further back as that guy Vince makes an early retirement, and I think it's just a yellow flag, but that's in the middle of the circuit. Makes his way through as well. So F1 Alex once again down to P7 and getting a 3-second time penalty to boot.
That is very early to pick up a 3-second penalty. There's contact. Big crash at the back. Kareem's out of the race. Ben's out of the race. We didn't quite catch it. But the two that joined Vince on the sidelines, massive crash down into 14, is the 2 main championship challengers. What has gone on there? Lots of drivers involved. Adam Sanderson's got no front wing. Somehow the safety car hasn't been called out. Diving into the pits goes Skyzy as well. We were waiting for a spark to try and light it up here in Vegas. Kareem and Ben both gone.
Now Ben's going for the charge. He's going for the overtake on Scott Taylor. Both of them flashing, both of them saving battery. Kareem giving Ben a bit of a bump draft to just encourage that impetus to get the overtake done so he can follow him through. As you can see, Ben builds a bit of a gap as Kareem switches to none. And then it's that contact there, as I think Ben brakes a tiny bit earlier. Kareem not expecting it. As a result, contact made. Scott gets pinted on the right-hand side. Ben immediately into the wall, and it's absolute carnage. Kareem tries to rejoin the circuit into the path of Adam Sanderson. And in a flash, both championship contenders at an absolutely critical moment bow out in this sprint race.
And now we can solely focus on the battle to try and pick up a race victory, because Safso, the Season 1 champion, on the move and in the groove, pulling out to the middle of the circuit, and is going to take the lead off the hands of the Season 3 champion. 2 former champs battling it out right at the sharp end of the field.
Who your money or your bets are on for this afternoon? 1 lap to go to decide the sprint race results here. 6 cars in contention, and Infratic starts to make his moves.
I think that was actually maybe a bit of a blunder from Tom, slightly late on the brakes, almost had to inadvertently dive down the inside of Safso, and Infratic saying thank you very much, an opportunity to get up into second place, which is probably the best position to be coming onto the strip straight to end the lap. Down the inside we go with Tom trying to nab second place back. Ricky 03, can he try and pick up the scraps, potentially looking for a first win in the Creator Series? But it's the Portuguese in the Ferrari up into second position. Sound the alarm bells, everybody. Fabio might be about to win. one of, if not the most seasoned campaigner right at the start of this train. 3/10 the margin. Fabio, knees weak, arms are sweating. Here he comes, moving over to the left-hand side of the track. This is an opportunity to win for the first time. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Safso. There's just enough space around the outside to repel the assault. We were 3 wide behind and we can only just see them in the background. Is it the Season 1 champion? Is it the Season 3 champion? Tom up the inside. Fabio's getting bulked. He moves over to the right. Who is it going to be over the line? It's Tom nicking it up the inside. The top 3 covered by a 1/10 of a second. Crossing the line sideways with Nick Flies. And it's the Season 3 champion Tom returning to the top step. He won the sprint in China. He wins the sprint in Vegas by 13 milliseconds ahead of the Season 1 champion. Fabio missing out by a 1/10. That's the closest he's ever been to a victory. But what a finish. Pretty decent on it on F123 as well, so there's certainly some form behind Meraki. Not going to pick up the championship, but is still fighting for 3rd spot in the overall standings. And diving back into the pits, Razin smashes the benchmark though. First driver into the 129s by some distance as well. 4/10 clear of Infratic, who's jumped up into 2nd place. Fabio is absolutely on it as well, 30.2, currently holding a spot on the front row. Safso with an improvement 2nd time around, also jumping into 4th with a 30.5.
Certainly is, and Kai makes it even quicker for the Kicksab as a 129.7, just pipping out Razin there by just over half of a second. Oh, sorry, half a 10th between the two of them, should I say. And Razin Chai, as it stands, will start on the front row, but alongside Formula Kai, who looks to make one of his first pole position entries here in the F1 Creator Series. Lots of other drivers still on laps as well. Of course, Timo Mardik, I think, making his way through, putting the car up to P12 after his earlier Inter's pole attempt, getting an almighty tow from his teammate Adam Sanderson, but wasn't quite enough.
Shiraskazi improves by a couple of positions and a couple of 10ths as well, slotting just ahead of his teammate. That guy Vince, bit of a slide coming through turn number 1, but matters not. And this has been impressive from Skies, he has to say. Just been bumped down into 7th as Kareem first representative time on the board with a 29.8, just under a 10th down on Formula Kai.
As Ben does go purple in the 2nd sector, at least according to the track map in the bottom right hand side of your screen. The checkered flag flies here in qualifying. No more attempts shall be began to try and set the fastest lap time as Safso dives into the pit lane and retires alongside Cutter Lucas. So we'll be next across the line, I believe, a Williams, followed by the Mercedes duo of Timo Mardik and Adam Sanderson.
Well, it wasn't a brilliant middle sector. He was about 3/10 down on Formula Kai, so this might be in the region of a low 1:30 unless he absolutely nails the final sector. Here comes the reigning champion. Important lap to get on the board. Where is it going to put him? It's only 6th at the moment. Infratic, brilliant lap up to 3rd. Tom crosses the line, and he is only in 7th. Razin Chai enters the pits. Formula Kai is down by 2/10. This is an opportunity for Formula Cream to snatch pole right at the death with his main rival down in 6th.
Well, 2/10 and well, nearly 3/10 improvement for Formula Karim as he makes his way through the 2nd sector. All important run down towards the final flat out corner. Left-hander to try and take. Could he try and close the deficit even more by starting from the front? Yes, he can. Formula Karim will take pole position here in Las Vegas, and the championship hopes for Timo Mardik are surely dwindling now as there's a 7-place deficit between the McLaren and the Mercedes. A team once united, now divided under the lights. We are going to have lights above our heads very, very quickly. We got 2, 3, 4 and 5, and under the lights here in Las Vegas, the lights go out and we go racing. It's a good pull away from our 2 pole sitters. It's Karim on the outside, it's Kai on the inside, and Karim with a leadable advantage in towards the first corner. Kai stepped further back trying to deal with Fabio, who's also had a good launch off the line. Razin Chai's also there with M-Sky-Z wanting to try and make an early impression as he falls half a second back off the leading quartet. Meraki and Deco Vince making waves as well further back. We are going to have several 2x2 moments in towards the first sector as everybody else settles themselves through. Meraki and Skyzy there going side by side, and it is going to be the Aston Martin, the reservist that's stepping in this afternoon, who comes out on top. This could be Meraki playing the patient game at the moment. Further down, it's Ricky and Nick Flies having a good old scrap as we make our way through the first of 50 laps here. Safso getting past Tom, 2 former champions, as Tom returns the favour and puts that Alpine back up into P9. It's lots of first lap moves here, but nothing yet secure for the championship for either driver, Tom.
and Kareem. Be interesting to see what Ben does on this lap as diving into the pits. They all file into the pits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in they come. Who's going to pick up the 10-second penalty? The customary 10-second penalty. Well, congratulations, everybody. Round of applause. They managed to stop on their marks and make sure they don't get a speeding in the pit penalty. Ben, Tom and Lolinoba staying out. They're going longer, going for the overcut as well, as Kareem most certainly there was putting on the medium tyres.
In the Grand Prix as well. They will have to make at least one more pit stop as the yellow flags further back. Safety car here in Vegas, I think. Who stopped on track? Who was that causing all of the chaos? I'm trying to figure it out. Was it Mike Sacchio? He rounds the pit straight. Is he going to be able to do it? It's incredibly close on pit exit. Karim and Kai, I think, just pip it out, or I think it's going to be Timo Marek that actually splits the two drivers.
And he's on the soft compound tyres as well, so you do not want to miss this restart. The reigning champion from just happy to sit in behind, hold firm in 6th, 7th, maybe even 8th place, save a little bit of fuel, is now going to be able to unleash the pace that he's got in his back pocket. Those soft tyres have got as well.
Rain is still imminently in the future as the dark clouds in the background of this Vegas skyline do boom and reckon. But it's foot to the floor for Formula Kai to get this race underway once again. Karim looks to the inside line, almost pinched away as front wing damage. I'm trying to figure out who that was to. Is that to the Alpine further back of Tom?
I think it's Razin who's wounded and once again falling on the wrong side of the luck. It's definitely one of the Alpines. It might be Tom who's trying to swing it around the outside of Infrati. Got half a front wing on his car, but that is absolutely picture perfect stuff. Fabio might have a little bit of front wing damage as well as he falls through the field from 4th, I think he was, down into 9th. And I think I can just see the left-hand end plate missing on that Scarlet Ferrari car. What went on there? Big cluster. Kareem saying, what is he doing? Not 100% sure who he's referring to, but he has just about come through unscathed. Being squeezed. Are we diving into the pits? We can't see the Mercedes and the Sauber. 2 of them are going to come in. 2 of them are going to stay out.
Which way is going to be the better way to solve this pit stop conundrum? Timo Marek and Formula Kai in towards the pits. This time around, Karim and Razin Chai deciding to stay out alongside Ricky 03 and that guy Vince. So there are drivers opting and deciding the track is still viable in terms of grip on the slick tyres, and they are going to see, well, just how much grip this track still has to offer. And Razin Chai and Karim cannot afford to battle at the moment as they make their way through this Grand Prix. We're being told Karim thinks it was a mistake to stay out. I'm sure we'll see you come through in just a moment.
Yeah, he was 4 tenths quicker than Kareem in the middle sector. Obviously lost a little bit of time coming out of the pit, stuck behind Formula Kai. There they are, and it's not going to be small. It's a sizable gap between 2nd and 3rd place. It was absolutely the correct decision to come in on the previous lap. And look at that, Kareem and Razin actually have a Haas of Lolinoba to deal with. Bit of a slide as Kareem tries to get those tyres up to temperature. And Lolly back in this race as well for a potential podium finish. The gap is 1.3 seconds between Kai and Kareem.
Oh, safety car.
Oh.
Where's that come from? I can't see. Infrati, maybe? The only driver that I can see going slowly and not in the pits at all, yeah.
So, it's Vince's AI. Keep a close eye here. Obviously extremely slow, extremely erratic. You can probably guess where this goes next. So, Meraki's managed to clear the errant Aston Martin car. We've got Adam Sanderson deploying the electrical energy all the way down through the last corner, and he pulls to the inside. Fabio tries to follow him through, and as you can see, well, yeah, need I say any more? Big contact, big snap and a tank slapper from Adam Sanderson. Infrati caught up. I am shocked he didn't retire because it was a big hit for the Ferrari faithful.
Going side by side with Timo Marek here, who has the opportunity to try and cut that first or cut the last corner and dominate all the space if he wishes to do so. Kai puts his foot to the floor. We're going to go green flag racing once again on lap 32 of 50 in towards the first corner. And there's a side-by-side battle further back as Chai and Lolinoba having a good old scrap between the both of them. It's Chai that gets the advantage over the Italian at the moment. And how long is it until the tyres start to heat up where they can try and form a response?
In the wet, we of course don't have the advantage of the DRS, but I don't think that's going to stop somebody like Formula Cream in the tracks. But as we say that, collision once again down in 14, 15 and 16. Ryan is out of the session. We do finally have our first retirement, just as we were seeing discussions about people not wanting to retire because they would have to speak to Hayden Gullis, but we are eventually down to 19, and that was quite a short one, wasn't it?
And of course, it all comes down to the final few laps of racing. Weaving by Formula Kai, getting the tyres up to a little bit more temperature. And when's he going to go? He puts his foot to the floor. The green flags will fly. And we'll go racing once again in Vegas. And it's going to be a great restart from Lolly Noba. And he tries to chance it around the outside of Razin Chai, braking on the exit curbs there. Can't necessarily get the car slowed as much as he would have liked. But he's still side by side with Razin Chai. He's aside. Now he's ahead of the Haas car. Can progress to try and charge forth to Formula Karim, who's on the pigtails of Timo Mardik as Formula Kai still leads. Gets his way past Nick Flies with his battle for the lead here. Timo Mardik looking towards the inside line. Karim potentially to the outside line as Kai can't quite decide which way he's going to defend. He's going to go almost 2 wide. It looked to be 3 wide for a moment. Timo Mardik later on the brakes in towards the penultimate few corners here. Kai tries to hang it around the outside. Karim touches with the wall. Here comes Lolly Noba as we come towards the 37th lap of this Grand Prix. Timo Mardik takes the race lead. The rain has stopped. Lolly Noba down the inside of Formula Kai now, looking to try and mount a challenge late in the day. For the DRS to become enabled again, and that's generally the sign that a circuit is clean to use. Scott Taylor retires, and the final few corners, safety car once again. I was hoping that nobody was going to crash into the rather stationary and or moving at the same time V car. Of course, the lapped car does ghost, fortunately, allowing everybody through and past, but he's now a lapped car down in P18. This is going to be an interesting situation where the car is probably a permanent moving roadblock, or should I say static roadblock, at least for the next 10 or so laps. Well, all eyes on the drivers. Timo Mardik will take his first safety car restart of this Grand Prix. Lolly Noba will follow in behind him with Formula Karim in P3. Formula Kai, who's led so much of this race, will start from P4. Let's keep an eye. Ben puts his foot to the floor. The green flag will fly. And this time, Formula Karim not squeezed to the inside line. Immediately released by Lolly Noba. And our 2 championship contenders once again can be at wit's end with one another. Timo Mardik and Formula Karim make their way through as we start lap 42 of 50, and this is going to be a championship deciding sprint. And now finds himself in P5 within the DRS of the drivers in front. Timo Mardik leads and could be a sitting duck as DRS will come to our drivers not this lap but next lap as Formula Kai takes Formula Karim and makes the Formula Squared battle on track once again.
Yellow flag is Adam Sanderson, potentially pitched into the barriers at turn 12. He is very much off the circuit. We need to return to the leaders though, because I think Formula Kai is going to get ahead of the reigning champion and championship leader. Karim's actually having to defend as well from Lolly Noba, who was potentially trying to snaffle up a final spot on the podium but was unsuccessful in his first attempt to do so.
It's still incredible to see how much curb Formula Kai likes to take compared to some of the other drivers. 2, almost 3 wide for a moment there as Lolly Noba now comes to join the party. Timo Mardik wants to move done in towards the first corner. Kai closes the door. This could allow Karim down the inside of Timo Mardik. Kai still blocking the way. Karim to the inside line. Not 1, not 2, but 3 cars now separating himself and Timo Mardik, who's into the wall. Contact between himself and Lolly Noba. Razin Chai's there as well. And Timo Mardik, has he got front wing damage?
100% missing that left-hand end plate. Could that be the championship over? Karim still needs to try and get the job done as they flash through the ghosted Safso. Karim now leads this race, but Ben has got a significant handicap now if he's going to try and pick up this championship, down into 4th position, and he's missing half of his front wing. We've got 4 laps to go, and at the moment things are looking a little bit stationary. Adam Sanderson's out of the race, everybody, and we have a safety car.
Oh, here we go, folks. If ever there was a tactical safety car, I think we could have just seen it. The gamble could have paid off. Timo Mardik has an opportunity, maybe not as much as he would have liked. Are we seeing a situation like Singapore in 2008 here? Teammate crashing to help out their own teammate. Timo Mardik in towards the pits for a fresh front wing, fresh set of tyres, and we'll start from at least P12. He's got 2 or 3 laps to determine the championship. This is like all the great dramas rolled into one. It certainly is. 2 laps to go. 1 lap of DRS. It's the Formula duo that stand at the front of the grid at the moment. Karim from Kai with Razin Chai in P3 at the moment. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. And we're getting ready to go racing once again, folks. We're about to start 49 to 50. Karim gets the last of the heat in his tyres, the first time that he's had a safety car restart to lead in this Grand Prix. I think, if anything, the Twitter war could start, but for the moment the talkie will be on the track. Karim puts his foot down, Kai holds the rest of the pack up, and the McLaren at the moment has an amazing launch in towards the first corner. Could we see it's a Kick Sauber helping out the McLaren?
1 down, 11 to go for Ben, up into P11, getting past Datka Vince. I would not be surprised if there's potentially a hole in the floor of Formula Cream Sim Rig, just how hard he tried to mash his right foot into the ground. Getting past another driver is the reigning champion. That is 10th place now, though Mike Stasio might have something to say about it, but dancing around the outside of turn number 5. He's into the top 10, make that 9th as he darts past F1 Alex. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? The Rockstar rookie, reigning F2 champion, rocking along right now. He's got 6/10 per second in his back pocket, but there's still a battle for second place to be won and done. Razin Chai moving to the outside. Is he going to steal it right at the death from Formula Kai? They are gaining at an alarming rate to the back of Karim, but it is the Alpine that gets second.
Karim's been winning this championship since day dot. He's looked so determined, so optimistic to win. The only driver to win from pole, not once, not twice this season. He'll do it a third time. He's gone all out on red, and he wins not only the race, but also the championship as well. Formula Karim is your race winner in Vegas and takes home the championship here in Season 9 of the F1 Creator Series. It was too much to handle for Tiamat Mardik this time around. He'll finish in 7th. And I think M Sky Z will feel job well done after a redemption arc from Season 6.